What do you do now, Zhou Yuchen? I am a freelancer, Zhou Yuchen answered. Gu Wenguang continued. You studied finance. Have you considered an investment position? Apologies, I forgot. Having a criminal record means those firms would likely not consider you. Zhou Yuchen discerned the mockery in Gu Wenguang's tone, but maintained a composed demeanor. Do you work in a financial investment firm? Gu Wenguang appeared to have anticipated this question, promptly producing a business card from his briefcase, pride evident in his expression. I work at Xiaotai Financial Company. Zhou Yuchen accepted the card, glancing at it, which identified Gu Wenguang as an investment consultant at Xiaotai Financial. He inquired, Do you know Zhuang Wenbin? Gu Wenguang replied, That is my superior. Do you know him? Zhou Yuchen shook his head. I have heard of him, but have never met. Gu Wenguang remarked, I thought so. It is rare for ordinary individuals to meet someone like General Manager Zhuang, a senior investment consultant. Are you here to purchase a car? Zhou Yuchen affirmed. Primarily to take a look. Gu Wenguang commented, Old classmate, I must say, we should not aim too high. I entered Xiaotai Financial Company 3 years ago, earning only 70 to 80,000 annually, yet I dared to buy a GLC for commuting. You, however, without a legitimate job, dare to test drive a luxury vehicle like a Maybach? Should you scratch or damage it, could you afford the cost? Huang Jejia felt a chill at Gu Wenguang's words. She had initially perceived Zhou Yuchen as someone of unassuming attire, yet possessing an extraordinary presence, likely a low-profile wealthy heir. To her surprise, he turned out to be an unemployed individual who had not even graduated from university and had served time in prison. It seemed that securing this significant deal was beyond her reach. In school, Gu Wenguang had been a reticent bookworm, wholly dedicated to his studies. In less than 3 years in society, he had transformed dramatically, seemingly acquiring a new persona. He had become articulate, confident, and learned the art of flaunting wealth and deriving a sense of superiority from others, skills deemed essential for survival. Zhou Yuchen had little fondness for such individuals and replied coolly, To buy a GLC after 2 or 3 years of work is commendable. My old classmate, your starting point is already quite high. Continue to strive. And perhaps in a few years, you too may upgrade to a Maybach. Gu Wenguang's sophistication was on an entirely different level from Zhou Yuchen's. He seemed unable to tolerate Zhou Yuchen's condescending attitude, his expression darkening as he retorted, What do you mean? Are you truly considering purchasing a Maybach? A hint of disdain crept into Zhou Yuchen's smile as he responded, I have been out of prison for 4 years. If I cannot afford a Maybach worth over 3 million, that would indeed signify my failure. A direct slap in the face. Zhou Yuchen was unabashedly humiliating Gu Wenguang. If one could not afford a Maybach after 4 years of freedom, what did that make Gu Wenguang, who could only afford a GLC after 3 years of work? A fool. Noticing Gu Wenguang's discomfort, Zhou Yuchen drove the point home again. My old classmate, I apologize, I did not mean you. While an annual salary of 70 to 80,000 is not substantial, it is quite impressive among ordinary people. Zhao Xiangshan scoffed. What grandiose words. Excuse me, miss. Did you not hear? Mr. Zhou has already resolved to purchase the car outright. Should he change his mind, you will forfeit your commission. Compared to Gu Wenguang, Zhao Xiangshan, the alluring beauty, was evidently far more astute. She placed particular emphasis on the phrase paying for the car in full, her intention unmistakable, to embarrass Zhou Yuchen. Huang Jejia, fully aware that Zhao Xiangshan was trying to provoke Zhou, kindly interjected, Mr. Zhou, we can arrange for an interest-free loan without any fees here. Gu Wenguang retorted angrily. What do you mean? Are you implying that I, an old classmate, am lacking in funds? Huang Jejia quickly waved her hands, insisting, that is not my intention at all. Zhou Yuchen produced a bank card from his wallet and smiled at Huang Jejia, saying, Let us proceed with the payment. I'll pay in full. Huang Jejia was taken aback, but soon responded cheerfully, All right, please follow me. Chapter 36. Is this not cohabitation? Not bothering to engage further with Gu Wenguang and Zhao Xiangshan, Zhou Yuchen followed Huang Jejia into the store. Gu Wenguang and Zhao Xiangshan exchanged glances and promptly trailed behind, eager to ascertain whether Zhou Yuchen was merely bluffing or indeed possessed substantial wealth. 15 minutes later, after completing various formalities, Zhou Yuchen made a payment of 3.45 million yuan. For luxury vehicles like this, the Mercedes-Benz dealership often manages to acquire appealing license plate numbers through connections. Zhou Yuchen selected one from a dozen options, Yun A6688. Gu Wenguang was utterly flabbergasted, exclaiming, Zhou Yuchen, where did you acquire such wealth? Zhou Yuchen gave him a sidelong glance and replied, I studied finance. Naturally, I earned it in the financial markets. Gu Wenguang scoffed, that's impossible. Having spent 3 years in the Xiaotai Financial Company, he was acutely aware that it was nearly impossible for an ordinary person to profit in the financial markets. Zhou Yuchen's ability to purchase a car worth over 3 million indicated he had made at least 10 million, a notion Gu Wenguang found utterly unbelievable. Zhou Yuqing countered. Your limitations do not define others' capabilities. Sensing the situation was turning unfavorable, Zhao Xiangshan quickly said, Mr. Zhou is right. Darling, let South go test drive the car. We have other matters to attend to this afternoon. Gu Wenguang seized this opportunity, hastily adding, all right. Zhou Yuqing, we'll be in touch. Zhou Yuqing nodded, replying, goodbye. He dismissed the two with little regard. Checking the time, which was already past 3, he asked Huang Jiejia, how long will it take to get the license plates? Huang Jiejia responded, if we head to the vehicle administration office now, we can complete it in half an hour at most. Zhou Yuqing's eyes lit up. Then what are we waiting for? Let us go. They each drove a car, arriving at the vehicle administration office in tandem. In just 10 minutes. Huang Jiejia handled all the paperwork. Zhou Yuqing quickly drove his brand new Maybach to Yunhai Talent Kindergarten to pick up little Yaya. Upon seeing her father's new car, Yaya's eyes sparkled with delight. Daddy, this car is so beautiful. Zhou Yuqing smiled. This is Daddy's new car that he just bought. Do you like it? Little Yaya nodded vigorously. I love it so much. Then please, my little princess, step inside. Zhou Yuqing said as he opened the door and gently placed Yaya inside. On the road, little Yaya gazed around curiously, feeling quite thrilled. Yaya, do you want to sleep at Daddy's place tonight? Zhou Yuqing inquired. It was Friday, and Shun Jingyun allowed the child to stay at his home. Of course I do, but I don't want to leave Mommy. Daddy, can Mommy come with me? Zhou Yuqing chuckled. As long as Mommy agrees, it's perfectly fine. Yaya asked, but what if your snoring disturbs us? Zhou Yuqing reassured her. Daddy's house is spacious, and your bedroom is quite far from mine. Even if I snore, it won't disturb your sleep. Instantly, little Yaya beamed with joy. That's wonderful. I can sleep at home with Daddy and Mommy. Seeing the innocent and adorable smile on her face, Zhou Yuqing could not help but smile back. As usual, upon returning home, Yaya headed to her room to play with toys while Zhou Yuqing prepared dinner in the kitchen, opening the refrigerator and surveying the ingredients inside. A myriad of recipes flooded his mind. Considering little Yaya was only 3 years old, he decided to make 4 dishes and a soup: steamed eggs with shrimp, mashed potatoes and pumpkin, stir-fried carrots with shredded meat, sautéed broccoli, and spinach meatball soup. Although these dishes seemed simple, they truly tested the chef's skills. A truly exceptional chef is not measured by the complexity of the dishes he can prepare, but by his ability to create delightful flavors from simple ingredients. Hence, many chefs seeking employment at prestigious hotels are often asked to prepare a plate of stir-fried potato shreds to assess their knife skills and true culinary prowess. An hour later, Shun Jingyun returned home from work. As she opened the door, little Yaya dashed out from her room on her short legs. Mommy, sweetheart. Shun Jingyun bent down and scooped up Yaya, planting a hearty kiss on her little face. Mommy, I have good news to share. What good news? Do tell. Daddy bought a particularly beautiful new car. Is it a black one? Wow, Mommy, how did you know? Mommy saw it. Shun Jingyun had noticed that Zhou Yuqing's 3 parking spaces were adjacent. When she parked, she spotted not only the van, but also a Mercedes-Benz Maybach. Initially, she thought it belonged to some wealthy individual who parked it incorrectly, only to realize it was Zhou Yuqing's new car. Where did he get the money? Almost immediately, Shun Jingyun associated it with Zhou Yuqing's crude oil futures. Did he withdraw money from the futures market? Sigh, after just making some money. He buys a luxury car worth 2 to 3 million. Shun Jingyun mentally labeled Zhou Yuqing as vain and ostentatious. Little Yaya clung to Shun Jingyun's neck, sweetly requesting, Mommy, it's Friday now. Shun Jingyun understood the implication immediately. You want to stay at Daddy's place, right? Little Yaya nodded eagerly. Shun Jingyun chuckled. All right, Mommy agrees. Having spent time getting to know Zhou Yuqing, Shun Jingyun felt quite comfortable with him. Indeed, at times, she believed Zhou Yuqing was even better at caring for the child than she was. Therefore, she did not oppose little Yaya staying at Zhou Yuqing's home. Mommy, will you still cuddle with me while I sleep? Little Yaya asked expectantly. Shun Jingyun was taken aback. You want me to sleep here too? Little Yaya nodded vigorously. Daddy said as long as you agree, it's okay. Shun Jingyun felt a bit overwhelmed. That might not be possible. Little Yaya pouted. Why not? Daddy said this house is big enough, and his snoring won't disturb our sleep. What a mischievous fellow. Shun Jingyun inwardly scolded Zhou Yuqing. Could you ask Mommy to consider it? Little Yaya immediately brightened up. Okay. Shun Jingyun let the little one play and walked into the kitchen, saying, Yuqing, Yaya wants me to stay with her here. What should we do? Zhou Yuqing, scooping food onto plates, casually replied. Then you can just move in. I don't mind. Shun Jingyun was both amused and exasperated, saying, I do mind. This would be cohabitation, wouldn't it? Zhou Yuqing turned off the gas stove and turned to Shun Jingyun, saying, you and the little one can sleep in the master bedroom, while I'll take the guest room by the door. The 2 bedrooms are separated by 7 or 8 meters. Does this count as cohabitation? Even those young strangers sharing a rental live closer than we do. Shun Jingyun was momentarily speechless. Seeing the stunning beauty before him standing there like a wooden post, Zhou Yuqin handed her 2 plates of food and requested, "Could you please take these out?" Shen Jingyun accepted the plates and replied, "Let us discuss this later." Zhou Yuqin shrugged and said, "As long as you can handle the little girl, I'm fine with whatever." Shen Jingyun shot him a glance and retorted, "If I could handle her, would I still be worried? This is your concern, not mine." Zhou Yuqin smiled at Shen Jingyun, then whistled as he carried the dishes out of the kitchen. Chapter 37. Enemies meet, rejoicing in misfortune. Shen Jingyun stomped her foot and followed him out, completely unaware that she felt no resistance about living in Zhou Yuqin's home. After dinner, the 3 of them strolled in the community. Xiaoya held Shen Jingyun's left hand and Zhou Yuqin's right, skipping joyfully. Shen Jingyun inquired, "How much did that Maybach cost you?" Zhou Yuqin replied, 3,450,000. Shen Jingyun frowned slightly and remarked, "Aren't you starting a business? After finally making some money, you spend it on a car. Don't you think that's a bit of a waste?" Zhou Yuqin chuckled and said, "You think it's a waste just because I bought a car over 3 million. What if I told you I spent 45 million on this apartment? Would you think I'm a fool?" Shen Jingyun was taken aback. "Are you serious?" Zhou Yuqin nodded. "I just finalized the property transfer this afternoon." Unable to contain her curiosity, Shen Jingyun asked, "How much did you actually make from the crude oil futures?" Zhou Yuqin replied, "Just a little over 100 million. Shen Jingyun halted, completely stunned, her enchanting face displaying disbelief. To earn over 100 million in less than 2 weeks was beyond her expectations. Xiaoya tilted her head and asked, "Mom, what's wrong?" Shen Jingyun snapped back to reality. "It's nothing." Zhou Yuqin said nonchalantly, "It's just 100 million. It's hardly remarkable in the financial market. There's no need for such astonishment." Shen Jingyun gazed at Zhou Yuqin's calm face. "If it were anyone else who earned over 100 million, they would be ecstatic. Yet from you, I sense nothing at all." Zhou Yuqin replied, "I merely acquired my first pot of gold. There's nothing to celebrate." Shen Jingyun asked, "What is your goal then?" Zhou Yuqin stated, "My short-term goal is 10 billion in 6 months. My long-term goal is encapsulated in 4 words. Shen Jingyun inquired, "What 4 words?" Zhou Yuqin looked toward the distant horizon, a glint in his eyes as he solemnly declared, "Stars and the sea." A smile crept onto Shen Jingyun's lips. She intended to say something, but, upon seeing Zhou Yuqin's confident and yearning expression, felt a stirring in her heart and swallowed her words. Noticing Shen Jingyun's unusual demeanor, Zhou Yuqin chuckled. "Am I being a bit juvenile?" Shen Jingyun admitted, "A little bit. However, you do seem quite earnest." Zhou Yuqin remarked, "Dreams are essential. What if they come true? By the way, sweetheart, what are your dreams?" Xiaoya's eyes sparkled as she replied, "I want to go to the fairy amusement park." Zhou Yuqin burst into laughter, and Shen Jingyun joined in, both finding it delightful. Xiaoya pouted, "Daddy, Mommy, you promised to take me to the amusement park when you were in the hospital." Zhou Yuqin turned to Shen Jingyun, "I have something to do tomorrow, but I can take Xiaoya to the amusement park the day after. How does that sound?" Shen Jingyun nodded, "Sounds good." "Yay!" Xiaoya exclaimed, jumping up with joy. "I get to go to the amusement park." Zhou Yuqin and Shen Jingyun exchanged glances, both wearing faint smiles. After a stroll around the community, Zhou Yuqin drove the mother and daughter to the mall. Since Shen Jingyun had agreed to stay at Zhou Yuqin's home, they needed to purchase additional toiletries. Once that was settled, Zhou Yuqin did not rush to leave, but instead entered the Yunxiang clothing store. Yunxiang is the premier clothing brand in Yunhai, offering men-s, women-s, and children-s apparel, with options for custom orders. Shen Jingyun glanced at the prices, astonished that a princess dress cost over 3,000, nearly equivalent to half her month's salary. "Zhou Yuqin, the clothes here are too expensive. Let us forget it," she said, tugging at his sleeve gently. Zhou Yuqin replied, "There's a reason for the price. Summer is approaching. Let us each pick out a couple of outfits." Shen Jingyun quickly objected, "I don't want to. 1 tea buy, and 1 tea let anyone buy for me." Zhou Yuqin pointed to himself, "Am I just anyone?" Without hesitation, Shen Jingyun declared, "Yes." Zhou Yuqin fell silent for a moment, then said helplessly, "All right. Can you at least help me and Xiaoya pick out 2 outfits?" Shen Jingyun agreed, "That's fine." I must say, Shen Jingyun has a remarkable eye for fashion. The outfits she selected were perfect for both Zhou Yuqin and Xiaoya. Originally, Zhou Yuqin intended to buy Shen Jingyun a set of cosmetics and a handbag, but seeing her resolute attitude, he refrained from even suggesting it. The total for the 4 outfits came to 26,000, undoubtedly exorbitant compared to Zhou Yuqin's previous clothing. Just as he finished paying, a voice that Zhou Yuqin would never forget rang out behind him. "Honey, the dress I want isn't expensive, just 120,000. A small matter. Let us buy it today." Zhou Yuqin turned around to see a man and a woman walking in, his eyes filled with cold fury. These 2 were the very ones responsible for his 10-month imprisonment and the subsequent alteration of his life's course. Luo Hao and Su Xiaoya. Compared to 5 years ago, Su Xiaoya appeared more mature and alluring. standing at 5'7". Her figure was slender, her features exquisite, with elegantly arched eyebrows and slightly upturned eyes, exuding both charm and allure. Her skin was as fair as snow, delicate to the touch. Dressed in a light red professional outfit with black stockings, she radiated sensuality. It was no wonder she was deemed the campus beauty by the lecherous crowd at Yunhai University, although the innocence she once possessed had been replaced by a more worldly demeanor. Beside her, Luo Hao had changed even more drastically. If 5 years ago he was tall and robust, now he could only be described as rotund. With small eyes and a double chin, his body was plump, resembling a walking ball of flesh, his belly protruding as though he were 7 months pregnant. The most amusing part was the gold chain hanging around his neck. As if to announce to the world, I'm a gangster, I'm rich, don't mess with me. Chenggu. Su Xiaoya recognized Zhou Yuqin instantly and couldn't help but exclaim, taking a step back, her face displaying guilt. Luo Hao's pupils narrowed. You are Zhou Yuqin? Huh. I never thought you would dare to come back to Yunhai. So, how does it feel to be in prison? System task. The player encounters old foes Luo Hao and Su Xiaoya. Within a month, seek vengeance and ensure they receive their deserved punishment. Zhou Yuqin took a deep breath, exerting all his strength to suppress the fury within him, and said calmly, the taste of imprisonment is indeed unpleasant, and it is all thanks to the two of you. Luo Hao chuckled mockingly. What? You think you can take revenge just because of you? Do you believe that with a single word, I can ruin you? Zhou Yuqin shook his head, replying, I don't believe that. I remember that years ago, you sent someone to teach me a lesson in prison, only to have them be taught a lesson instead. For years have passed, it's time for you to repay your debts. Chapter 38. The combat power of Shun Jingyan. Luo Hao approached Zhou Yuqin, his expression turning sinister as he whispered menacingly in his ear, just wait and see. I will send you back in. Zhou Yuqin gently patted his shoulder and replied, that depends on whether you have the capability. No sooner had he finished speaking than Luo Hao suddenly felt a tingling in his knee, causing him to buckle and kneel before Zhou Yuqin. Zhou Yuqin stepped back, a cold smile on his face, and said, Luo Hao, 5 years ago, you framed me for intentional injury, and now you resort to this tactic again. Let me inform you, there are cameras everywhere here. Even if you kneel before me and shatter your kneecap, it has nothing to do with me. Luo Hao scrambled to his feet, cursing, bullshit. My leg just went numb. I could kill you in a heartbeat without needing any other means. In reality, when Zhou Yuqin had patted Luo Hao's shoulder, he had employed a hidden force that reached his knee, causing him to kneel, thus collecting a small interest. Nearby, Xiaoya chirped, Daddy, this person is scary. I'm a bit afraid, can we go home? Zhou Yuqin nodded and replied, all right. Hearing their exchange, Luo Hao turned to see Shun Jingyun holding Xiaoya. His entire being trembled, and a look of lustful admiration crossed his face. She was breathtakingly beautiful, while Su Xiaoya was a rare beauty. When compared to Shun Jingyun, she paled significantly in looks, figure, and demeanor. If Su Xiaoya was a stunning beauty of the mortal realm, then Shun Jingyun was a celestial fairy from the heavens. Just the thought that this fairy had a daughter with Zhou Yuqin filled Luo Hao with immense displeasure. Damn it, a beautiful flower planted in cow dung. Su Xiaoya had long since noticed Shun Jingyun and Xiaoya, but had not expected them to be a family of 3 with Zhou Yuqin. Luo Hao forced a smile and asked, what is this lovely lady's surname? Shun Jingyun shot him a cold glance before turning to Zhou Yuqin, saying, what's the point of arguing with such a person? Let's go. Zhou Yuqin replied, wait a moment. I have a question that has been bothering me. Su Xiaoya, why did you lie back then? Su Xiaoya seemed unable to withstand Zhou Yuqin's piercing gaze and quickly turned her head aside, biting her lip as she said, what lie? I don't know what you're talking about. Luo Hao chuckled smugly, saying, allow me to answer that question. Zhou Yuqin, do you know what is the most important thing in the world? It is money. What good is studying hard if it can't buy Su Xiaoya a handbag? This lovely lady, my words apply to you as well. Zhou Yuqin is merely a bookworm. Following him will surely yield a poor outcome. Conversely, if you follow me, I will give you 20 million to buy a mansion. Rest assured, I will not mind that you have a child. Shun Jingyun retorted without hesitation. You two are the most disgusting people I have ever encountered. The man is filthy, his mouth full of money, yet he revels in his own arrogance. The woman is shameless, selling her conscience for money, utterly embarrassing all women. Zhou Yuqin, since you have your answer, let us leave. I do not wish to see them for another minute. Seeing the usually composed and intelligent Shun Jingyun display such formidable strength, Zhou Yuqin was taken aback, then felt a wave of refreshing relief wash over him, saying, all right, let us go. Luo Hao stepped in front of them, declaring, you think you can just insult us and leave? There is no such thing in this world. Get out of the way, Zhou Yuqin angrily shouted, gently pushing Luo Hao's shoulder. Luo Hao felt an immense force propel his hefty body to spin around 3 or 4 times before coming to a staggering halt, feeling dizzy. Fortunately, Su Xiaoya rushed forward to steady him, Otherwise, he would have fallen flat on his backside. Zhou Yuqin cast a cold glance at the two before departing with Shen Jingyun and Xiao Yeye. After some time, Luo Hao finally regained his composure, cursing, "That bastard. I will definitely kill him." Su Xiaoya urged, "Hao Gu, let us go back first." A resounding slap was Luo Hao's response to Su Xiaoya. "Are you thinking of rekindling romance with your first love? Dream on. He spent a year in prison, all thanks to you. Compared to me, he would rather see you dead, understand?" Su Xiaoya covered her cheek, tears streaming down her face. "I understand." Luo Hao scoffed, a venomous glint in his eyes. Upon returning home, Shen Jingyan took over an hour to coax Xiao Yeye to sleep. Exiting the bedroom, she noticed the light in Zhou Yuqin's study was on and approached. Gently knocking on the door, Zhou Yuqin, engrossed in reading, smiled upon seeing Shen Jingyun and said, "Please, come in." As Shen Jingyun entered the study, she gazed at the shelves filled with hundreds of books of various genres and curiously asked, "Have you read all these books?" Zhou Yuqin nodded, saying, "After being released from prison, I took on 3 jobs, working as a hotel attendant, a fitness center coach, and reading." Shen Jingyun casually picked a few books and flipped through them, noticing the countless pencil markings indicating Zhou Yuqin had genuinely studied them. Truly, he was the top scorer in the college entrance examination of Xinjiang province. If only Yeye could love learning as much as you do. Shen Jingyun gave Zhou Yuqin a thumbs up, unable to resist praising him. Zhou Yuqin shook his head, saying, "I feel ashamed. My motives for reading are not pure, essentially. I was preparing to make money, which is why I focused on books about the internet, finance, management, communications, radio, and semiconductors." Shen Jingyun laughed. "Why does everyone work? Essentially, it is all for money. It's just that no one can be as diligent as you." A bitter smile appeared on Zhou Yuqin's lips as he said, "I had no choice. My original plan was to take a special admission exam for Yuhai University at the end of my sophomore year and complete all my graduate courses in 2 years, ultimately becoming a teacher there. I never anticipated that a prison sentence would completely alter my fate, leaving my life plans in shambles. It's truly unfortunate. Jingyun, I must thank you for today. Your words to them were incredibly refreshing to hear." Shen Jingyun asked, "Do you hate them?" Without a moment's hesitation, Zhou Yuqin replied, "I do. If killing were not a crime, I would have eliminated them long ago. That Luo Hao has ties to the underworld. He once sent someone to deal with me in prison. Thankfully, several cellmates helped me, allowing me to emerge unscathed. After my release, I immediately left Yuhai to evade any potential revenge from Luo Hao." Shen Jingyun gasped, "This person is truly vile." Zhou Yuqin smiled and remarked, "Where there is light, there is darkness. Where there are good people, there are bad ones. Such is the nature of this world." Shen Jingyun inquired, "What are your plans moving forward?" Zhou Yuqin replied coldly, "I have my own strategies." Chapter 39. Hacking into Luo Hao's phone. Luo Hao's arrogance stemmed from his association with the Haifeng Transportation Group, which was originally the Haifeng Gang, led by his father, Luo Haifeng. Zhou Yuqin had previously enlisted Wu Xiongfeng to investigate, uncovering suspicions that the group might be involved in narcotics trafficking, yet concrete evidence remained elusive. Upon encountering Luo Hao today, Zhou Yuqin scrutinized him and noted his vacant gaze, haggard appearance, jaundiced skin, and numerous blemishes. Zhou Yuqin suspected that Luo Hao might be battling drug addiction. If that were the case, it would simplify matters. As long as Zhou Yuqin could procure evidence of Luo Hao's drug use, he could avenge his grievances. After Shen Jingyan departed, Zhou Yuqin secured his door and busied himself at the computer. He had just obtained Luo Hao's phone number from Zhang Xia and intended to employ his hacking skills to infiltrate Luo Hao's mobile system. He dedicated an hour to crafting several overtly provocative links, which he then transmitted to Luo Hao via a virtual network. Should Luo Hao cooperate and click on one of the links, Zhou Yuqin would be able to remotely seize control of his phone through the embedded virus. If Luo Hao ignored the links and deleted them, however, all would be lost. Fortunately, the latter scenario did not occur. Within 5 minutes of sending the links, Luo Hao clicked on the first one. Instantly, his phone was inundated with garbled text, only returning to normal after half a minute. Zhou Yuqin's heart leaped with joy as he furiously typed away, successfully commandeering Luo Hao's device. Yet, he refrained from immediate action, waiting until the clock struck 2 in the morning, presuming Luo Hao had succumbed to slumber, before delving into his phone's database. Luo Hao possessed a state-of-the-art orange smartphone with 16 gigabytes of memory, of which 12 gigabytes was occupied by photos and videos. Due to the rudimentary state of the imaging technology, these photos and videos were monochrome. Zhou Yuqin mused at Luo Hao's indulgent lifestyle. In the videos, he discerned that Luo Hao had entangled himself with at least 6 or 7 women, all strikingly beautiful, with the footage being remarkably clear. It appeared that he had filmed his escapades with these women, editing the content to retain only the highlights for his personal enjoyment. Regrettably, there were no videos of Luo Hao indulging in drug use. However, This was to be expected, as even a fool would not document such acts. Wait, this woman seems vaguely familiar. She appears to be a celebrity. Upon closer inspection, Zhou Yuchen's eyes brightened. He recognized her as Shui Yibing, a prominent first-tier star who had married Yin Qingfeng, the president of Qingfeng Real Estate, at the end of last year. Qingfeng Real Estate was renowned in Yunhai, boasting a market value exceeding 100 billion, with over 10 commercial towers in major cities across the nation. Yin Qingfeng owned 60% of the company, valued at over 600 billion, ranking among the top 30 wealthiest individuals in Yunhai. The scandal of such a significant figure's wife entangled with Luo Hao would surely drive Yin Qingfeng to madness if it were to surface. How ironic that those who sow seeds of desire often find their hopes unfulfilled, while those who act without intent often reap unexpected rewards. Though Zhou Yuchen failed to unearth evidence of Luo Hao's drug use, he stumbled upon proof of his affair with Shui Yibing, a fortunate twist of fate. The question now was how to wield this video to his advantage. The phrase using a borrowed knife to kill sprang to mind. The challenge lay in the execution. Publicly disseminating the video would undoubtedly ruin Luo Hao, but it would also obliterate Yin Qingfeng's reputation, compelling him to seek vengeance against the video's source, which would likely lead back to Zhou Yuchen, potentially bringing him considerable trouble. Thus, the optimal course of action would be to ensure that only Yin Qingfeng was privy to this information. After dealing with Luo Hao, Yin Qingfeng would likely conduct a covert investigation into the video's origins. Even if he traced it back, it would not implicate Zhou Yuchen since the video had not been widely circulated. With this resolution, Zhou Yuchen decisively employed his hacking skills to breach Qingfeng Real Estate's internal network, sending the video of Shui Yibing and Luo Hao to Yin Qingfeng's corporate email. In a luxurious villa in Yunhai, Yin Qingfeng, as per his routine, rose promptly at 6 to go for a morning run. As one of the top moguls in Yunhai's business hierarchy, Yin Qingfeng might not be the wealthiest, but he was undoubtedly the most disciplined. He maintained a daily 5-kilometer run for over 20 years without fail, even exercising on a treadmill during inclement weather. Consequently, despite being 50 years old, his physique remained impeccable, with a healthy complexion and vibrant demeanor. After completing his run and enjoying a hot shower, Yin Qingfeng entered his study and powered up his computer. This was his customary sequence: run, shower, check emails, and finally, breakfast. 10 minutes later, the study erupted with a cacophony of noise. The housekeeper, who had just finished preparing breakfast, rushed in upon hearing the commotion. Inside, the usually composed Yin Qingfeng stood in silence, his computer and teacup shattered on the floor. His expression was a storm of fury, his chest heaving, and his eyes blazing with wrath. The housekeeper, having worked for the Yin family for 5 years, had never witnessed such a transformation in him. According to the household rules, she was not permitted to enter the study without Yin Qingfeng's command, so she merely stood at the doorway, hesitant to speak. 5 minutes later, Yin Qingfeng exited the study, instructing coldly, "Clear it up." His voice was chilling, sending a shiver down the housekeeper's spine as she hurriedly replied, "Yes, Mr. Yin." Skipping breakfast, Yin Qingfeng proceeded to his company office. Shortly thereafter, a tall and imposing middle-aged man entered. He was Guomao, the head of security at Qingfeng Real Estate, who had been with Yin Qingfeng since the inception of his business. If one were to inquire who held Yin Qingfeng's utmost trust within the company, it would undoubtedly be Guomao. Gua, 2 tasks. First, have someone retrieve Shui Yibing from the Hongshan film crew as swiftly as possible. Understood. I'll take care of it immediately. Second, investigate this individual. Yin Qingfeng handed his phone to Guomao, revealing a photo of Luo Hao. Guomao raised an eyebrow. "Brother, I know this man. His name is Luo Hao, the son of Luo Haifeng, the president of Haifeng Real Estate. How do you know him? Don't you remember? At a gathering, your sister-in-law introduced him to you." Yin Qingfeng pondered for a moment, struggling to recall the event, before stating, "Regardless of who he is, he must die." Guomao's pupils constricted. "I'll arrange it right away." His unquestioning obedience and willingness to act without inquiry were among the reasons for his unwavering trust from Yin Qingfeng. "No." Yin Qingfeng waved his hand. "Try to use legal means. If we cannot procure evidence, we shall resort to our previous methods. The Qingfeng Real Estate Company has naturally thrived by navigating both legitimate and illicit avenues. Our previous methods entail employing various means to render an individual inconspicuous in this world. Guomao is an adept in this realm, having never faltered. Brother, Luo Haifeng is no ordinary person. Any harm to his son will undoubtedly lead to a relentless feud. Hence, we must seek out a renowned assassin to deal with Luo Haifeng, and confidentiality is paramount." Understood. Chapter 40. A reunion of siblings. At the moment when Yin Qingfeng plotted against the Luo father and son, Zhou Yuchen's vehicle gradually came to a halt at Qingjiang University. Extracting his phone, Zhou Yuchen dialed his sister, Zhou Qing. "Hello, who is this? came a melodious voice akin to that of a golden oriole from the other end. A smile instinctively graced Zhou Yuchen's lips as he replied, "Zhou Qing, it's your brother. Brother, you finally came to see me. Can you come out? I'm at the school gates. Wait for me 10 minutes. I'll be right there." In a dormitory for female students majoring in computer science at Xinjiang University, Zhou Qing hung up and promptly began to groom herself. Unlike her brother Zhou Yuchen, who bore an unremarkable appearance, Zhou Qing inherited all of her mother Su Xiuwan's finest traits. She possessed an oval face, her fair skin as delicate and lustrous as mutton-fat jade, and her eyes were like deep lakes, pure and animated. The dimples at the corners of her mouth made her smile particularly enchanting. Last year, Zhou Qing ranked second in the university's top 10 beauties, earning the title of pure goddess among the lecherous admirers. "What has you so jubilant, Zhou Qing?" inquired her classmate, roommate, and close friend Wang Tong, noticing the bloom of joy on Zhou Qing's face. Zhou Qing raised an eyebrow playfully and replied, "I want to tell you." From the upper bunk, a strikingly pretty girl, dressed flamboyantly, scoffed, "Wang Tong, can't you see? She's off to meet her lover." This girl was Xu Nianer, who ranked 10th on the school's beauty list. Due to her questionable lifestyle and vanity, she maintained poor relations with her roommates. Particularly, she harbored disdain for Zhou Qing, who, despite her modest background, outshone her in both appearance and academics, often seeking to make Zhou Qing's life difficult. Zhou Qing shot her a cold glance and retorted, "Whether or not I have a lover is none of your concern." With that, she slipped on her shoes, grabbed her bag, and swiftly exited the dormitory. Xu Nianer, intrigued, immediately descended from her bunk and said, "Wang Tong, don't you want to see who Zhou Qing's lover is?" Wang Tong frowned slightly. "Xu Nianer, even if Zhou Qing is indeed going to meet her boyfriend, that's perfectly normal. Why are you so agitated?" Xu Nianer huffed. "If you don't want to go, I will." Seeing Xu Nianer pursue Zhou Qing, Wang Tong could no longer suppress her curiosity and followed suit. As Zhou Qing hurried towards the school gates, she remained oblivious to the fact that Xu Nianer and Wang Tong were not far behind her. Upon spotting Zhou Yuchen, Zhou Qing's eyes brimmed with tears as she threw herself into his embrace. "Brother, I've missed you so much." Zhou Yuchen's eyes also glistened, gently patting Zhou Qing's back as he said, "Zhou Qing, it's my fault for taking so long to come find you." Witnessing Zhou Qing embrace a man driving a luxurious Maybach in the street, Wang Tong and Xu Nianer were left in shock. Xu Nianer quickly retrieved her phone and captured the moment, muttering, "Everyone claims I'm vain. Look at Zhou Qing, S&T she just like me." Cozying up to a rich second generation? After venting her emotions in Zhou Yuchen's arms, Zhou Qing wiped her tears and looked up, asking, "Brother, have you been well these past years?" Zhou Yuchen replied with a smile, "I've been doing quite well." Zhou Qing countered, "Don't lie to me. You used to be so confident and sunny. Now, you seem to have grown weary and more composed." Zhou Yuchen playfully pinched Zhou Qing's cheek, saying, "This isn't weariness, it's growth. One day, when you step into society, you will understand. Do you have anything planned today?" Zhou Qing shook her head. "Nothing in particular." "Then come with me. I'll take you shopping." Zhou Qing's eyes lit up. "Mom called yesterday and said you've struck it rich. You must make up for my 5 years of emotional loss today." Zhou Yuchen chuckled, "No problem. Whatever you desire, brother will buy for you." As they entered the car, Zhou Qing surveyed the interior and remarked, "Brother, this Maybach is impressive. Did you rent it or buy it?" "Of course, it's purchased," Zhou Yuchen answered. Zhou Qing, not well versed in car prices, asked, "This must cost around 700,000 to 800,000, right?" Zhou Yuchen smiled. "This is a Maybach, priced at 3,400,000. 3,400,000. Zhou Qing exclaimed, her eyes wide with astonishment. Zhou Yuchen surmised that their mother had likely not informed Zhou Qing about the 10 million he had given to the family. Otherwise, she wouldn't be so shocked by the cost of the car. "Brother, since you're so wealthy now, I won't hold back." Zhou Yuchen laughed. "Do tell. How do you plan to indulge?" Zhou Qing counted on her fingers, a laptop, an orange phone, a nice handbag, and a lavish lunch. Zhou Yuchen feigned disdain. "All of that together is barely 70 to 80,000. Zhou Qing, you truly underestimate me." Zhou Qing blinked innocently. "Brother, I think you're getting a bit carried away." Zhou Yuchen shrugged. "What can I say? It's just that your brother is wealthy." Soon, the siblings arrived at the most renowned mall in Yunhai, the Xingyuan Mall. Zhou Yuchen, like a newly affluent individual, brandished his cash and began to indulge extravagantly. They procured a set of jewelry, the priciest laptop, an orange phone, an LD brand handbag, a set of cosmetics, 3 outfits, and 2 pairs of shoes. Truly a triumphant haul. Finally, they settled into a high-end Western restaurant for lunch. Gazing at the assortment of expensive items on the chair, Zhou Qing swallowed hard and asked, "Brother, how much did we spend in total?" Zhou Yuchen pondered before replying. "Around 140 to 50,000. Why? Can you not handle it?" Zhou Qing nodded. It's too extravagant, even more so than Xu Nian from our dorm. Zhou Yuqin raised an eyebrow. Who is Xu Nian? Is she wealthy? Zhou Qing explained. She, like me, came from a small county to study at Qingjiang University. Upon entering school, she quickly attached herself to 3 or 4 wealthy suitors, and she always uses top-tier luxury items. Zhou Yuqin frowned. Is the atmosphere at Qingjiang University really so poor? Zhou Qing quickly clarified. Only a few individuals are like that. The vast majority are good. Zhou Yuqin cautioned. Then keep your distance from Xu Nian. My request is simple. While in university, you can date, but under no circumstances should you compromise your integrity before graduation. Later, provide me with your bank account number, and I shall deposit 10,000 monthly for your pocket money. Having grown up together, Zhou Qing was not one to be polite with Zhou Yuqin. Elated, she exclaimed, haha, having a wealthy brother is splendid. From now on, I, Zhou Qing, will never lack for money. Zhou Yuqin handed her the menu, saying, and you dare say I'm getting carried away? I feel like you're about to float off into outer space. Zhou Qing proudly declared, there's no helping it. After all, I have also become wealthy. This steak is quite expensive. Observing her astonished expression, Zhou Yuqin couldn't help but smile. Chapter 41. The misunderstanding of Shun Jingyun after indulging in an extravagant Western meal. The siblings left, engaging in light-hearted banter. Meanwhile, Shun Jingyun arrived at the underground parking lot of Xingyuan Mall, accompanied by Dai Wan and little Ye. Just as she parked the car, Shun Jingyun spotted a beautiful girl linking arms with Zhou Yuqin as they walked past, causing her heart to drop as if she had lost something precious. Her face instantly drained of color. Mommy, I think I just saw Daddy, little Ye exclaimed. Snapping back to reality, Shun Jingyun hastily replied, Sweetheart, you must have seen wrong. Pouting, Ye insisted, I definitely didn't. Daddy walked right past us with an auntie. She turned to her grandmother. Grandma, please carry me out of the car. I want to find Daddy. Shun Jingyun suddenly felt a surge of anxiety and scolded, Shin Xinyue, be obedient. Taken aback by her mother's reprimand, Ye's eyes welled up with tears. I didn't see wrong. That person was clearly Daddy. What? Mommy is being mean to me. Daiwan quickly embraced Ye, her heart aching for the child. Sweetheart, if you saw him, then you surely did. This time, it's Mommy who is wrong. Come on, let us get out of the car and see if it really is Daddy. Opening the car door, Daiwan stepped out with Ye in her arms, just in time to see Zhou Yuqin's car turning a corner, leaving the parking lot. Grandma, I know Daddy's license plate number is 6688, Ye said excitedly. Daiwan glanced at her somewhat dazed daughter and reassured, yes. That indeed is Daddy's license plate number. But he didn't see little Ye. Wiping her tears, Ye said, but Mommy doesn't believe me. Taking a deep breath, Shin Jingyun replied, Sweetheart, you are right. I shouldn't have scolded you just now. Can you forgive me? Little Ye chirped, yes. Shin Jingyun forced a smile and planted a kiss on Ye's cheek. Thank you, sweetheart. Now let us go. Mommy will take you for a ride on the little train. Instantly, Ye's face lit up. That sounds great. Let us go ride the little train. After Zhou Yuqin left for breakfast, Shin Jingyun took Ye to her parents' house. Ye adored the little train at the mall. After lunch, with some free time on their hands, Shin Jingyun decided to take her there to play, unaware that she would encounter Zhou Yuqin and Zhou Qing. Not knowing Zhou Qing's true identity, she assumed she was Zhou Yuqin's girlfriend, which left her feeling somewhat melancholic. As Ye boarded the train, Daiwan gazed at her daughter intently. Jingyun, do you have feelings for Zhou Yuqin? Panic surged through Shun Jingyun, and she quickly retorted, no. Daiwan sighed. No one knows you better than your mother. I understand your disposition all too well. If you didn't harbor feelings for Zhou Yuqin, you would never have agreed to take little Ye to spend the night at his place, nor would you have lost your composure upon seeing him with another girl. Shin Jingyun pressed her lips together. Mom, I admit that after spending some time together, I do have some fondness for him. But it hasn't reached the level of affection. Daiwan remained silent for a moment, then stated, although Zhou Yuqin may not be exceptionally handsome, one cannot deny he is an admirable young man. He possesses great abilities, a stable character, and a sense of responsibility, not to mention he cooks exceptionally well. Such men are rare in today's society. Your feelings for him are entirely natural. Mom, please stop, Shen Jingyun interjected. Now that Zhou Yuqin has found a girlfriend, I will bury this fondness and not allow it to develop further. Daiwan countered, are you certain that girl is Zhou Yuqin's girlfriend? Shen Jingyun was taken aback. That girl is stunning and was intimately linked with Zhou Yuqin, laughing and chatting with him. I believe it's quite likely. Daiwan replied. Believing it to be likely does not equate to certainty. Jingyun, for your own feelings and for little Ye's sake, I believe you should clarify this matter. If she truly is Zhou Yuqin's girlfriend, you and Ye must maintain some distance from him. Shen Jingyun nodded, I understand. I will find out this afternoon. 2 hours later, Shun Jingyun returned to Zhou Yuchen's home with little Yaya. Upon opening the door, she was greeted by a smiling beauty. Hello, Jingyun Jia. I'm Zhou Qing. Shun Jingyun was momentarily stunned. Are you Zhou Yuchen's girlfriend? Zhou Qing was momentarily taken aback, then burst into laughter. Jingyun Jia? I'm his sister, Yaya's aunt. Realizing her misunderstanding of Zhou Yuchen, Shun Jingyun felt a wave of joy wash over her, her face instantly brightening with a smile. I'm so sorry, I made a mistake. It's just that you and your brother look nothing alike. You are far more beautiful than he is. Zhou Qing replied. I took after my mother, while he took after our father. Thankfully, that's the case. Otherwise, I would have been in trouble. Shun Jingyun chuckled. You are quite fortunate. Zhou Qing said. Little yet didn't he take after my brother, which is quite fortunate as well. The two exchanged glances and laughed together. Little Yaya studied Zhou Qing for a while and asked, Annie, did you go to the mall with my daddy? Zhou Qing laughed. Yes, how did you know? Yaya replied. I saw you. Zhou Qing exclaimed in surprise. Why didn't you call out to us? Pouting, Yaya said. Mommy didn't believe me and scolded me. Shun Jingyun sighed. Sweetheart, I've already apologized, okay? Also, you shouldn't call her auntie. You should call her aunt. Little Yaya shook her little head. What's an aunt? Shun Jingyun explained. An aunt is your father's sister or brother. Little Yaya quickly responded. I learned that in kindergarten. Mommy's brothers are called uncles. And daddy's sisters are called aunts, right? Seeing the little one's adorable demeanor, Zhou Qing felt her heart melt. Exactly. Little Yaya is so clever. Can I give you a hug? Without hesitation, little Yaya opened her arms wide. Zhou Qing picked her up and planted a kiss on her cheek. Sweetheart, your aunt loves you so much. Yaya returned the gesture, kissing Zhou Qing's cheek. Auntie, Yaya loves you too. Zhou Qing exclaimed, oh my. How can you be so adorable? Come on, Annie has bought you some building blocks. Let us go play, shall we? Little Yaya's eyes sparkled. Yes. Watching Zhou Qing bond so well with little Yaya, Shun Jingyun couldn't help but smile. Chapter 42. A sense of danger entering the kitchen. Shun Jingyun glanced at Zhou Yuchen, who was busy preparing a meal, and suddenly felt a sense of relief wash over her. Although they had only known each other for a little over half a month, she realized that she was increasingly depending on him. If it weren't for this, she wouldn't have reacted so dramatically upon mistakenly believing Zhou Qing was Zhou Yuchen's girlfriend. As Zhou Yuchen chopped vegetables, he asked, Did you and little Yaya go to Xingyuan Mall? Shun Jingyun nodded. Yaya loves riding the little train on the second floor of the mall. So my mother and I took her to play for a while. We also saw you and Zhou Qing. But you both walked away too quickly for us to call out to you. Zhou Yuchen replied. What a coincidence indeed. Jingyun, there is a matter I wish to discuss with you. Shun Jingyun inquired. What is it? Zhou Yuchen set down the kitchen knife, his expression quite earnest, and said, I called my parents yesterday. Shun Jingyun, an exceptionally astute woman, immediately grasped Zhou Yuchen's intention and remarked, You informed uncle and aunt about our situation, correct? Zhou Yuchen nodded. Affirming, indeed. Shun Jingyun continued, They wish to meet Xiaoya, do they not? Zhou Yuchen nodded again, stating, They are very eager. After a moment's contemplation, Shun Jingyun asked, When shall we go? Zhou Yuchen was taken aback, responding, You agree? Shun Jingyun smiled. How could I deny my grandparents the chance to see their granddaughter? Zhou Yuchen replied earnestly, You certainly can. If you disagreed, I would not take the child back. Shun Jingyun rolled her eyes at him, saying, I was merely jesting. Why so serious? Zhou Yuchen responded, On matters concerning Xiaoya, I must honor your wishes. Shun Jingyun then asked, May I accompany you? Zhou Yuchen readily replied, Of course. If you wish to go, my parents would be even more delighted. Shun Jingyun inquired further, What time? Zhou Yuchen replied, Next Saturday. Shun Jingyun nodded, Very well. As long as the tax office does not require overtime, I shall take the child to see her grandparents. Zhou Yuchen expressed his gratitude, saying, Thank you, Jingyun. Shun Jingyun countered, I should be the one expressing gratitude. Since you came to Yunhai to care for the child, I have found my burdens considerably lightened. Zhou Yuchen playfully interjected, Would you wish to remain carefree forever? Shun Jingyun, caught off guard by his question, first displayed a look of surprise, then a playful smile, saying, If this is your way of confessing, I must clarify that the revolution is yet to be successful, and comrades must strive harder. Upon finishing, Shun Jingyun could not help but chuckle. Zhou Yuchen joined in hearty laughter. Her seemingly dismissive response was, in fact, an invitation for Zhou Yuchen to make further efforts. Otherwise, why would there be a need for him to strive? However, the formidable mountain obstructing their union loomed large before them, and until it was leveled, neither dared to proceed further. An hour later, 6 dishes and a soup graced the table. Zhou Qing gazed at the delectable spread, exclaiming, Brother, when did your culinary skills become so impressive? Zhou Yuchen opened a bottle of red wine purchased from the market, saying, As a distinguished scholar, is it not a simple task for me to learn to cook? Zhou Qing retorted, I am also a scholar, yet I cannot master cooking. Zhou Yuqin scoffed. You, who could not even rank in the top 10 of the province, dare to call yourself a scholar. How amusing. Zhou Qing protested. That was merely a moment of poor performance. Had it not been for a minor error on the final math question, I could have at least ranked in the top 5 of the province in the college entrance examination. Zhou Yuqin replied. Only the top 5? I thought you were aiming for the top spot. Zhou Qing rolled her eyes in frustration. Shen Jingyun, exasperated, said, You two siblings are utterly pretentious. Compared to you, I am a genuine underachiever. I hope Xiaoya inherits your academic prowess. Zhou Qing ruffled Xiaoya's hair, saying, With her intelligence and charm, she will undoubtedly surpass us. Zhou Yuqin nodded. Indeed, I scored 728 out of 750 in my college entrance exam, leaving a margin of 22 points for Xiaoya to shatter. Shen Jingyun was rendered speechless. It was Zhou Qing's first time tasting Zhou Yuqin's cooking, and as she savored each bite, she lavished him with praise, declaring that she would frequently come over for meals in the future. After feasting, the 4 of them descended for a stroll. Zhou Yuqin suggested, Zhou Qing, why not stay over tonight? Zhou Qing glanced at Shen Jingyun and asked, Would that disturb you and Sister Jingyun? Shen Jingyun blushed and quickly clarified, Not at all. Xiaoya and I are merely staying here for a couple of days. Zhou Qing responded, Sister Jingyun, although this is our first meeting, I truly like both you and Xiaoya. May I sleep with you tonight? Shen Jingyun replied, Certainly. Zhou Qing joyfully exclaimed, Xiaoya, tonight your aunt will hug you to sleep. Are you happy? Xiaoya innocently asked. Will you snore? Zhou Qing assured her, Definitely not, sweetheart. Why do you ask? Xiaoya exaggeratedly gestured, Because daddy's snores are louder than thunder. Zhou Qing laughed heartily, Rest assured. Your aunt not only refrains from snoring, but also tells the most wonderful stories. Xiaoya's face lit up with joy. That's fantastic. I want to hear Auntie's stories. Zhou Yuqin, who had been silent, cast a glance at Zhou Qing. She seemed to sense his gaze and turned to offer him a triumphant smile. The siblings, having grown up together, despite 5 years of separation, had not lost their tacit understanding. Zhou Yuqin recognized that Zhou Qing was striving to integrate into Shen Jingyun and Xiaoya's world, potentially serving as a bridge should any issues arise between him and Shen Jingyun. This girl remained as astute as ever. At that moment, Zhou Yuqin suddenly felt 2 piercing gazes fixed upon him from a distance, causing his expression to shift. He said, Jingyun, Zhou Qing, why don't you take Xiaoya to play on the slide? I need to head home for a moment. Shen Jingyun noticed something was amiss in Zhou Yuqin's demeanor and asked, What's wrong? You're not feeling unwell, are you? Zhou Yuqin waved his hand. How could I feel ill from my own cooking? You go on, I'll return shortly. With that, Zhou Yuqin turned and approached the 2 young men 50 meters away. Upon reaching them, he halted, coldly asking, Did Luo Hao send you? The 2 young men were of similar age to Zhou Yuqin. One was short, under 1.70 meters, with a pockmarked face and a muscular build, exuding an aura of immense strength. The other was a burly man, tall and imposing, with sharp eyes and a long scar running from his neck to his jaw, giving him a somewhat fierce appearance. The burly man, surprised that Zhou Yuqin had accurately located them, stammered, How did you find us? Zhou Yuqin replied, Does it matter? The burly man said, Not really. Brother, it's just business. Someone paid 300,000 for your legs, so we must regretfully proceed. Zhou Yuqin responded nonchalantly, There are surveillance cameras all over the community. Are you not concerned about being recorded? The short man drew a dagger, brandishing it menacingly. So what if we are? After the job is done, we will leave Yunhai and head abroad. This sum will sustain us for some time. Zhou Yuqin nodded, Understood. If I am correct, you must be fugitives, am I right? The burly man scoffed, You talk too much. Let us get to it. Chapter 43. Zhou Yuqin is taken away. The short man's steps were remarkably agile. In a flash, he was before Zhou Yuqin, thrusting a knife viciously towards his abdomen. Seeking death, Zhou Yuqin let out a cold snort, his right hand striking like an eagle's claw, swiftly seizing the assailant's wrist. With a sharp crack, the short man's bone was crushed in Zhou Yuqin's grip, causing the dagger to clatter to the ground. Despite the short man's speed and strength, he was vastly outmatched by Zhou Yuqin, a master of Xingyi. The diminutive figure proved to be a formidable opponent. Despite suffering a broken bone, he merely let out a muffled grunt before immediately retaliating. However, Zhou Yuqin was not inclined to grant him that opportunity. Before the shorter man could lift his leg, Zhou Yuqin's palm strike had already reached him, landing squarely on the back of his head. With a thud, the man collapsed to the ground, unconscious. Witnessing this, the nearby burly man displayed an expression of shock. To dispatch the notorious king of knives, Husan, in under 10 seconds was far beyond his expectations of Zhou Yuqin's prowess. Nevertheless, the muscular man remained composed. He drew a handgun from his jacket. Zhou Yuqin felt a shiver run down his spine, and with a sudden push of his right foot, he surged forward like a speeding train, charging at the burly man. Before the latter could pull the trigger, Zhou Yuchen's fist had already struck his shoulder. A pained cry escaped the burly man's lips. Faced with a life-threatening situation, Zhou Yuchen held nothing back. He unleashed a hidden force that shattered the man's scapula, causing the handgun to clatter to the ground. Like his companion, Zhou Yuchen rendered him unconscious with a swift palm strike. "Hello, is this the Yunhai City Police Department?" Without a moment's hesitation, Zhou Yuchen dialed the emergency number. The officer who answered was taken aback to learn that the assailants were armed. Within 20 minutes, over 10 police officers arrived at the scene. By this time, a number of residents and security personnel had gathered around Zhou Yuchen, their faces reflecting their dismay. It was no small matter to have armed criminals infiltrate the community. It constituted a serious dereliction of duty on their part. Fortunately, no casualties had occurred among the homeowners. Otherwise, their security company would have been utterly ruined. "I am Officer Zhang Wei from the Criminal Investigation Unit, who reported the incident." The leading officer, a stern-looking man in his 40s, exuded an intimidating presence. "I did." Zhou Yuchen raised his hand, introducing himself. "Officer Zhang, good day. My name is Zhou Yuchen. These two attempted to assault me, but I subdued them." The handgun belongs to the burly man, and the shorter one had a firearm as well. Zhang Wei picked up the gun, examined it, and confirmed it was real. He then turned to the unconscious burly man and the diminutive figure, his pupils narrowing. "Wu Laolu and Husan. Officer Zhang, are they wanted criminals?" Zhou Yuchen inquired. Zhang Wei raised an eyebrow, questioning, "What leads you to believe that?" Zhou Yuchen replied, "This community is equipped with surveillance cameras, yet they showed no fear of revealing their identities. They even mentioned someone had offered them 3 million to take my legs. After accomplishing that, they planned to flee the country." Zhang Wei commended, astute observation. "Given that they resorted to firearms, how did you manage to subdue them?" "I possess some skills," Zhou Yuchen stated. "They didn't have the chance to fire before I neutralized them." Zhang Wei gave a thumbs up, exclaiming, "Impressive." Wu Laolu and Husan are A-level fugitives issued by the National Police, responsible for the deaths of 6 of our colleagues and the theft of 4 firearms. This must be 2 of those weapons. I never expected these desperate men would find their way to Yunhai and fall into your hands. Mr. Zhou, on behalf of the police department, I extend my gratitude." With that, Zhang Wei saluted him. Zhou Yuchen quickly responded, "Officer Zhang, there is no need for such formality. I merely acted in self-defense." Zhang Wei queried, "Have you recently crossed anyone?" Zhou Yuchen nodded. "Luo Hao from Haifeng Transport." A glint appeared in Zhang Wei's eyes as he remarked, "Mr. Zhou, we kindly ask that you accompany us to the police department. We need to take a statement." "Of course," Zhou Yuchen agreed. "However, I need to make a phone call to inform my family." "Understood," Zhang Wei replied. Zhou Yuchen took out his phone and called Shen Jingyan. Briefly explaining the situation, he warned, "That scoundrel Luo Hao is audacious. No one knows if he will send someone to attack again. For your safety, you and the children should return home promptly, and let Zhou Qing head back to her dormitory." Having grown up in a police family, Shen Jingyan remained calm amidst the sudden turmoil. "I understand. I will take Zhou Qing to Mind Community for the night." "That would be ideal," Zhou Yuchen affirmed. After ending the call, he followed the officers out. Upon arriving at the police department, Zhang Wei personally took his detailed statement. Zhou Yuchen recounted his past grievances with Luo Hao with clarity and without any concealment. After the record was completed, Zhang Wei's gaze toward Zhou Yuchen was filled with sympathy. A promising college entrance examination top scorer had, through a misstep, been wrongfully accused by a scoundrel and a nefarious woman, leading to the ruin of his life. Such a blow would likely have driven another to despair. Yet Zhou Yuchen remained resilient, even thriving, which garnered Zhang Wei's respect. Returning to the office with the statement, Zhang Wei was unexpectedly greeted by Director Shen Qinggang, to whom he immediately saluted. "Director, what brings you here?" "I heard you apprehended 2 A-level fugitives, so I came to take a look," Shen Qinggang replied. Zhang Wei explained, "Director, it was Zhou Yuchen who captured them. I merely benefited from his efforts." Shen Qinggang extended his hand, saying, "Allow me to see the statement." Zhang Wei promptly handed it over. After reviewing it, Shen Qinggang chuckled, "I didn't expect this young man to possess martial prowess." Zhang Wei was taken aback, asking, "Director, do you know Zhou Yuchen?" "Not only do I know him, but I am quite familiar with him. What are your next steps?" Without hesitation, Zhang Wei declared, "We must apprehend Luo Hao as soon as possible, ensuring he has no contact with the 2 fugitives." Shen Qinggang inquired, "Do you believe Zhou Yuchen's account is credible?" After a moment of contemplation, Zhang Wei replied, "Based on my years of experience, Zhou Yuchen's story appears to be truthful, though regrettably lacking evidence. Unless Luo Hao and Su Xiaoya confess, it will be impossible to overturn the case." Shen Qinggang nodded. "Can Zhou Yuchen leave now?" "Of course," Zhang Wei affirmed. "I will arrange for someone to escort him home immediately." Shen Qinggang stood, stating, "No need, he will come with me." Zhang Wei felt a sudden shift in his assessment of the relationship between Shen Qinggang and Zhou Yuchen. At that moment, An officer burst into the room. Zhang Wei frowned and admonished, Xiao Lu, do you not understand decorum? Seeing Director Shun Qinggang present, Xiao Lu appeared flustered, quickly saluting, Good day, Director. Shun Qinggang waved his hand, saying, Get to the point. Director, Captain, we just received word that Luo Haifeng, the president of Haifeng Transport, has been stabbed 6 times and is in critical condition, currently undergoing emergency treatment at the hospital. His son, Luo Hao, and several friends were caught using drugs at a KTV and are being brought back now. Chapter 44. Zhou Yuqin's request. Shun Qinggang's expression shifted dramatically as Zhou Yuqin's composed face flashed through his mind. He instinctively felt that the events surrounding the Luo father and son were connected to Zhou Yuqin. Zhang Wei evidently arrived at the same conclusion, turning to Shun Qinggang. Without hesitation, Shun Qinggang ordered, Do not release Zhou Yuqin. Treat the drug-related incident involving Luo Hao as connected to the attempted murder case. Understood, Zhang Wei replied. Zhou Yuqin sat in the interrogation room for over half an hour before an officer finally entered. Officer, can I leave now? Mr. Zhou, I apologize, but you must accompany me to another location. Where to? The interrogation room. What? Zhou Yuqin was taken aback. The inquiry room is where the police question witnesses, while the interrogation room is reserved for questioning criminal suspects, the two being entirely different concepts. Zhou Yuqin was perplexed as to how he had suddenly become a suspect. Upon entering the interrogation room, Zhou Yuqin saw Officer Zhang and a police officer in his 30s seated with grave expressions. Officer Zhang, I would like to understand what is happening, Zhou Yuqin asked directly as he took a seat across from them. Officer Zhang, with a piercing gaze, inquired, Zhou Yuqin, do you know Luo Haifeng? Zhou Yuqin shook his head and replied, I have never met Luo Haifeng, but I know he is Luo Hao's father. Officer Zhang fixed his intense gaze on Zhou Yuqin and stated, just moments ago, Luo Haifeng was stabbed 6 times and rushed to the emergency room. Zhou Yuqin couldn't help but admire the efficiency of Yan Qingfeng's actions. Just a day after he had sent the video of Luo Hao cheating on him, Yan Qingfeng had moved against Luo Haifeng, clearly intending to eliminate the root of the problem. At the same time, Zhou Yuqin understood why he had been moved from the inquiry room to the interrogation room. The police evidently suspected his involvement in Luo Haifeng's stabbing. With a calm demeanor, Zhou Yuqin asked, Officer Zhang, where was Luo Haifeng attacked? Officer Zhang scrutinized every micro-expression on Zhou Yuqin's face and replied, in the underground parking lot of Haifeng Transportation Company's headquarters. He was about to get into his car when someone approached him and stabbed him 6 times. There are claims that the assailant was hired by you. Unable to contain himself, Zhou Yuqin let out a laugh, saying, I hired an assassin? Officer Zhang, have you had too much to drink? I have only been in Yanhai for less than half a month, and I don't even know where the headquarters of Haifeng Transportation Company is. How could I possibly hire someone to kill Luo Haifeng? Furthermore, if I were to kill someone, it would certainly be Luo Hao. Officer Zhang responded, Luo Hao and his friends were at a KTV using drugs. Upon receiving the report, we immediately dispatched officers and apprehended him. Luo Hao is currently in the next room, along with your ex-girlfriend, Su Xiaoya. Zhou Yuqin paused for a moment, then burst into laughter, exclaiming, This is truly wonderful news. Good deeds are rewarded, and evil deeds are punished. Luo Hao and Su Xiaoya's current predicament is entirely deserved. Officer Zhang stood up, leaning over the table, and locked eyes with Zhou Yuqin, saying, Do you dare to claim that this is unrelated to you? Zhou Yuqin replied resolutely, Unrelated. The two locked gazes, neither willing to back down. After a minute, Officer Zhang finally averted his gaze and smugly declared, Mr. Zhou, you have revealed a flaw. Zhou Yuqin smiled slightly, asking what flaw. Officer Zhang replied sternly, At the moment I informed you of Luo Haifeng's murder, your demeanor was excessively calm. You even laughed afterward. Any ordinary person hearing such news would not react in this manner. Zhou Yuqin countered, Indeed, an ordinary person would not react this way, but I must apologize. For I am not ordinary. I am a martial artist who has practiced Xingyiquan for 5 years. Whether a few people die or the world ends tomorrow, I would harbor no fear. To practice martial arts, one must cultivate courage. Without immense bravery, one cannot succeed in mastering the craft. Officer Zhang, is this explanation acceptable? Officer Zhang nodded. If you are not afraid of an A-level wanted criminal, then your explanation holds merit. However, I fear I cannot allow you to leave tonight. Zhou Yuqin replied, Understood. Officer Zhang, may I see Luo Hao? Officer Zhang raised an eyebrow, asking, Why do you wish to see Luo Hao? Zhou Yuqin explained. While in Sioux City, I heard from some individuals that Haifeng Transportation Company might be involved in drug trafficking. Once I see Luo Hao, I will inform him that I killed Luo Haifeng for revenge. I believe he will undoubtedly go mad and commit some grave mistakes, possibly assisting you in dismantling a drug trafficking organization. Officer Zhang, without a moment's hesitation, replied, You need not assist. This is our responsibility and has nothing to do with you. Meanwhile, Shun Qinggang, who had been observing the interrogation via camera, suddenly realized Zhou Yuchen's intent and immediately communicated through the microphone to Officer Zhang. We have not obtained any useful information from Luo Hao. I believe we should allow Zhou Yuchen to meet with him. There may be unexpected benefits. Receiving Shun Qinggang's directive, Officer Zhang said, Zhou Yuchen, I can permit you to meet Luo Hao, but you must refrain from any extreme actions. Zhou Yuchen, being astute, recognized that Shun Qinggang had facilitated his request, responding, I assure you, I will only engage in conversation, not in violence. However, it would be best to disable the surveillance in the interrogation room and prepare a pinhole camera for me. Officer Zhang agreed. Exiting the second interrogation room, Zhou Yuchen encountered Shun Qinggang in the hallway. Shun Qinggang patted his shoulder, saying, The opportunity has been granted. I hope you seize it. Zhou Yuchen nodded, expressing gratitude. Soon, Zhou Yuchen, equipped with a concealed pinhole camera, entered the first interrogation room, where he found a despondent Luo Hao. Upon seeing Zhou Yuchen, Luo Hao's expression shifted dramatically. How could it be you? Zhou Yuchen closed the door, took a seat across from him, crossed his legs, and smugly remarked, Why wouldn't it be me? Luo Hao pointed at Zhou Yuchen, realization dawning upon him. I understand now. It was you all along. Zhou Yuchen shrugged. Where's your evidence? Without proof. What value do your words hold? At that moment, he glanced at the camera in the corner of the interrogation room, stating, Officer Zhang, please disable the surveillance. I need 10 minutes to have a proper conversation with my old friend. As soon as he finished speaking, the camera was turned off. Luo Hao, incredulous, exclaimed, You actually bribed the police. Zhou Yuchen replied with a cold smile. As I said, you have no evidence. Luo Hao, no one can hear us now. So let me reveal the truth. I have spent 4 years preparing for revenge. Do you know how I have spent these 4 years? Luo Hao trembled, gritting his teeth. It really was you. Chapter 45. Acting before Luo Hao, Zhou Yuchen whistled and chuckled. Indeed, it was I. All these years, I have been investigating you and the Haifeng transportation company behind you, discovering that your father, Luo Haifeng, has been using his transportation business to engage in drug trafficking. Therefore, I hired several private detectives to gather evidence against you. Unfortunately, your father concealed his activities too well, and I was unable to find anything. However, I am fully aware of your drug use. After encountering you yesterday, I decided not to wait any longer. I had people track you while I sought an assassin to deal with your father. To be honest, I was the one who reported your drug use to the police. Your father, however, was not as fortunate. The assassin I hired stabbed him 6 times, leaving him drenched in blood and in a tragic state. But rest assured, the police have placed your father's body in the hospital's morgue, and you should be able to see him tomorrow morning. Luo Hao, my dear classmate, do take care. Ha ha ha. With that, Zhou Yuchen laughed maniacally, while Luo Hao sat in stunned silence. On the way to the police station, he had already learned of his father's assassination, but the details remained unclear. Upon learning of his father's demise from Zhou Yuchen, Luo Hao's face was suffused with despair as he vehemently exclaimed, Zhou Yuchen, you must be deceiving me. Zhou Yuchen, upon hearing this, erupted into laughter, clutching his abdomen as he gasped for breath. Luo Hao, cease your fanciful dreaming. Your greatest pillar of support has crumbled, leaving you utterly isolated. No one can save you now. Perhaps Zhou Yuchen's performance was so convincing that it ingrained a subconscious belief in Luo Hao. Overcome with rage, veins bulging from his temples and bloodshot eyes glaring, he shouted, Zhou Yuchen, I will kill you. Zhou Yuchen, with disdain, retorted, and how do you intend to accomplish that? With those 2 wanted criminals you hired? Wu Laolu and Hussein. I've dealt with them already. 3 million? How miserly of you. Do you have any notion of the sum I paid the assassin who eliminated your father? A staggering 20 million, nearly 7 times your paltry amount. Yet there is one thing I find perplexing. Why do you desire my leg, but not my life? Have you had a sudden pang of conscience? Luo Hao, seething with hatred, replied, Because I wish to humiliate you. Zhou Yuchen's eyes lit up with understanding. Ah, I see. How fortuitous. I too will not kill you, but will instead ensure the police apprehend you, which serves to humiliate you just the same. You shall surely find yourself imprisoned, where I will send 4 formidable men to attend to you, guaranteeing your every day is spent in utmost comfort. A flicker of fear crossed Luo Hao's eyes, his bravado faltering as he retorted, You dare. Zhou Yuchen chuckled, I dare to kill your father. Do you truly think I would hesitate to deal with you? A mere fool? But in light of our shared past as classmates, I shall impart upon you a little secret. Do you know who the assassin was? Luo Hao's expression shifted. Who? Zhou Yuchen pointed at him, laughing uncontrollably, nearly shedding tears from the hilarity. Luo Hao felt humiliated, demanding, Will you just say it already? Zhou Yuchen, wiping away his tears with a tissue, stated, It was your father's closest business associate. Ha ha ha, your father was a great fool. Trusting those engaged in the drug trade. How utterly laughable. Luo Hao's eyes turned crimson, cursing, Li Jinting, that bastard. I knew he was no good. If it weren't for him, I would not have fallen into addiction. Upon hearing this, Zhang Wei, who had been in the surveillance room, gleefully exclaimed, excellent. Shen Qinggang, with a grave tone, instructed, investigate Li Jinting. Understood, Zhang Wei promptly acted on the directive. Zhou Yuqin, invigorated by this breakthrough, continued his performance with greater finesse. Mr. Li is far superior to you both. He understands moderation. After amassing enough wealth, he transitioned to legitimate business, eliminating all potential threats. In contrast, you and your father are truly beyond redemption. Suddenly, Luo Hao sensed something amiss. Zhou Yuqin, how do you know all this? Are you in league with Li Jinting? Zhou Yuqin had merely been fabricating tales, having no actual acquaintance with Li Jinting. However, whether he knew him or not mattered little. What was crucial was convincing Luo Hao that he did. With a triumphant air, Zhou Yuqin declared, I am but a minor character. How could I possibly know Mr. Li? To speak candidly, I am an undercover agent for the police. Mr. Li has an associate named Black Ghost, and I have been working for him these past few years. It is precisely because I could not ascend to the core of the organization that I lack insight into your dealings. Otherwise, I would have ensured both you and your father met a most untimely demise long ago. Luo Hao, now wholly convinced of Zhou Yuqin's words, venomously remarked, you truly are something else. To seek revenge, you would risk your own life. Zhou Yuqin's eyes gleamed with fury as he gritted his teeth. I have every reason to seek vengeance. I was once a celebrated prodigy, but your slander cast me into the depths of despair, irrevocably shattering my future. I swear I will not rest until I exact my revenge. Luo Hao scornfully replied, you are a madman. Zhou Yuqin affirmed, indeed. Since the day I entered prison, I have been driven to madness. Luo Hao, at this juncture, let us speak plainly. There is one matter that I still cannot comprehend. You were the one who attempted to assault Su Xiaoya, while I was the one who came to her aid, maintaining a romantic relationship with her. Why did she lie to the police? Luo Hao seemed to have finally seized an opportunity, bursting into laughter. Zhou Yuqin feigned a furious expression. What are you laughing at? The more enraged Zhou Yuqin became, the more delighted Luo Hao appeared. Ultimately, he divulged the truth of that fateful day. Zhou Yuqin, after all these years with Li Jinting, how can you still be so naive? Luo Hao reclined, crossing his legs with pride, to tell you the truth. Su Xiaoya has a gambling-addicted father who owed our casino over 3 million. After the incident, we apprehended her father and coerced her into lying to the police, ensuring you were imprisoned. Do you understand now, you fool? Chapter 46. The truth revealed at last. The truth was laid bare. Zhou Yuqin felt a surge of joy within. Though his face betrayed an expression of righteous indignation, you scoundrels are capable of the most despicable acts. Yet you are right. I was too naive. I should have anticipated this. Luo Hao pressed on. Do you know how I ultimately won Su Xiaoya's heart? Zhou Yuqin scoffed. What other means do you possess? Aside from coercion? Luo Hao sneered. Zhou Yuqin, how did someone with your intellect become the top scorer in the college entrance examination? It is simply unfathomable. Zhou Yuqin retorted. What do you mean by that? Luo Hao explained. Let me enlighten you. It was through seduction. Women share a common trait. They are enamored with vanity. To ensure Su Xiaoya willingly followed me, I not only cleared her father's gambling debts, but also frequently indulged her in luxury, spending millions on her. Accustomed to a life of opulence, do you truly believe Su Xiaoya could remain the same? Ha ha ha. Within just 2 months, she willingly lay in my bed, content to be my woman. In the surveillance room, Shen Qinggang exhaled deeply and instructed Zhang Wei. Soon, you shall interrogate Su Xiaoya, obtain her testimony, and completely exonerate Zhou Yuqin from this miscarriage of justice. Understood, Zhang Wei acknowledged. At that moment, he finally comprehended why Shen Qinggang had made an exception to allow Zhou Yuqin to meet Luo Hao. It was for this very case. Zhou Yuqin laughed heartily 3 times, forcing out a few tears as he said, Luo Hao, I must concede, you are truly adept at understanding human nature. In this regard, I fall short. Yet I fail to understand why you would send someone to target me. Do you not think you are being overly hasty? Luo Hao responded, I have already stated. I do not wish to kill you. Rather, I aim to render you incapacitated, then toy with your wife before your very eyes. Ha ha. The mere thought of such a stimulating scene brings me immense pleasure. Hearing this, Shen Qinggang's face turned ashen with fury. He realized that the wife Luo Hao referred to was none other than his own daughter. Had he suffered from a heart condition, he might have perished from the stress. Nearby, Zhang Wei cursed, what a complete and utter scoundrel. Zhou Yuqin rose, coldly stating, you have no opportunity left. I can assure you, Mr. Li will not let you escape. If it were not for my desire to humiliate you in prison and report you to the authorities, you would likely have already met your demise like your father. Luo Hao, you mustn't die. I will certainly ensure you are well attended to. Luo Hao displayed a disdainful expression and remarked, Zhou Yuchen, I must express my gratitude to you. Zhou Yuchen, taken aback, inquired, what do you mean? Luo Hao replied with a sense of triumph, I thank you for revealing the truth. Li Jinting's wish to retire from this life is mere fantasy. I assure you, my father has long left behind incriminating evidence that could lead to his downfall. As long as I can redeem myself and present this evidence to the police. Do you believe you still have a chance to harm me? With that, Luo Hao raised his voice, proclaiming, I want to report a crime. Zhou Yuchen's face darkened to an extreme, and he furiously retorted, report your mother. Seeing this, Luo Hao's voice grew louder. I want to report. My father was murdered by this scoundrel. Bang! The door burst open, and Zhang Wei entered with 3 police officers, asking, what is going on? Luo Hao pointed at Zhou Yuchen, declaring, he offered 20 million to kill my father. Zhang Wei feigned shock, asking, Luo Hao, do you realize what you're saying? Zhou Yuchen, seizing the moment, panicked, and said, Captain Zhang, this lunatic is out of his mind. He is a clueless rich heir. There is no point in questioning him. Just lock him up. Luo Hao cried out, he is lying. Captain, this man appears to be your undercover agent, but in reality, he is far from trustworthy. I can provide evidence of Li Jinting's crimes. I only hope you act justly and avenge my father. Zhou Yuchen interjected, Captain Zhang, I have been undercover with Li Jinting for so long. Do you still not trust my integrity? Zhang Wei turned to Zhou Yuchen and remarked, Yuchen, you seem rather anxious. Otherwise, why is there so much sweat on your forehead? Zhou Yuchen, complying, wiped his forehead and forced a smile, saying, Captain Zhang, don't jest. I have no sweat. Zhang Wei coldly replied, if there is no sweat, why are you wiping? Zhou Yuchen was rendered speechless. Luo Hao laughed heartily, saying, Zhou Yuchen, you fool. Do you understand what it means to be overly joyful? This is it. Zhang Wei ordered, Lu, take Zhou Yuchen to another interrogation room. Yuchen, rest assured. If Luo Hao cannot provide substantial evidence, I will clear your name. Zhou Yuchen pursed his lips and replied, understood, Captain. 2 officers escorted Zhou Yuchen out of the interrogation room and into the monitoring room. Shen Chenggang smiled and remarked, very good. You exhibit both courage and cunning. Masterfully maneuvering Luo Hao. Little Zhou, it would be a pity if you did not become a police officer. Zhou Yuchen replied, my intention in all this is not revenge, but to seek justice. I do not wish for my circumstances to affect the future political evaluation of the young girl. Shen Chenggang nodded, assuring him, rest assured. Someone has already gone to interrogate Su Xiaoya. As long as she admits to the falsehood, your case will be overturned. Zhou Yuchen gazed toward the monitoring screen, where Su Xiaoya was being interrogated, and said, I hope everything goes smoothly. Half an hour later, Zhang Wei entered with a record, his face alight with excitement, reporting, Director, Luo Hao has confessed everything. I will immediately take people to Luo Haifeng's home to search for that laptop. It contains not only the transaction records between Luo Haifeng and Li Jinting, but also a lengthy list of drug trafficking personnel. Shen Chenggang smiled, saying, go ahead. If you can uncover this lead, I will personally commend you. Yes, thank you, Director. As Zhang Wei cheerfully approached the monitoring room's door, he suddenly paused, turning to Zhou Yuchen and saying, Mr. Zhou, thank you. Zhou Yuchen was taken aback and replied with a smile, cooperation between police and citizens is only natural. 10 minutes after Zhang Wei left, the officer responsible for interrogating Su Xiaoya returned. Shen Chenggang took the record and examined it carefully, saying, Little Zhou, congratulations. Your case has been overturned. Zhou Yuchen opened his mouth to speak, but found himself at a loss for words, his mind blank. Since merging with the identity of this world, Zhou Yuchen felt as though he had been bearing the weight of a great mountain. He understood that this burden stemmed from the previous identity's obsession, which had now become his own. This mountain was too high and heavy, often leaving him breathless. Now, with the burden lifted, Zhou Yuchen felt a wave of lightness within him. Even his breathing became more effortless. Chapter 47. Zhou Yuchen's hacking skills after a while. Zhou Yuchen regained his composure, wiped his face vigorously, and exhaled deeply, saying, though justice has arrived late, it is still better than never arriving. Shen Chenggang solemnly stated, this is a failure on our part, resulting in your 10-month imprisonment. On behalf of the Yunhai Police Department, I apologize. Zhou Yuchen shook his head, saying, this is not your fault. It is entirely my own blindness for misplacing my trust. Under the circumstances back then, any person would have reached the same conclusion. Moreover, as the saying goes, misfortune may be a blessing in disguise. Without that incident, I would not have encountered such a lovely angel. Thinking of the adorable face of Xiao Yeye, Zhou Yuchen couldn't help but smile. Shen Chenggang understood he was referring to Xiao Yeye and said, that is true. Zhou Yuchen asked, may I leave now? Shen Chenggang pondered for a moment and replied, let us wait for Zhang Wei to return. He is in charge of this case. Zhou Yuchen nodded in agreement. Noticing a book on programming on the desk, Zhou Yuchen picked it up out of boredom and began to read it intently. After waiting for about an hour, Zhang Wei returned with a laptop, his expression less than favorable. Shen Chenggang noticed and asked, "What is the situation?" Zhang Wei sighed, "Director, this laptop has a startup password. I consulted the technical department. It contains a self-destruct program. If the password is entered incorrectly 3 times, the hard drive will be formatted. We have already made one mistake, and the technician is afraid to try again." Shen Chenggang furrowed his brow, saying, "If even our Yinhai technical department cannot crack this laptop's password, who else can?" "Yindu?" Zhang Wei replied. "Yindu would struggle as well. The technical department mentioned they could use the most rudimentary method to handle it, but it would take a week." "A week?" Shen Chenggang replied irritably. "If it is not resolved tonight, by tomorrow morning, they will have vanished without a trace, and we will catch nothing." Zhou Yuqin set the book down and asked, "May I take a look at this laptop?" Shen Chenggang raised an eyebrow, saying, "You understand this, don't you?" "Yes, you certainly do, otherwise you would not have been reading that programming book for so long." "Zhang Wei, open the computer and let Xiao Zhou have a look." "Yes." Zhang Wei opened the laptop and gestured for Zhou Yuqin to proceed. Without hesitation, Zhou Yuqin sat down, rapidly typing a program, stating, "Give me a moment." Shen Chenggang's eyes lit up as he asked, "Can you manage it?" Zhou Yuqin confidently replied, "I can." Shen Chenggang said, "Wonderful. Go ahead and do your work. If anything goes wrong, I will take responsibility." "There won't be any issues," Zhou Yuqin casually remarked as he began his task. Shen Chenggang and Zhang Wei, both novices, stood behind him, watching as an array of code appeared before them, leaving them in awe. Although they could not comprehend the meaning of the code, the astonishing speed and complexity evoked a sense of admiration in them. Zhang Wei softly remarked, "Director, if Zhou Yuqin can indeed crack this password, could we not consider hiring him as our network technology advisor?" Shen Chenggang's gaze flickered as he replied, "Let's discuss it after he succeeds." Approximately 40 minutes later, Zhou Yuqin finally paused, pointing at the screen, and declared, "The computer's password should be this sequence of numbers." Zhang Wei exclaimed, "Goodness, 16 digits." Zhou Yuqin stated, "I am about to input the password." Zhang Wei quickly responded, "Let me jot it down first." Zhou Yuqin replied, "No need. These numbers are already etched in my memory." With a swift keystroke, Zhou Yuqin entered the 16-digit code and pressed enter. The screen flickered, and the computer logged into the desktop. "Impressive." Zhang Wei gave Zhou Yuqin a thumbs up, his face brimming with excitement. Shen Chenggang regarded Zhou Yuqin with newfound admiration. A man of skills, capable in the kitchen and knowledgeable in financial investments, now possessing such remarkable computer expertise, Zhou Yuqin was truly extraordinary. Zhou Yuqin stood up, saying, "This laptop employs a cyclic password, changing weekly, effective from midnight today. I surmise that your technical department retrieved an outdated password, which explains the input errors." Shen Chenggang studied him intently, asking, "Are you a hacker?" Zhou Yuqin shook his head, replying, "I merely have an interest in computer programming." "Director Shun, Captain Zhang, may I take my leave now?" Shen Chenggang inquired. "Zhang Wei, do you have any further questions for young Zhou?" Zhang Wei answered, "None. I shall arrange for someone to escort him home immediately." Initially, Shen Chenggang intended to accompany Zhou Yuqin, but with such a significant case at hand, as the director, he felt it inappropriate to leave. Upon exiting the office, Zhou Yuqin encountered Su Xiaoya, who had just emerged from the restroom. 2 stern female officers flanked her. Seeing Zhou Yuqin, Su Xiaoya quickly lowered her head, her gaze evasive. Unwilling to meet his eyes, Zhou Yuqin halted, stating coolly, "Su Xiaoya, it seems you owe me an apology." Tears streaming down her face, Su Xiaoya adopted a pitiful demeanor, saying, "Chenggu, I was coerced. I truly had no choice." After investing an exorbitant amount over 4 years, she now claimed to be a victim of duress, which amused Zhou Yuqin with her audacity. "You are truly repugnant," he replied, and with that, he strode away. By the time he returned home, it was already 3 in the morning. After a warm shower, Zhou Yuqin stood on the balcony, gazing at the starry sky, feeling a weight lift from his heart. In truth, the events of the evening had surprised even him. Yen Qingfeng's approach had far exceeded Zhou Yuqin's expectations. From the moment he sent the video to Yen Qingfeng to the incident involving the Luo family, barely 18 hours had elapsed. To eliminate the notorious Luo Haifeng and simultaneously uncover Luo Hao's drug use within such a short span showcased Yen Qingfeng's formidable prowess. As for Yen Qingfeng sparing Luo Hao's life, it was certainly not out of compassion. Zhou Yuqin speculated it was to better torment Luo Hao. After all, it was Luo Hao who had cuckolded him. Any man would find it intolerable, let alone a figure like Yen Qingfeng. What about himself? Given Yen Qingfeng's astuteness, he would undoubtedly suspect Zhou Yuqin of having sent him the video, using him as a tool to eliminate his adversaries. However, Zhou Yuqin was not particularly concerned. As Yen Qingfeng was no fool, before taking action, he would certainly investigate Zhou Yuqin's background. Once he discovered that Xiaoya's grandfather was Shun Qinggang, the vice mayor of Yunhai City and director of public security, Yan Qingfeng would likely refrain from targeting him unless absolutely necessary. After reviewing the entire process and confirming no issues, Zhou Yuqin sat cross-legged on his bed, engaging in Tai Chi visualization. Chapter 48. Doubts surrounding Zhou Yuqin simultaneously. Less than 10 kilometers from the center of Yunhai City, a silver van collided with a top-tier luxury vehicle. The drivers of both vehicles died on impact, while the starlet inside the luxury vehicle, Shui Yibing, sustained a severe head injury and lost a significant amount of blood, necessitating urgent surgery at the hospital. Yan Qingfeng, a prominent figure in the business world, arrived at the hospital in haste, demanding that the doctors spare no expense in saving Shui Yibing. His display of heartfelt concern for his wife moved several nurses to tears. Guizi, what is happening outside? In the hallway outside the operating room, Yan Qingfeng pulled Guomao aside and quietly asked, "Brother, the situation is dire. Luo Haifeng has stabilized after resuscitation. However, the police have thoroughly investigated his drug trafficking activities. The day he is discharged will coincide with his sentencing to death. As for Luo Hao, he was apprehended for drug use and is certain to be sentenced. I will ensure he receives special attention. Luo Haifeng is not a simple man. You must be cautious. Have we identified the person who emailed me? The prime suspect is a young man named Zhou Yuqin. I can confirm he has a grudge against Luo Hao, but further details will only be available by noon tomorrow. Moreover, he was at the Public Security Bureau all night, leaving only at 2 o'clock in the morning. Using a knife to kill someone? That is a possibility." Yan Qingfeng's expression darkened ominously. To consider me a tool, he truly has audacity. Investigate Zhou Yuqin's background thoroughly. If all evidence points to him, I will personally confront him. Guomao nodded in understanding. At that moment, the operating room door swung open. Yan Qingfeng rushed forward, his face filled with anxiety. "Doctor, how is my wife?" The attending physician sighed, responding, "Mr. Yan, please accept our condolences. We did everything we could." Yan Qingfeng stepped back, as if unable to bear the blow. Collapsing against Guomao, his eyes filled with sorrow and despair, tears streaming down his face, struggling to speak, but finding no words. If Zhou Yuqin had been present, he would undoubtedly have applauded Yan Qingfeng's performance. What a masterful act. Even an Oscar-winning actor would likely pale in comparison. At 8 in the morning, Shun Qinggang returned home after a sleepless night. With Zhou Yuqin's assistance, they accessed Luo Haifeng's laptop, uncovering a list of dozens involved in various stages of the drug trade. They discovered that Li Jinting, mentioned by Luo Hao, was the manufacturer of the narcotics, masquerading as the owner of a lumber processing factory in Yunnan. To prevent further complications, Shun Qinggang did not hesitate to contact the Yunnan police. Within 3 hours, the majority of the suspects were apprehended, with a staggering 3 tons of drugs seized. Unfortunately, Li Jinting and several core members managed to escape, evading capture. Shun Qinggang suspected that the Yunnan side had a protective umbrella, leaking information ahead of time. "You haven't slept all night?" Daiwan inquired in surprise. Though somewhat fatigued, Shun Qinggang appeared remarkably alert. "Zhou Yuqin has accomplished a great feat." Daiwan raised an eyebrow. Asking what great feat, Shun Qinggang replied, "Details are confidential. However, I can share some wonderful news. Last night, we apprehended Luo Hao and Su Xiaoya, who wrongfully implicated Zhou Yuqin in the past. Luo Hao admitted that he coerced Su Xiaoya, whose father was a high-stakes gambler, to lie, leading to Zhou Yuqin's 10-month imprisonment. Su Xiaoya has also confessed to this matter." Daiwan's eyes brightened. "So, this means Zhou Yuqin is innocent, and his criminal record can be expunged, correct?" Shun Qinggang nodded and replied, "Indeed." Daiwan clapped her hands joyfully and exclaimed, "That's wonderful. This way, Zhou Yuqin's issues will not affect Xiaoya." Shun Qinggang remarked. "Yes. Teacher Dai, what is your opinion of Zhou Yuqin?" Daiwan adjusted her glasses and said, "He is exceptionally talented, composed, and possesses a profound sense of responsibility. He would make an excellent match." Shun Qinggang frowned and asked, "What do you mean? Do you approve of your daughter marrying him?" Daiwan responded, "Your precious daughter has explicitly told me that she has feelings for Zhou Yuqin. If they truly wish to be together, can you stop them?" After a moment of silence, Shun Qinggang continued, "Last night, the police received a call regarding Luo Hao's drug dealing, and his father, Luo Haifeng, was attacked by assassins. Both incidents occurred the day after Zhou Yuqin met with Luo Hao." Daiwan's expression changed dramatically as she asked, "Do you suspect him? Is there any evidence?" A glint of determination flashed in Shun Qinggang's eyes as he replied, "It is precisely the lack of evidence that is alarming. I have a strong intuition that Zhou Yuqin is intricately connected to the Luo family's affairs." On his way back, Shun Qinggang contemplated the entire sequence of events and realized that Zhou Yuqin played a crucial role at every juncture. From the interrogation, it was revealed that Luo Hao had been dealing drugs at that KTV for a year, and aside from 5 or 6 addicts, No one else could possibly know. So, the question arises, who made the anonymous tip? Shin Qinggang had investigated and found that the telecommunications company had no record of that number. The caller used a virtual phone. And Zhou Yuchun happened to be an expert in that field. This coincidence was rather suspicious. Daiwan was well aware that Shin Qinggang, having spent a lifetime as a police officer, had developed an uncanny intuition. He could determine a suspect's guilt with just a glance. And his judgments had proven correct nearly every time. Luo Hao nearly ruined Zhou Yuchen's life. Zhou Yuchen's report on him was justified both legally and morally. You are worried that Luo Haifeng's issues are related to him, aren't you? Yes. We are currently investigating the assassin. Although Luo Haifeng is not a good person. If it is discovered that Zhou Yuchun hired someone to kill him, he would still be charged with murder, whether it be the death penalty, life imprisonment, or a suspended sentence. I believe Luo Haifeng was not targeted by Xiao Chun. Why? Xiao Chun despises Luo Hao and Su Xiaoya, not Luo Haifeng. He didn't even kill the two main culprits, so how could he possibly go after Luo Haifeng? It simply does not add up. Indeed, this case is shrouded in complexity. I sense there are elements I am unaware of. Regardless of the case, there will always come a day when the truth is revealed. Your most pressing concern now is to have breakfast and rest well. After staying up all night, I find myself quite fatigued. Such is the passage of time. It shows no mercy. Chapter 49. The rumors surrounding Zhou Qing. Meanwhile, Zhou Yuchun prepared breakfast and knocked on Shen Jingyun's door. The door creaked open, revealing Shen Jingyun in a white nightgown. Without any makeup, she still looked stunning, causing Zhou Yuchun to momentarily lose his composure. Are you coming in or not? Shen Jingyun blushed slightly at his gaze, playfully chiding him. Zhou Yuchun snapped back to reality, slightly embarrassed. I apologize. It's just that you are so beautiful. It caught me off guard. Shen Jingyun smiled and said, thank you for the compliment. After placing the breakfast on the table, Zhou Yuchun inquired, are Zhou Qing and Xiao Ye still asleep? Shen Jingyun replied, Zhou Qing is dressing her. Have last night's issues been resolved? Who were those two people? Zhou Yuchun explained. They were two fugitives hired by Luo Hao. Their intentions should be quite clear to you. Thankfully, you called your father and sent him to the police department. Shen Jingyun asked in confusion, why? Zhou Yuchun elaborated. Luo Hao's arrest for drug dealing has unveiled the truth behind events from 5 years ago. If your father hadn't agreed to let me meet Luo Hao, I wouldn't have had this opportunity to clear my name. Brother, have you truly cleared your name? Zhou Qing emerged carrying Xiao Ye, her eyes sparkling with excitement. Zhou Yuchun nodded. Luo Hao and Su Xiaoya confessed at the police department. Zhou Qing burst into tears of joy. This is wonderful. I must share this news with our parents. They will be overjoyed. Zhou Yuchun chuckled. Let us wait until next week when we return home. Zhou Qing replied, all right, we will surprise them. Seeing her aunt in tears, Xiao Ye gently wiped her eyes and said in her sweet voice, Auntie, don't cry. Xiao Ye loves you. Zhou Qing kissed Xiao Ye's forehead and said, darling, I am just too happy. Zhou Yuchun instructed, Ye, go wash your hands. After breakfast, we are heading to the Fairyland amusement park. Xiao Ye's eyes lit up as she cheered, wonderful. We finally get to play at Fairyland. Shen Jingyun suggested, Zhou Qing, you should come along too. Zhou Qing, being a brilliant and emotionally intelligent young woman, was not foolish enough to be a third wheel. She said, Sister Jingyun, a renowned computer professor is coming to our school this afternoon, and I would like to attend his lecture. Chun Haoyu remarked, during university, academics are paramount. I will drop you off at school first, then head to the amusement park. Zhou Qing shot Zhou Yuchun an encouraging glance and said, all right. After breakfast, Zhou Yuchun drove the three women to Qingjiang University, dropping Zhou Qing off before heading to the amusement park with Shin Jingyun and Xiao Ye. Zhou Qing returned to her dormitory, laden with bags. Her roommates, Wang Tong and Julie Na, immediately sprang from their beds, exclaiming, we're here to help you. Before Zhou Qing could speak, they grabbed her things and gasped in unison. Wow, the latest LD brand handbag. I believe it costs around 30,000. And this is a set of jelly cosmetics, worth at least 20,000. The top spec orange mobile phone, Aurora laptop, and this Qingya clothing. Goodness, how much is all this? After confirming the prices, Wang Tong and Julie Na looked at Zhou Qing with bewildered expressions. Zhou Qing scanned the room and asked, where is Xu Nianer? Julie Na scoffed. She was picked up last night by some rich second generation driving a Hummer. Like Wang Tong and Zhou Qing, Julie Na held a deep disdain for the self-indulgent Xu Nianer. Wang Tong pressed, dear, please explain, who is that man who picked you up in a Benz? We've been classmates for nearly 2 years, and I've never seen him before. Your secrecy is remarkable. Zhou Qing was taken aback. How do you know it was a Benz? Wang Tong giggled. When you left yesterday, I couldn't resist following you and Xu Nianer outside. I happened to see you two embracing. Zhou Qing rolled her eyes and retorted. It's one thing for Xu Nianer to act that way, but why did you join in? How boring. Wang Tong insisted, let us not digress. Just tell me the truth. Is that man your boyfriend? Julina interjected. Does it even need to be said? If he weren't her boyfriend, why would he spend so much on gifts for Zhou Qing? These are far superior to what Xu Nian'er received. Zhou Qing sighed and confessed. His name is Zhou Yuchun. We've grown up together. Wang Tong grinned. Ah, childhood sweethearts. How delightful that you share the same surname. Zhou Qing. At what stage have you progressed? Is there anything between you two? Zhou Qing playfully flicked Wang Tong's forehead and said, put away your sordid thoughts. He is my brother. My biological brother. Wang Tong exclaimed in surprise. Is that true? Zhou Qing replied, of course it's true. Wang Tong's eyes lit up. Zhou Qing, could you introduce your wealthy elder brother to me? Rest assured, once I become your sister-in-law and gain control over the household finances, my first act will be to buy you a house. Julina chuckled. Wang Tong, you are utterly shameless. Zhou Qing, don't listen to her. I'll buy you a villa. Zhou Qing shrugged and said, you two should stop indulging in fantasies. My brother has a 3.5-year-old child who is exceedingly adorable. And as for my future sister-in-law, she is 10 times more beautiful than I am. Wang Tong and Julina exclaimed in unison, impossible. Zhou Qing replied, once you meet her, you'll understand whether it's possible or not. Honestly, throughout my life, I have never encountered a woman more beautiful than my sister-in-law. Even those celebrities pale in comparison to her looks and grace. Julina remarked, hearing you say that, I truly wish to meet her. Wang Tong continued, on a serious note, Zhou Qing, there is something you need to know. That pesky Xu Nian'er has posted a photo of you and your brother embracing on our school forum, claiming you have sold yourself to be with a wealthy heir. You should clarify this matter swiftly. Is that so? Let me take a look first, Zhou Qing said, promptly pulling out her newly purchased laptop and logging onto the Qingtian University forum. Indeed, the post about her being kept had become the most popular one. The comments were rife with disparagement. I never imagined my pure goddess would sell herself for money. I'm utterly disappointed. Pure goddess? Bah. When I have money, I'll keep her too. Alas, these days, it's all about money. It's only natural. Just open your legs, and the cash flows in. What could be easier than that? From today on, my goddess count has diminished by 1. Chapter 50, a perfect hit. The post was published yesterday at 3 in the afternoon, and within just over a day, the number of comments had surpassed 10,000. While the total student population at Qingtian University is only a little over 7,000, illustrating the post's explosive popularity. Julina asked, Zhou Qing, what are you planning to do? Zhou Qing smiled and said, from now on, my boyfriend will be my biological brother. Julina paused, quickly grasping Zhou Qing's intention. You intend to use your brother to fend off those pursuing you? Zhou Qing nodded exactly. As the second most beautiful woman at Qingtian University, Zhou Qing had no fewer than 8 suitors. Absurdly, many boys would often crash their classes just to catch a glimpse of her. At times, Zhou Qing received over 100 love letters in a single week, not to mention the roses. Frustrated by this incessant attention, Zhou Qing saw this as an opportunity to dissuade their advances. Soon, a post appeared. I, Zhou Qing, am in a romantic relationship with the man in the photo. We are childhood sweethearts. We plan to marry after graduating in our senior year. Please do not spread false rumors. Thank you. Following the post's publication, the comments section erupted in dismay. Countless lecherous individuals emerged, reluctant to berate Zhou Qing, instead unleashing their vitriol on Zhou Yuqing. Within just 1 hour, Zhou Qing's post had decisively overshadowed Xu Nian'er's. To ensure Julina and Wang Tong kept the secret, Zhou Qing treated them to a lavish meal. Fortunately, Zhou Yuqing had transferred 30,000 yuan into her bank account, or she would have had to borrow money to get by. At the amusement park, little Yaya was engaged in a hoop toss game. Due to her small strength, she failed to land a single toy after numerous attempts, pouting in frustration. Zhou Yuqing smiled gently. Sweetheart, would you like Daddy to help you? Yes, Daddy, I want that teddy bear alarm clock, little Yaya replied. Shen Jingyan sighed. That is quite difficult. Zhou Yuqing glanced over and noted that the teddy bear alarm clock was situated at the farthest point in the center. Using a bamboo hoop to land a toss, there was nearly impossible for an ordinary person. Fortunately, Zhou Yuqing was no ordinary individual. As a master of Xingyiquan, his control over strength had reached an extraordinary level. Having casually tossed 3 hoops previously without success, he had already gauged the weight and balance of the bamboo hoop. What others deemed impossible was merely a trivial challenge for Zhou Yuqing. Watch me, he declared, picking up a bamboo hoop, giving it a slight toss, and sending it flying 6 meters with an added burst of force, landing perfectly on the teddy bear alarm clock. Wow, you got it. Daddy is amazing, little Yaya exclaimed, jumping with joy. Shen Jingyan gave Zhou Yuqing a thumbs up and said to Yaya, Sweetheart, hurry and go collect it. Upon hearing this, little Yaya scampered over, hugging the teddy bear alarm clock and beaming with delight. The proprietor, a man in his 30s, felt a pang of regret upon seeing the teddy bear alarm clock disappear. His merchandise was all branded items, priced several times higher than those at roadside stalls. Although the difficulty of the toss was high, with 3 hoops costing 10 yuan, the profit from that single teddy bear clock had already compensated for the lost revenue from the hoops. Zhou Yuqing inquired, "Darling, what else do you like? Daddy will help you win it." Little Ye scanned the area and pointed to a crystal ball at the back, exclaiming, "I want that." The further back the item, the better and more beautiful it seemed. Zhou Yuqing employed the same technique, once again landing the bamboo hoop perfectly around the crystal ball, causing the proprietor's expression to shift dramatically. "Yay, I got it again. Daddy is the best." Little Ye cheered, rushing to embrace the crystal ball. Other parents and children nearby, witnessing Zhou Yuqing's consecutive wins, were astonished and gathered to see if he was truly skilled or merely lucky. Shen Jingyun, equally impressed, softly asked, "How did you do that?" Zhou Yuqing replied, "I've practiced martial arts, so my control over strength, speed, and precision is significantly superior to that of an ordinary person. Tossing hoops is virtually effortless for me." Shen Jingyun looked skeptical. "Is it really that impressive? Can you toss the cup on the far right of the last row?" Zhou Yuqing looked up and saw that Shen Jingyun was referring to a pink Alice-branded cup. Alice is a high-end foreign brand primarily producing and selling children's daily products. Known for its excellent quality, Little Ye had been using this brand for some time. Naturally, the price was equally commendable. This cup, if placed in an Alice specialty store, would be worth no less than 300 yuan. If Zhou Yuqing managed to land it, the proprietor would likely be left in tears. "Watch me," Zhou Yuqing said, preparing to toss. The attentive proprietor rushed over. "Hold on a moment." Zhou Yuqing turned to him and asked, "What is the matter?" The proprietor replied, "I just wanted to remind you that only if the hoop completely encircles the cup's box will it count as a success. If just a part hangs on, it won't be counted." Zhou Yuqing remained silent, while the onlooking parents expressed their discontent. "Boss, isn't this a bit excessive?" one remarked. "Indeed. The bamboo ring is quite small. It's nearly impossible to successfully encircle the box." Another added, "If you can't set up your stall properly, perhaps you shouldn't at all, lest you become the subject of mockery." The crowd chimed in, leaving the boss visibly embarrassed. Zhou Yuqing discerned that the proprietor was fundamentally a decent individual. Had it been someone with a more volatile temperament, such remarks would likely have ignited a confrontation. Shen Jingyun seemed to recognize this as well. She gently tugged at Zhou Yuqing's sleeve, whispering, "Let us not go too far." Zhou Yuqing nodded, shaking the bamboo ring in his hand. He addressed the boss, "I accept your terms. I shall only attempt this once. Regardless of success, I will not engage again." Upon hearing this, the boss expressed his gratitude, replying, "Thank you." Without any preamble, Zhou Yuqing tossed the bamboo ring as if discarding refuse. Under the scrutiny of numerous gazes, the ring landed perfectly around Alice's cup box. "Incredible! How astonishing!" exclaimed the onlookers. From such a distance, with such a light ring, to encircle such a large box flawlessly, it's truly remarkable. "Today, I have encountered a master." The crowd erupted in astonishment. Chapter 51. A fortuitous acquisition of the clone scroll. Xiaoya rushed to embrace Zhou Yuqing's leg, exclaiming, "Daddy, you are amazing." Zhou Yuqing smiled. "It's the least I could do." The boss, with a sorrowful expression, interjected, "Sir, you do intend to keep your word, correct?" Zhou Yuqing replied, "Bring me the cup. I will not attempt any further encirclements." The boss, without hesitation, hurried to retrieve the cup for him. Subsequently, Shen Jingyun and Xiaoya tossed the remaining bamboo rings, but failed to secure any more successes. Once the family departed, the boss let out a long sigh of relief. Allowing Zhou Yuqing to continue would have jeopardized his business. The Elven Amusement Park was a splendid venue, ideally suited for children aged 3 to 6. The only drawback was the prohibition on outside food, necessitating dining at the park's limited restaurants. Zhou Yuqing and Shen Jingyun, accompanied by Xiaoya, wandered around before settling on a beef noodle shop, drawn by its bustling clientele and apparent cleanliness. However, it wasn't long before the trio regretted their choice. The beef noodles were so poorly prepared that they were nearly inedible. Xiaoya took only 3 bites before refusing to eat any further. Shen Jingyun, exasperated, set down her chopsticks and suggested, "Perhaps we should try another place?" Zhou Yuqing responded, "The other establishments are equally unappetizing. Wait here, I shall procure something delicious for you." Shen Jingyun was taken aback, asking, "Where will you find it?" Zhou Yuqing stood up with a smile, "Rest assured, I have my methods." Shen Jingyun rolled her eyes at his cryptic demeanor, though the gesture only enhanced her charm, drawing the attention of several diners. 10 minutes later, Zhou Yuqing returned, carrying 3 large bowls of noodles. The beef and noodles were the same, yet the flavor was vastly superior. Xiaoya took a bite, and her eyes lit up. "This is delicious." Shen Jingyun inquired, "Did you prepare this?" Zhou Yuqing replied with a grin, "For 200 yuan, I borrowed their kitchen and ingredients." Shen Jingyun remarked, "You truly are resourceful." Zhou Yuqing replied, I simply wanted to spare the little one any disappointment. Shun Jingyun teased. In my opinion, you are quite the devoted father. Zhou Yuchen gazed at the little girl devouring her noodles. I wouldn't mind being a devoted father. Shun Jingyun couldn't help but smile. The family enjoyed an entire day at the Elven amusement park, finally returning home at 9 in the evening after watching an animated live performance. Upon reaching Mingda community, Xiaoya had already fallen asleep in Shun Jingyun's arms. Zhou Yuchen gently lifted Xiaoya upstairs and placed her on the bed, whispering, "Sweet dreams, my dear." As if hearing his words, Xiaoya's lips curled into a smile. After exiting the bedroom, Zhou Yuchen told Shun Jingyun, "I will bring breakfast in the morning and pick up the child." Shun Jingyun nodded. "Thank you for your efforts." Zhou Yuchen smiled. "It's my pleasure. I'll take my leave now." Through the window, Shun Jingyun watched the slowly departing car with a faint smile gracing her stunning visage. "Hey, brother. How was your date with sister-in-law?" Zhou Yuchen had just finished a shower at home when he received a call from his sister, Zhou Qing. "Zhou Qing, please refrain from calling her that. It would be awkward if Jingyun heard." "Come on, don't pretend you don't like her," she retorted. "So what if I do?" "Naturally, one must pursue what they desire. Your greatest advantage is that you have Xiaoya with Jingyun, something no one else can claim. If you fail to seize this opportunity, I assure you, you will regret it later." "Zhou Qing, it's not as straightforward as you think. The possibility of me and Jingyun being together involves more than just feelings. There are other obstacles as well. Obstacles should be overcome. I'm set on having Jingyun as my sister-in-law. You must not let her slip away. Our matters are not your concern. Your sole task is to focus on your studies. I understand, there's no need for you to lecture me. Your tone resembles that of our parents. And I'm quite tired of it. I won't chat any longer. Goodbye." With that, Zhou Qing hung up the phone. Zhou Yuchen shook his head, thinking how, despite her age, her impatient nature remained unchanged. Ding. "Congratulations, player. You have completed the task of avenging yourself within 1 month, ensuring that your former adversaries, Luo Hao and Su Xiaoya, receive their just deserts. Reward, 5 attribute points and 1 lottery opportunity." Upon hearing the system's notification, Zhou Yuchen was momentarily taken aback. Luo Hao and Su Xiaoya were judged so swiftly? This was rather surprising. However, it mattered little. As long as the task was fulfilled, he hoped for a favorable reward. "System, I wish to draw." As his will focused, a massive golden wheel materialized before him. "Stop." The golden wheel came to a halt. A brilliant light flashed, and a clone scroll, valid for 30 days, appeared in his inventory. Incredible. This is a significant boon. The clone scroll was arguably one of the most formidable skill scrolls in the game. As its name suggests, it allowed the user to fully replicate the most proficient skill of a target individual. For instance, if the target were a medical expert, merely shaking hands with them would enable Zhou Yuchen to absorb their medical abilities entirely. Zhou Yuchen had not anticipated his luck to be this fortuitous, acquiring such a valuable item. Now, his task was to find a target within 30 days to acquire their skills. Otherwise, the clone scroll would be rendered useless. The question arose, which field of skill should he pursue? Who would be the target? How might he engage in close proximity? Zhou Yuchen's mind began to swirl with uncertainty. Such is the nature of humanity. The more choices one has, the more uncertain one becomes about what to select. In contrast, when options are scarce, one is compelled to forge ahead in a particular direction, often leading to unexpected success. Zhou Yuchen took a deep breath, revisiting his entrepreneurial plans for the future. Soon, he established his primary focus, the realm of technology. This field encompasses countless avenues, and after considerable contemplation, Zhou Yuchen ultimately settled on the semiconductor industry. Like in his previous life, the semiconductor sector in Xia country largely depended on imports, incurring annual costs amounting to hundreds of billions. Those formidable semiconductor companies, leveraging their proprietary technologies, could inflate the profits of a chip by several multiples. An item worth $10 could be sold for 400 or 500, resulting in substantial profits for these companies. Chapter 52. Within 7 steps, man outpaces gun. Zhou Yuchen was inherently selfish. The notion of sacrificing himself for the prosperity of the nation or the advancement of humanity was unthinkable. However, if he could simultaneously generate wealth while aiding Xia country in breaking free from foreign semiconductor monopolies, he would be more than willing to pursue that endeavor. Having determined his focus on semiconductors, Zhou Yuchen began searching for key individuals in the field. He discovered that the most talented figures in the semiconductor industry were predominantly abroad. Among them the illustrious Paul Carr, the chief engineer of Locke Communication Group, the largest semiconductor company globally, now 72 years of age. Almost all the chips under Locke's banner had been successfully developed under his leadership. Last year, after completing the development of Locke's 24nm chip, Paul Carr retired. If Zhou Yuchen could replicate his capabilities, it would be monumental. Paul Carr is scheduled to speak at Qinjiang University next Tuesday. Upon seeing this news, Zhou Yuchen's eyes sparkled with excitement, and he promptly resolved to visit Qinjiang University that day. Player: Zhou Yuchen. Physique: 14, average person, 10, mentality, 105, average person, 10, attribute points, 6 skills, Xingyi Quan, master level, 2, hacking, expert level, 92. Culinary arts, expert level, 99, Taiji visualization, mental discipline, items, understanding scroll, duration, 22 days, cloning scroll, validity, 30 days, after some contemplation. Zhou Yuchen allocated all 6 attribute points to his mental prowess. A flash of golden light enveloped him as his mind first cleared and then returned to normal. His mental attribute in the player's stats increased from 105 to 108, meaning that each attribute point only augmented his mental strength by 0.05 points, even less than what the Taiji visualization offered. However, this did not exceed Zhou Yuchen's expectations. The limits of an average person's physique and mental capacity are capped at 10, and Zhou Yuchen had far surpassed that threshold. In ancient times, he would be regarded as a being of divine caliber. In the game, whether skills or attributes, growth becomes increasingly sluggish as one progresses. Currently, an attribute point yielding an increase of 0.05 is already commendable. Once his mental strength surpasses 15 points, it may be uncertain whether 100 attribute points could yield even that much. For example, the physique attribute has remained stagnant since reaching 14 points. To increase it further, one would need to consume extraordinary items like a millennia-old ginseng or invest 100 attribute points solely into physique. This situation is attributable to Zhou Yuchen himself. Had he not devised this point allocation system when setting up the game, the current challenges would not have arisen. The following morning, Zhou Yuchen ventured to the community square to practice martial arts. Upon entering, he was immediately encircled by a group of elderly men, led by Zhao Shenghua. Young Zhou, I heard you took down 2 armed fugitives in the community last night. Is that true? Zhou Yuchen nodded, affirming, indeed. Zhao Xing was interest piqued, he inquired. They were both armed. At such close range, how did you manage to defeat them without sustaining any harm? The others widened their eyes, eagerly awaiting Zhou Yuchen's response. They may have been overconfident. Initially, they didn't use their guns. By the time they attempted to draw, it was already too late. I didn't afford them the opportunity. Zhou Yuchen explained. Zhao Shenghua remarked, some martial arts films say that beyond 7 steps, a gun is quicker than a human. Within 7 steps, a human is quicker than a gun. Young Zhou, as a martial arts expert, do you believe this to be true? Zhou Yuchen considered the statement thoughtfully before responding. There is some truth to it. Zhao Shenghua raised an eyebrow, asking, could you demonstrate? Zhou Yuchen quickly shook his head, replying, I cannot. He knew that if he claimed he could, Zhao Shenghua would undoubtedly insist on a demonstration, which would spell trouble for him. Zhao Shenghua, wise in his years, easily discerned Zhou Yuchen's reservations and pressed, how many steps could you manage? With a hint of resignation, Zhou Yuchen replied, at most 4 steps. Zhao Shenghua chuckled, drawing a toy gun from his waistband, saying, let us see how you fare. Zhou Yuchen mentally groaned, realizing he had anticipated this. Do you find this amusing, Zhao? Of course. Having served a lifetime in the military and seen battle, I have yet to witness a duel between martial arts and firearms. Young Zhou, please enlighten us. The others echoed their support as Zhou Yuchen asked, how should we proceed? Zhao Shenghua pondered, then suggested, we'll stand 5 meters apart. You aim to disarm me before I pull the trigger. If you succeed, you win. If not, you lose. Zhou Yuchen replied, Zhao, perhaps we should select a younger participant. The vice director of Yunhai Television, Min Jie, who previously assisted with the watermelon, volunteered. Very well, but your draw must be swift. Zhao instructed as he handed the toy gun to Min Jie. Not a problem, Min Jie responded confidently. The surrounding crowd cleared a wide space for the 2 participants. Min Jie positioned the gun at his waist, ready to draw, his eyes fixed intently on Zhou Yuchen, his expression serious. In stark contrast, Zhou Yuchen stood with his hands behind his back, exuding calmness and composure, entirely unfazed. Zhao Shenghua announced, begin. Min Jie immediately drew the toy gun. But before his arm could fully raise, a gust of wind surged toward him, almost blinding him. In that fleeting moment of closure, he seemed to glimpse a shadow dart past, and then his gun vanished without a trace. Wow, that was fast. Oldie, did you catch that? I only saw a blur. Now I understand what it means for speed to be like the wind or for distance to shrink to mere inches. The crowd erupted into a clamor, engaged in animated discussions. Min Jie stared incredulously at Zhou Yuchen, who now held the toy gun, asking, how did you accomplish that? Zhou Yuchen smiled. Those who practice martial arts possess greater explosive power and speed than the average person. That's an understatement. Zhao Shenghua approached Zhou Yuchen. Giving him a thumbs up, you traversed 5 meters in an instant. Young Zhou, you are remarkable. Zhou Yuchen humbly replied, you flatter me, Zhao. Min Jie sighed. What a pity you aren't participating in the martial arts tournament. Otherwise, you would undoubtedly be able to triumph over those martial arts and mixed martial arts experts on stage. Zhou Yuqin smiled faintly, refraining from engaging in the conversation. It seemed that Min Jie was not willing to give up, still harboring the thought of enticing him to the television station's arena for a match, which was utterly impossible. Chapter 53. Zhang Yiwu's provocation martial arts are merely superficial and cannot possibly contend with modern combat and mixed martial arts. A resonant voice echoed in the ears of the crowd. They turned to see a young man in his 20s, clad in a white t-shirt. He stood approximately 1.75 meters tall, with dark skin and a robust physique, his muscular arms bulging as if brimming with boundless strength. Zhao Xingguo's expression soured as he said, Yiwu, return at once. This young man was named Zhang Yiwu, his grandson. Zhao Xingguo had 2 sons and 1 daughter. His eldest son ventured into politics and rose to the position of deputy leader, while his second son served in the military as a deputy commander in a certain group army. His only daughter married into a prominent business family in Yindu and gave birth to Zhang Yiwu. This lad, disinterested in academics since childhood, favored mixed martial arts and frequently engaged in brawls. Upon graduating from university, Zhang Yiwu chose not to join the family business, but instead opened a fighting gym in Yinhai, nearly driving his parents to despair. Upon hearing that Yinhai Television was organizing a martial arts tournament, Zhang Yiwu promptly registered. With extraordinary talent and formidable strength, he successfully advanced to the top 10. Just moments ago, while jogging, he overheard Min Jie extolling martial arts while belittling mixed martial arts, prompting him to halt and approach for a debate. Zhang Yiwu stated, Grandfather, words unsaid remain unclear. I acknowledge that traditional martial arts in Xia country have a grand reputation. Yet in actual combat, they fall short. Otherwise, those so-called internal martial arts masters would not have suffered such dismal defeats in the tournament. Zhao Xingguo's face turned a shade of green with anger as he retorted, Silence. Are you referring to him as the martial arts master? Zhang Yiwu pointed at Zhou Yuqin, sizing him up before disdainfully declaring, With someone like him, I could take on 3. Zhou Yuqin had little interest in Zhang Yiwu's brashness. Old Zhao, it's getting late. I must go practice. Zhao Xingguo felt somewhat awkward, saying my apologies, Xiao Zhou. Zhou Yuqin waved his hand, smiling, no worries. It's natural for the young to be impassioned and proud. Upon hearing Zhou Yuqin's words, Zhang Yiwu grew displeased, hastily stepping in front of him and demanding, What do you mean? Do you look down on me? Are you daring enough to face me in a match? Let's see whether mixed martial arts or traditional martial arts prevails. Zhou Yuqin waved his hand again, saying, Do not misconstrue my words. Every talent has its purpose. I have never looked down upon anyone. I believe both traditional martial arts and mixed martial arts are merely means of physical training, unnecessary to compare. Furthermore, if you were to defeat me, it would not signify that mixed martial arts has triumphed over Xia country's martial arts. Similarly, should I defeat you, it does not imply that Xia country's martial arts surpass mixed martial arts. The reason is simple. I do not represent Xia country's martial arts, nor do you represent mixed martial arts. Our duel bears no significance. Zhang Yiwu scoffed at Zhou Yuqin, saying, Not daring to compete is simply not daring to compete. Why waste so many words? Zhou Yuqin shrugged. All right, I concede that I am not brave enough to compete with you. May I pass now? Zhang Yiwu extended his arm, stating, Not so fast. Your attitude irks me. You must agree to a match. Witnessing his grandson's aggressiveness, Zhao Xingguo's face flushed with anger as he bellowed, Zhang Yiwu, you disgraceful wretch, return home at once. Zhang Yiwu stood firm, responding, Grandfather, this is a matter for our martial arts community. Do not interfere. I'll whip you. Zhao Xinguo, fuming, approached Zhang Yiwu from behind and kicked him hard. To his astonishment, Zhang Yiwu stood unwavering, causing Zhao Xinguo to stumble back several steps. Had it not been for a few elderly gentlemen supporting him, he would have fallen. One elder advised, Old Zhao, calm down. Zhao Xinguo, still furious, exclaimed, This old face of mine has been utterly disgraced by this rascal. Xiao Zhou, please teach him a lesson. Zhou Yuqin hesitated, saying, Old Zhao, is that truly necessary? Zhao Xinguo insisted, consider it an old man's plea. Losing to you is far better than him being beaten by outsiders in the future. Zhou Yuqin nodded, very well. Zhao Xinguo replied, Thank you. Zhang Yiwu, listen closely. If you win against Xiao Zhou today, you may pursue whatever you desire. And neither I nor your parents will interfere again. However, if you lose, Zhang Yiwu interjected, whatever you say goes. I promise to listen to you in the future. Zhao Xinguo affirmed, excellent. That is precisely what I wanted to hear. Xiao Zhou, I appreciate your assistance. Zhou Yuqin smiled, not a bother. It will only take a few moments. Zhang Yiwu scoffed, such arrogance. Soon, the two stood 5 meters apart, ready for their match. Huh. Zhang Yiwu unleashed a fierce shout, stepping forward with 3 swift strides, raising his right leg to kick at Zhou Yuqin's chest. You are too slow. Zhou Yuqin shook his head, mirroring the motion but striking first, delivering a rapid and precise kick to Zhang Yiwu's left knee. Bang! Zhang Yiwu lost his balance, crashing to the ground. Zhou Yuqin, hands behind his back, remarked casually, "There is no such thing as the ultimate martial art. Only the ultimate practitioner. Mr. Zhang, mixed martial arts may not be suited for you. Perhaps you should train in another discipline." Zhang Yiwu rose, shouting, "That was just a slip on my part." "You." Before he could finish, Zhou Yuqin appeared before him like a specter, fingers curling like claws as he grasped Zhang Yiwu by the neck, lifting him effortlessly. Zhang Yiwu's face flushed crimson, his hands gripping Zhou Yuqin's arms desperately while his legs flailed, but to no avail. The display of strength as Zhou Yuqin effortlessly lifted a man weighing over 180 pounds left the onlookers gasping in astonishment. Zhao Xingguo's expression changed dramatically as he shouted, "Xiao Zhou, show mercy." Zhou Yuqin smiled faintly, releasing Zhang Yiwu, stating, "You have lost." Zhang Yiwu swallowed hard, taking several deep breaths before defiantly asserting, "I have not lost." Bang! Zhang Yiwu's fist struck Zhou Yuqin's abdomen forcefully. The crowd gasped in shock, unable to believe Zhang Yiwu would resort to a sneak attack in plain sight. It was utterly dishonorable. Zhao Xingguo's face turned a shade of green with fury. Chapter 54. Zhao Lao's gratitude. You are far from it. Zhou Yuqin stood firm, his abdomen resilient, sending Zhang Yiwu stumbling backward, ultimately landing on the ground. The crowd expressed disbelief. Having been struck, not only was Zhou Yuqin unharmed, but he also retaliated against his opponent, showcasing remarkable skill. The most astonished of all was undoubtedly Zhang Yiwu, a fervent admirer of martial arts. He gazed at Zhou Yuqin with incredulity, exclaiming, "How did you accomplish that?" Zhou Yuqin smiled and said, "It is merely an application of strength. There is nothing remarkable about it. You are not from the martial arts community, so even if I explain it to you, you would not comprehend." Zhang Yiwu, having risen from the ground, his eyes gleaming with enthusiasm, asked, "Could you possibly teach me?" Zhou Yuqin shook his head and replied, "I cannot." Zhang Yiwu, anxious, pressed, "Why not? I am willing to become your disciple." Zhou Yuqin responded, "Discipleship is out of the question. Only when you learn to control your emotions and temper your impatience will I consider sharing my martial arts insights with you. Learning prematurely can be detrimental." Zhao Xingguo interjected, "He speaks the truth. If you possess skills akin to Xiao Zhou's, you would likely have ended up in prison for causing harm." He then asked Zhang Yiwu, "Did you win or lose?" Zhang Yiwu, pursing his lips, admitted, "I lost." Zhao Xingguo nodded, "Very well. Listen closely. Tomorrow you will report to the Yanhai Military District and serve as a soldier for 3 years to hone yourself. After 3 years, you may choose to remain or transition to civilian life." Zhang Yiwu's expression changed drastically as he protested, "Grandfather, I do not wish to serve in the military." Zhao Xingguo's voice turned stern, "You may refuse, but you will forever be labeled a coward who cannot keep his word." Zhang Yiwu felt his face flush with embarrassment. Zhao Xingguo coldly stated, "Everyone is watching. Give me a clear answer." "I am not a coward. I will go," Zhang Yiwu shouted, storming off in anger. It seems this young man is not entirely without merit, Zhou Yuqin thought, a flicker of approval in his eyes. Once Zhang Yiwu had departed, Zhao Xingguo, beaming with joy, pulled Zhou Yuqin aside, saying, "Xiao Zhou, I cannot thank you enough for today." Zhou Yuqin replied with a smile, "Old Zhao, your grandson is simply a bit unruly. He is not a reckless character. Even if he does not join the military, he will mature as he ages." Zhao Xingguo sighed. His parents are both merchants, and their business is quite substantial. His mother urged him to study business management, but he refused. She suggested he pursue a career in politics or the military. Yet he still declined. Earlier this year, he secretly came to Yanhai and opened some sort of free-fighting gym, nearly causing his family to despair. Now, at least we have managed to get him into the army. After 3 years in that great crucible, even if he is as worthless as scrap iron, I believe he can be forged into good steel. Zhou Yuqin nodded. The military is indeed a place for personal development. Old Zhao, you must be someone of significance. Am I correct? Zhao Xingguo replied with a hint of amusement. Haven't you investigated my background? Zhou Yuqin countered. Why would I need to investigate you? Zhao Xingguo raised an eyebrow, well answered. Now can you guess what I do? Zhou Yuqin pondered briefly and said, from the moment I first laid eyes on you, I sensed you must be a military man, having spent at least 2 to 3 decades in service. Your commanding aura remains palpable, even when you speak politely. Moreover, your ability to exert influence over your grandson's career choices, such as military or political service, indicates that you are not an ordinary individual. I surmise you held significant power prior to retirement, perhaps at least the rank of Major General. A glimmer of admiration flashed in Zhao Xingguo's eyes as he replied. Perhaps I have leveraged my son's influence? Zhou Yuqin asserted, a tiger remains a tiger, even in old age, and does not require the support of others. Zhao Shengwa laughed heartily. Well said. Xiao Zhou, you truly are remarkable. It is a pity you already have a wife and daughter. Otherwise, I would surely find a way to match you with my granddaughter. Zhou Yuqin smiled. It appears I have missed a splendid opportunity. Laughter erupted from Zhao Shengwa, who was nearly doubled over with mirth. As their conversation drew to a close, Zhao Shengwa refrained from revealing his true identity to Zhou Yuqin. Just as Zhou Yuqin chose not to inquire further, this mutual discretion only deepened Zhao Shengwa's admiration for Zhou Yuqin. After practicing Xingyi Quan for half an hour, Zhou Yuqin returned home and prepared a pot of 8 treasure porridge. He then brought a dozen tea eggs, which he had boiled the previous evening, to Shun Jingyun's home. The combination of tea eggs and 8 treasure porridge delighted both her and her daughter. As usual, after breakfast, Shun Jingyun left for work while Zhou Yuqin took the child to school. After dropping off Xiaoyu in her classroom, Zhou Yuqin drove to the Hongguang office building on the 3rd Ring Road. The Hongguang office building, consisting of 36 floors, attracts over 50 internet companies with its high-quality services and relatively low rental prices, earning it the reputation of a haven for internet entrepreneurs. Among these companies, gaming firms represent the largest segment, numbering 22. The previous evening, Zhou Yuqin had come across a piece of information stating that a gaming company named Dingxing, located in the Hongguang office building, had gone bankrupt. With 2.5 years remaining on its lease, Dingxing was seeking someone to take over. Zhou Yuqin researched the company and described its situation succinctly. Aspirations as lofty as the heavens, yet a fate as fragile as paper. Its owner, Yi Sheng, the scion of the Yi family hotel chain, graduated 3 years ago from Qingjiang University with a degree in computer science, making him a senior to Zhou Qing. Rather than working at the family hotel, Yi Sheng had asked his father for 5 million to establish Dingxing. He hired over 100 game developers to form a team and, after 2.5 years, launched a martial arts-themed online game titled Blood Battle in the Tang Dynasty. After half a year and spending over 10 million on promotional efforts, it made no impact and was swallowed by the vast sea of online games. As fate would have it, the Yi family hotel chain faced continuous losses and filed for bankruptcy a month ago. Yi Sheng's father, unable to bear the blow, was hospitalized. With no alternatives, Yi Sheng was compelled to sell Dingxing. In his previous life, Zhou Yuqin had built his career on gaming and was well acquainted with the industry. Now, in this world, he intended to re-enter the gaming sector, using it as a springboard to delve into the realms of internet technology and manufacturing, effectively balancing both virtual and tangible enterprises. Of course, progress requires patience, and one must take life step by step. Chapter 55. Acquiring Dingxing Gaming Company. Before long, Zhou Yuqin met Yi Sheng on the 32nd floor. Yi Sheng, 25 years old and the same age as Zhou Yuqin, appeared significantly worse for wear. With bloodshot eyes, disheveled hair, an unshaven beard, and a lifeless expression, he seemed to have aged a decade. Without pleasantries, Yi Sheng directly inquired, "Have you played our game, Blood Battle in the Tang Dynasty?" Zhou Yuqin replied, "I viewed it last night, but I have not played." Yi Sheng's brow arched. "What did you think?" Zhou Yuqin responded, "The graphics are exquisite. The narrative is mediocre, lacking in gameplay depth and player interaction. Compared to similar games, it offers nothing distinctive." Yi Sheng fell into silence, then gave a wry smile. "Your assessment is quite fair. I have rented hundreds of servers capable of accommodating 200,000 players online simultaneously, with a lease expiring in 3 years. Additionally, I possess 126 computers, nearly the highest configuration on the market, which have been in use for around 2.5 years. I can let it all go for 5 million. That should not be excessive, right?" Zhou Yuqin did not respond immediately, but instead asked, "Where have your colleagues gone?" Yi Sheng's eyes brightened with hope as he replied, "They are all out looking for jobs. If you are willing to hire them, I can call them over immediately." Zhou Yuqin contemplated. "Your team did well with Blood Battle in the Tang Dynasty. Technically, there are no issues, indicating their high skill level. I wish to experiment with several casual games. If they are willing to join, it would be most fortuitous and would save me the trouble of seeking out individuals." Prior to arriving at the prosperous game company, Zhou Yuqin had already resolved to develop mobile casual games. There are 3 operating systems currently available on the market: the Orange system, the Sea Swallow system, and the Excellent system. The Orange system is akin to the Apple system of the past, specifically designed for Orange phones and not applicable elsewhere. The Sea Swallow and Excellent systems can be compared to the Android system, and both have made their platforms open source to compete for market share, allowing mobile manufacturers to utilize them free of charge. At this juncture, the mobile industry in Xia country is still in a phase of fierce competition. With over 20 disorganized phone brands, more than 60% of which have opted for the Excellent system. However, overseas, the user base of the Sea Swallow system slightly surpasses that of the Excellent system. According to netizens, the 2 major systems are effectively at a stalemate. Neither has gained a clear advantage over the other. Each of the Orange, Sea Swallow, and Excellent systems boasts its own game download platforms. Given that we are still in the 3G era, the variety of game types and genres is rather limited. Zhou Yuchen meticulously examined the casual games that had surged in popularity globally in his previous life, only to find that none were present here. Presenting him with a prime opportunity for profit, he decided to simultaneously develop 3 mobile games that had achieved worldwide acclaim in his past life: Angry Birds, Fruit Ninja, and Candy Crush. These games are relatively simple, and with a sufficient number of developers, they could be completed in a short time. Consequently, the development costs would be exceptionally low. With appropriate marketing, an investment of 10 to 15 million would suffice, a sum well within Zhou Yuchen's means. He immediately summoned them for interviews. Hearing Zhou Yuchen's intention to hire his group of friends, Yisheng was elated and promptly made a call to them. While they were en route, Yisheng gave Zhou Yuchen a tour of the office. Perhaps due to sufficient funding, the working environment at the prosperous game company was quite impressive. The spacious office could comfortably accommodate over 300 employees, yet only 120 were currently employed, making for an exceptionally spacious work environment. Yisheng did not possess a private office, which made Zhou Yuchen regard him with newfound respect. As not every employer is willing to share an office with their employees, Zhou Yuchen paid particular attention to the server room. Goodness! Over 200 servers were neatly arranged on shelves, each meticulously cleaned. A hint of bitterness crossed Yisheng's face as he remarked, "Pardon my embarrassment. I had thought that after putting in so much effort to launch a game, the player count would surely exceed 1 million. Alas, I never anticipated that the highest record would barely reach 10,000. Zhou Yuchen replied, "The competition in the online gaming sector is exceedingly fierce, and very few companies manage to emerge victorious." He reassured Yisheng, "Do not be disheartened. Failure is the mother of success." Yisheng shook his head, saying, "I no longer have the capital to invest in online games." Zhou Yuchen fell silent. They were adults, and some matters must be resolved independently. The counsel and comfort of others hold little value. An hour later, over 50 individuals gathered at the prosperous game company, most of whom were approximately 25 or 26 years old, with many wearing glasses. Some were dressed in suits and ties, likely in preparation for job interviews. Zhou Yuchen introduced himself briefly, saying, "To be candid, the prosperous game company is not of paramount importance to me. As long as I have the funds, I could establish a brand new game company at any time. However, I am here today for you. I have examined your work on Blood Battle and Tang Dynasty, and the visuals and production quality exceed that of over 90% of the online games currently available, thus proving you are a highly skilled team. Therefore, I extend a heartfelt invitation for you to join my game company and strive together." Before the programmers could respond, Yisheng interjected anxiously, "Zhou, do you mean to say you want the people but not my company?" Zhou Yuchen smiled. "That depends on their choice." A young man with a face full of acne asked, "Zhou, we're not interested in fluff. Just tell us, how much can you offer us monthly?" Zhou Yuchen countered, "How much do you desire?" The young man replied, "Yigo offered us 12,000 a month, with 1 guaranteed day off each week, and overtime pay for extra hours." Zhou Yuchen turned to Yisheng, smiling. "No wonder you were able to summon everyone with just 1 call. This must be the top salary in the gaming industry." Yisheng replied, "It still falls short compared to the leading online game companies." Zhou Yuchen contemplated for a moment and stated, "I can offer you a salary of 20,000, but it will come with a 1-month probation period. Those who do not pass will receive 10,000 upon departure. Those who remain will start with a monthly salary of 20,000. What do you all think?" "Sounds good. 20,000 is quite acceptable. I am willing to join the company." Many responded in agreement. Zhou Yuchen instructed them to return to their original positions and then called Yisheng outside to gain a detailed understanding of their capabilities. Yisheng was very cooperative, producing the original personnel files and introducing each individual to Zhou Yuchen. Chapter 56. The dilemma posed by the young lady. During this time, more than 10 additional individuals arrived. Zhou Yuchen welcomed them all. He needed to simultaneously develop 3 games, which required 3 teams, each with a minimum of 40 members to feasibly complete the tasks within a month. Thus, it was no issue if all the original employees of the prosperous game company came on board. Soon, Zhou Yuchen and Yisheng signed an agreement, with Zhou purchasing the prosperous game company for 480,000. At noon, Zhou Yuchen treated his future employees to a meal and then convened the first all-staff meeting. With 72 employees in total, Zhou Yuchen divided them into 3 groups of 20, electing a group leader and 2 deputy leaders for each group. The remaining 12 employees were assigned to handle human resources, finance, and office-related duties. In this manner, a rudimentary framework for the company was successfully established. As the saying goes, a new company brings new prospects. Zhou Yuchen decisively rebranded the prosperous game company to Moonstar Game Company, taking a character from both his and Xiaoya's names, and instructed someone to register the new name. Once the company name was approved, contracts would be signed with everyone. After the meeting concluded, Zhou Yuqin waved his hand, allowing everyone to return, with work officially commencing the following morning. Noticing the time, he hurried to pick up Xiaoya from kindergarten, relieved that the distance between the company and the school was not great. Upon arriving, he found the security personnel just opening the gates. As Zhou Yuqin collected Xiaoya, he was stopped by Miao Yulan. "Mr. Zhou, is there something you need?" "Mr. Zhou, the Children's Day is approaching, and we require some parents to perform a program. Xiaoya has signed you up, so please prepare accordingly." "A performance?" Zhou Yuqin looked down at Xiaoya, who shrank her neck and avoided his gaze. Miao Yulan smiled and said, "Of course, if you are unavailable, we will not press you." Zhou Yuqin replied, "It's just a performance. I have no objections." Miao Yulan joyfully exclaimed, "That is wonderful. It seems we must trouble Mr. Zhou." On the way home, Xiaoya appeared to realize she had caused a mischief, as she was unusually quiet and no longer chattered incessantly like before. Zhou Yuqin glanced at her and chuckled inwardly, asking, "My dear, do you have something to say to me?" Xiaoya, with her innocent, wide cat-eye gaze, replied, "Daddy, I didn't mean to." Zhou Yuqin inquired, "What do you mean by didn't mean to?" Xiaoya explained, "When the teacher asked which students' parents could perform on stage, all my classmates raised their hands, so I did too. I didn't expect the teacher to choose me along with a few others." Zhou Yuqin questioned, "Why didn't you let your mother perform instead?" Xiaoya responded, "Because mommy is very busy with work." Upon hearing this, Zhou Yuqin was rendered speechless. It was indeed a reasonable excuse. Noticing his silence, Xiaoya feigned a pitiful expression and asked, "Daddy, are you angry?" Zhou Yuqin reassured her, "How could I be? Daddy will never be angry with you." Xiaoya persisted, "Then why are you silent?" Zhou Yuqin replied, "Because Daddy is contemplating what performance to present." Xiaoya's eyes sparkled as she queried, "Have you thought of something?" Zhou Yuqin smiled, "I have, but it's a secret and I cannot tell you." Pouting, Xiaoya playfully insisted, "Please tell me, Daddy." Zhou Yuqin maintained, "I will not disclose it." "Fine. I don't want to know anyway," Xiaoya huffed, her adorable expression eliciting laughter from Zhou Yuqin. Upon returning from work, Shen Jingyun learned that Zhou Yuqin would perform on Children's Day and immediately became intrigued. She entered the kitchen, smiling. "So, you've been tricked by our daughter?" Zhou Yuqin sighed, helplessly replying, "I am at my wit's end." Shen Jingyun asked, "Have you decided what to perform?" Zhou Yuqin answered, "Boxing." Shen Jingyun raised an eyebrow. "That's a splendid idea, far better than singing or dancing. The children will surely love it." Zhou Yuqin remarked, "Tonight, I'll search for some martial arts performance videos online to study, and I will practice tomorrow morning." "What?" Shen Jingyun exclaimed. "Are you going to learn on the spot? Don't you know I practice Xingyi internal boxing? It looks rather ungraceful. I need to learn some more elegant moves specifically designed for performance," Zhou Yuqin explained. Shen Jingyun laughed. "You have quite the task ahead of you." Zhou Yuqin shot her a glance. "I can't shake the feeling that you are enjoying this misfortune. Why don't you take my place?" "No way." Shen Jingyun waved her hands, retreating 3 steps. "I don't like to take away someone else's joy." Zhou Yuqin shook his head. Indeed, the world has grown cold and hearts have become indifferent. That night, Zhou Yuqin searched the internet for martial arts performance videos. In just half an hour, he discovered over 10 captivating boxing routines. Though their practical application was nearly non-existent, the visual appeal was remarkable. Zhou Yuqin edited the most striking moves into a brand new routine, set to grand, upbeat music, creating something extraordinarily impressive. With his remarkable memory, he quickly memorized all the movements, needing only to practice a few more times the next day to be ready. At 3 a.m, in the inpatient department of Yanhai First People's Hospital, a masked female nurse pushed a care cart toward Luo Haifeng's hospital room. 2 young police officers in uniform immediately stood up. "What is going on?" one of the officers asked. The nurse pointed to the glucose infusion on the cart, saying, "Changing the dressing." "Changing the dressing? Wasn't he that just done 5 minutes ago?" The young officer, alert to something amiss, instinctively reached for the gun at his waist. Unfortunately, he was too slow. As his hand brushed the gun, the nurse swiftly plunged a short knife into his neck, and without pausing, she pulled the knife out and lunged for the other young officer's heart. Blood gushed from the second officer's neck like a fountain as he collapsed heavily to the ground. The other officer, taken aback, backed away just in time to evade the nurse's strike. Chapter 57. Luo Haifeng escaped. The nurse's movements were incredibly swift. Her knife flashed like lightning as she struck the officer 3 times in quick succession, forcing him to retreat continuously. Upon stepping back for the 4th time, a glint of the knife flashed before the officer's eyes, slicing across his neck. Grasping his neck, blood seeped through his fingers. He opened his mouth, seemingly wanting to say something, but ultimately, he uttered nothing and fell limply to the ground. The entire ordeal transpired in less than 30 seconds, resulting in the deaths of 2 officers in their 20s within the hospital. With no one to stop her, the nurse pushed open the door to the hospital room. Boss, time is of the essence. We must leave quickly, she said as she approached Luo Haifeng's bedside. Her voice was low and cold, reminiscent of the Siberian wind, evoking a bone-chilling sensation. Luo Haifeng, who had been lying in bed, suddenly opened his eyes, removed the four from his wrist, and pressed his hand against his chest wound, stating in a deep voice, "Let us go." The nurse assisted Luo Haifeng out of the room, where a man in a white coat was dragging the bodies of the two police officers into the bathroom. Soon, the three entered the elevator. The man jumped up and smashed the elevator's camera with a punch. 5 minutes later, a white van emerged from the hospital entrance, disappearing into the vast night. Not long after their departure, chaos erupted in the inpatient department. What? A groggy Xincheng was jolted awake by a report from Deputy Director Zhu Jiang, his eyes flashing with intensity, dispelling any remnants of sleep. Upon hearing that 2 officers and a security guard had been killed, Xincheng was furious, exclaiming, "How audacious!" Director Zhu, immediately classify Luo Haifeng as a Class A wanted criminal and initiate a nationwide manhunt. Gather the team and set up checkpoints on the thoroughfares leading out of Yanhai. We cannot let Luo Haifeng escape. After hanging up the phone, Xincheng hastily dressed, preparing to head to the hospital. Daiwan was accustomed to all this. Without a word, she rose to fetch his shoes and clothes. Before he left, Daiwan said, "Come back safely." Xincheng nodded, "Don't worry." Upon arriving at the hospital, Xincheng reviewed the footage captured by the surveillance cameras, his pupils constricting in shock. Such a formidable knife technique. This woman is undoubtedly a highly skilled assassin. Deputy Director Zhu Jiang remarked, "Director, we underestimated Luo Haifeng. His subordinates likely comprise a band of desperate criminals. The 2 fugitives who previously targeted Zhou Yuchen were probably just 2 among them." Xincheng nodded. "Indeed, we were careless." "Where is Zhang Wei?" Zhu Jiang replied. "We traced the van's route using the surveillance system, and Zhang Wei has already taken a team to pursue them." Xincheng frowned. Seemingly understanding Xincheng's intent, Zhu Jiang elucidated. Due to the sacrifice of the 2 brothers, Zhang Wei and several of his criminal investigation team members are experiencing considerable emotional instability, concerned that an incident may occur. I dispatched a squad of armed police to accompany them. Xincheng's brow relaxed, though his expression turned somber as he inquired, what were the circumstances surrounding the 2 fallen comrades? Zhu Jiang's eyes glistened with unshed tears as he replied. One was named Wang Tao, age 25, who had been in the criminal investigation team for less than 2 years and was set to marry his girlfriend in a month. The other, Sun Jiaming, age 28, was the leader of the second group of the first team, and he had a 2-year-old daughter. Xincheng was profoundly shaken, turning to Zhu Jiang with wide eyes. After a prolonged silence, he spoke in a trembling voice. They were barely 30 years old. That Luo Haifeng deserves to die. An hour later, news arrived from Zhang Wei. The van had been abandoned in a wooded area on the outskirts, and the footprints suggested that there was only one assailant. Zhang Wei speculated that they must have switched Luo Haifeng midway. Luo Haifeng escaped? Upon receiving the call from Guomao, Yan Qingfeng's countenance shifted to one of grave concern following his recent workout. He learned that a female assassin, disguised as a nurse, had killed 2 police officers and abducted Luo Haifeng from the hospital. Luo Haifeng is now classified as a top-tier wanted criminal, with a nationwide manhunt underway, and all major transportation routes in Yanhai are being thoroughly inspected. Yan Qingfeng spoke solemnly. "Guo, is there any possibility that Luo Haifeng is aware of our involvement?" Guomao paused for a moment before responding. "It's hard to say. Brother, I am heading to your location immediately. From now on, I will provide you with 24-hour personal protection." "Very well." After hanging up, Yan Qingfeng took a deep breath and murmured, "A storm is brewing. Since Luo Haifeng has survived, I must pay a visit to the future son-in-law of Director Shun." Meanwhile, Zhou Yuchen, who had just dropped off Xiao Yeye at school, received a call from Xincheng, informing him of Luo Haifeng's escape from the hospital. Zhou Yuchen's expression changed dramatically as he exclaimed, "If Luo Haifeng learns of my existence through Lu Hao, I will be in extreme peril. My own safety is one matter. I am particularly concerned about the potential repercussions for Xiao Yeye." Xincheng replied, "Do not pick up Xiao Yeye from school for the time being. I will dispatch officers for 24-hour protection." Zhou Yuchen frowned. "This is not a sustainable solution. We must locate and neutralize Luo Haifeng as swiftly as possible." Xincheng retorted, "That is a redundant statement. Yanhai is vast. If Luo Haifeng chooses to hide away, it is akin to searching for a needle in a haystack." Zhou Yuchen countered, "Then do not send anyone to protect me. If he becomes aware of my existence, I will draw him out myself." Xincheng gasped, "Have you lost your mind?" Zhou Yuchen replied, "If I lure him out, I shall be the one to conclude matters." Xincheng assumed that Zhou Yuchen was referring to a ruse to deceive Lu Hao. "You are assisting the police. How can you claim it is your endeavor?" "Director Shun. Regardless, Please ensure that someone is arranged to escort the child for the next few days. I will await Lu Haifeng or one of his subordinates to seek me out. With that, Zhou Yuchen ended the call. As a master of martial arts, Zhou Yuchen possesses extraordinary physical attributes and mental resilience, with senses finely attuned. The moment someone casts a hostile gaze in his direction, he can sense it immediately. Thus, he harbors no concerns for his own safety. His sole worry is that Lu Haifeng might prove incapable of confronting him directly and instead target his family and child, a notion Zhou Yuchen cannot abide. Chapter 58. The planning of 3 games. How on earth can we locate Lu Haifeng? Zhou Yuchen's mind raced, yet no viable solution emerged. The only strategy seems to be to draw the snake from its lair, enticing the adversary to seek him out. Alas, I hope this does not interfere with the kindergarten's upcoming Children's Day performance. Otherwise, Xiao Yiye will be displeased. Upon arriving at Yuechen Game Company, Zhou Yuchen convened the leaders and deputy leaders of the 3 teams for a meeting. Once everyone was seated, he posed the first question: what do you envision as the future of gaming? It was evident that none had contemplated this matter prior, and each pondered earnestly. After a moment, Zhou Yuchen directed, Zhou Yu, you may begin. The group leader, sharing the name of the renowned general from the 3 Kingdoms period, Zhou Yu, is merely 23 years old and joined the prosperous game company only last year after graduation. In just 3 months, he demonstrated remarkable prowess, earning the position of a development team leader. Regrettably, while Zhou Yu's abilities are commendable, his appearance does not fare as well. He is of short stature, with a gaunt face marked by pockmarks, lacking the imposing presence of his illustrious namesake. I believe the future will likely belong to mobile games. Upon hearing Zhou Yu's response, Zhou Yuchen's eyes sparkled with excitement. Why do you think so? He had intended to introduce the concept of mobile gaming, but Zhou Yu had anticipated him, leaving Zhou Yuchen both surprised and pleased. A strong capability and keen insight, this young man fresh from university is indeed a talent. Zhou Yu waved his orange smartphone, stating, 2 months ago, I purchased this device. During my leisure, I often indulge in games on it. Compared to online games, mobile games offer the convenience of play anywhere, anytime. Team 2's leader, Hua Haiyang, frowned. The issue is that mobile devices cannot support large-scale online games. Players can only engage in a few casual games. I believe online gaming remains the more reliable option in the coming years. Zhou Yu responded, the rapid advancement of communication technology is undeniable. I have heard that many companies are vigorously developing 4G networks. Once 4G is established, I am confident that mobile games will rise to prominence. Hua Haiyang contended, to fully support large-scale online games, we must address not only network speed, but also the complex issues surrounding mobile processors and memory. There seems to be little hope within 5 years. Zhou Yu shrugged. Brother Yang, the boss is asking about the future trends in gaming, not the current challenges facing mobile games. Hua Haiyang paused, then adjusted his glasses with a hint of embarrassment. Apologies, I must have misheard the question. I concur with Zhou Yu. Once we address the issues of network speed and mobile technology, mobile gaming will undoubtedly become mainstream. Team 3's leader, Hijun, agreed. I share the same sentiment. The other 6 deputy leaders nodded in agreement. Zhou Yu inquired, Boss, what is your perspective? All eyes turned to Zhou Yuchen. Zhou Yuchen chuckled. Our thoughts align. It is nearly a certainty that mobile devices will surpass computers in the future. Hijun remarked, Boss, are you contemplating entering the mobile gaming market now? Zhou Yuchen snapped his fingers. Correct. However, my focus will not be on large-scale games, but rather on creating some simpler mobile games. Zhou Yu raised an eyebrow and asked, Boss, have you already devised a game plan? Zhou Yuchen nodded. Indeed. I have divided you into 3 small teams because I possess 3 proposals for mobile games. These games are straightforward and can be completed within a month. Once finished, I plan to promote and release them on the download platforms of Orange, Haiyan, and Zhuiyue. Hijun inquired, Boss, what will we do after a month? Zhou Yuchen chuckled, a week of paid vacation. Zhou Yu then asked, Boss, if your 3 mobile games fail, will we have to find new jobs? Zhou Yuchen replied, to speak frankly, although I am not a wealthy heir, I do have some spare cash. If these 3 mobile games do not succeed in sales, it indicates that the market is still immature, and I will shift my focus to the computer gaming sector. He continued, regarding the bonuses, I need to mention it in advance as a preliminary promise. Laughter erupted among the group, as it was their first time hearing a boss so candidly proclaim intentions of reward. Zhou Yuchen stated, if these 3 mini-games succeed, each of you will receive a minimum 7-figure bonus. Zhou Yu, slightly skeptical, asked, Boss, you aren't counting the decimal places, are you? Zhou Yuchen retorted, they won T, but I will ensure you are included. Zhou Yu quickly replied, no, I was mistaken. Hijun, with a more discerning mind, asked, Boss, what profit threshold defines success for these 3 games? Zhou Yuchen looked towards Zhou Yu and remarked, did you see? Hijun's inquiry strikes at the heart of the matter. Zhou Yu chuckled, I was merely jesting. Boss, your definition of success isn't in the billions, is it? Without hesitation, Zhou Yuchen affirmed, of course. If the profit doesn't exceed 100 million, where will I find 20 million for your bonuses? Zhou Yu sighed. For a mobile game to sell over 30 million copies is an epic challenge. As far as I know, only 3 mobile games have achieved that thus far. Zhou Yuchen confidently asserted, this merely indicates their games are lacking. Now, I will distribute the planning documents for the 3 games to you. Please study them thoroughly. We shall reconvene in 2 hours. In truth, after the launch of the Orange smartphone, Zhou Yuchen had contemplated the development of casual mobile games. However, the timing was not right, and he lacked sufficient capital. Now, with funds and a capable team, developing several mini-games was a delightful endeavor. Last night, Zhou Yuchen worked tirelessly, completing the planning proposals for Angry Birds, Fruit Hero, and Leisure Match. After careful consideration, he decided that Zhou Yu would head Angry Birds, Hua Haiyang would manage Leisure Match, and He Zhen would be responsible for Fruit Hero. Once they reviewed the game proposals, Zhou Yu expressed disappointment, stating, there's no technical difficulty. It's just such simple games. Will people actually buy them? Hua Haiyang replied, I find them quite appealing. The games are simple yet distinctive. For instance, with Leisure Match, if the price is reasonable, I would definitely purchase it. He Zhen absent-mindedly tapped his fingers on the table, stating, Fruit Hero maximizes the touchscreen application. The idea of slicing various fruits is simply brilliant. I believe this game will yield one of 2 outcomes. Either it will be ignored, or it will become a nationwide sensation. Zhou Yuchen entered the room, took his seat, and said, what I desire is not national fame, but global acclaim. Our battlefield lies not within our country, but in Europe and America. Although the GDP of our nation ranks 3rd globally, akin to the past, there remains a lack of habit among people to spend money on legitimate purchases. Even when willing to spend, most individuals deliberate extensively to ensure value for their money. Consequently, for Angry Birds, Fruit Hero, and Leisure Match to succeed in our market, they must first achieve success abroad. This is why Zhou Yuchen emphasized that their true battlefield is in Europe and America, not domestically. He Zhen expressed astonishment, boss. You're aiming quite high, aren't you? Zhou Yuchen smiled. If one doesn't aim high, how can one earn? He Zhen added, from what I know, our mobile games face substantial deposits to enter the European and American markets. Zhou Yuchen paused. What kind of deposit? He Zhen explained, for instance, the Orange gaming platform requires no deposit to launch games domestically, only a 30% sales commission. However, in Europe and America, they demand a 40% sales commission plus a prepayment of $500,000. If our games underperform and they don't earn back the $500,000 through sales, they will retain that amount as marketing expenses. I am not well versed in the specifics of the Excellence and Haiyan gaming platforms, but I suspect their terms are similar. Zhou Yuchen remained silent while Zhou Yu exclaimed, they are clearly practicing unfair treatment. He Zhen sighed, there's no way around it. The 3 major mobile operating systems are all from European and American telecom companies, which have collectively prohibited any company or individual from establishing gaming download platforms. This monopolistic position has taken root, and we cannot contend against it unless our nation develops its own mobile operating system. Zhou Yu's eyes sparkled with hope. I believe that day will eventually arrive. Zhou Yuchen was not surprised by the egregiousness of foreign tech companies. In his previous life, Huawei Group, after enduring many hardships to gain a foothold in telecommunications, faced a ban on their chips from abroad, causing their mobile business to plummet and even leading to the divestment of a subsidiary. Years later, upon acquiring lithography machines and breaking the chip embargo, Huawei phones re-emerged, ultimately surpassing all foreign brands to become the global leader. Compared to the grievances faced by Huawei, a mere $500,000 was trivial. Zhou Yuchen declared, I will have someone investigate the specifics. If a deposit can grant access to global gaming platforms, I believe it is entirely worthwhile. Hua Haiyang concurred, indeed. The key lies in whether our games can perform well. If our transaction volume exceeds $2 million, that so-called deposit will become irrelevant. Zhou Yuchen took a deep breath. Regardless, we must first develop the games before discussing sales. Now, let us address any challenges you foresee in bringing these 3 games to fruition within a month. Zhou Yu remarked. The technical difficulty pales in comparison to our previous project, Blood Battle and Tang Dynasty. I believe it comes down to staffing. If I could have 20 more proficient programmers, I would face no issues. Hua Haiyang and He Zhen exchanged glances and simultaneously stated, I feel the same. Zhou Yuchen replied, staffing is not a problem. I will begin hiring immediately. Hua Haiyang inquired, I know several talented game developers. May I invite them to join us? Zhou Yuchen smiled, certainly. You are the team leaders and the heads of game development. If you find their skills commendable, feel free to recruit them. They will receive the same compensation as others. Zhou Yu, Hua Haiyang, and He Zhen expressed their gratitude. Thank you, boss. Zhou Yuqin waved his hand, cautioning, "Don't celebrate prematurely. I must warn you beforehand. If the individuals you hire lack competence or integrity, not only will he be expelled, but all three of you shall also face punishment. Do you understand?" The three responded in unison, "Understood." That afternoon, the three groups busied themselves. Zhou Yuqin also did not remain idle. He conducted a class for them, elaborating on the thought processes behind game development. The attendees eagerly posed questions, many of which delved into technical challenges. Zhou Yuqin welcomed every inquiry. Regardless of the nature of the questions, he provided the most effective solutions. It was then that everyone realized their boss was, in fact, an extraordinarily skilled programmer. And their expressions were filled with astonishment. Zhou Yu's mind was particularly astute. He presented a long-standing dilemma to Zhou Yuqin for advice. After a brief moment of contemplation, Zhou Yuqin offered him 3 solutions, leaving Zhou Yu in awe and thoroughly convinced of Zhou Yuqin's capabilities. In just one afternoon, Zhou Yuqin had won over everyone at the game company with his prowess. "Hey Dad, where have you gone? Why haven't you come to pick me up?" The pitiful voice of Xiaoya echoed through Zhou Yuqin's phone after school that afternoon. Zhou Yuqin's heart ached, and he quickly replied, "Sweetheart, Daddy has urgent matters at the company and might not be able to return for a few days. Can you forgive me?" "Wah." Xiaoya began to cry. "Dad, will you take a long time to come back like before?" Zhou Yuqin comforted her. "My dear, please don't cry. When you do, it makes Daddy feel very uncomfortable. Rest assured, on Children's Day, I will definitely be at your school. Don't forget, I have a performance to give. By the way, would you like to know what I will perform?" Xiaoya's voice was sweet as she replied, "Yes." Zhou Yuqin smiled. "Daddy will be showcasing a beautiful set of martial arts." Xiaoya exclaimed with joy, "That's wonderful. I want to see you perform." Zhou Yuqin cautioned, "In the coming days, you must listen to your mother, all right?" Xiaoya agreed, "Got it. Mom and I have moved to Grandpa and Grandma's house." Upon hearing this, Zhou Yuqin felt a wave of relief. The place where Shun Xingang lived was a government housing complex, guarded by armed police outside and numerous security personnel patrolling around the clock, making it arguably the safest place in Yunhai. Even Luo Haifeng, no matter how bold, would not dare to stir trouble there. Chapter 60. Yan Qingfeng comes knocking. After exerting considerable effort to soothe Xiaoya, Zhou Yuqin exhaled softly. He felt that calming a child was far more exhausting than executing a set of martial arts. After work, Zhou Yuqin treated the group leaders and their deputies to drinks, marking the commencement of the company's operations. As they toasted and shared stories, familiarity blossomed, and Zhou Yuqin transitioned from being referred to as boss to Brother Chun. Once they had their fill, everyone exited the restaurant. Just as Zhou Yuqin was about to call for a designated driver to take everyone home, a middle-aged man with a stoic expression approached him. "You are Zhou Yuqin, correct? Our boss wishes to see you." Zhou Yuqin furrowed his brow. "Who is your boss?" The man replied tersely, "Yan Qingfeng." Zhou Yuqin's heart skipped a beat, though he feigned surprise. "Do I know your boss?" The man was, in fact, Guomao, Yan Qingfeng's personal bodyguard. Guomao said calmly, "I would rather not resort to violence." Zhou Yu retorted, "Hey, are you looking for a fight?" The others rolled up their sleeves, casting cold glares at Guomao. They were ready to rush in at Zhou Yuqin's command to teach Guomao a lesson. Guomao, however, dismissed them entirely, pointing to a nearby extended Maybach. "Mr. Zhou, our boss is in that car. He won't take up too much of your time." Zhou Yuqin nodded. "All right, I will speak with your boss." Hua Haiyang grabbed Zhou Yuqin's arm. "Brother Chun, they don't seem like good people." Zhou Yuqin chuckled. "In broad daylight, do you think they can kidnap me? Don't worry, it's fine." Following Guomao to the Maybach, the door swung open, revealing Yan Qingfeng, exuding an imposing presence. Zhou Yuqin inquired, "Mr. Yan, what can I do for you?" Yan Qingfeng's piercing gaze assessed Zhou Yuqin, not humble nor arrogant, composed demeanor. "No wonder you dare to employ the tactic of using a knife to kill someone. Are you not afraid of being backstabbed by my knife?" Zhou Yuqin frowned. "Mr. Yan, what is your profession? Your words lack coherence. What knife tactic? What backstab? I truly do not understand what you are implying. Absolutely deny it." This was Zhou Yuqin's premeditated strategy for confronting Yan Qingfeng. As long as Yan Qingfeng could not find evidence of the video he sent him, he could only harbor suspicion. If he denied it, Yan Qingfeng would have no means to act against him. "Do you dare say that video was not sent by you?" "Video? I don't know anything about a video." "Do you know Luo Hao?" "Of course. If it weren't for his slander, I would not have ended up in prison." "Luo Hao's imprisonment must be related to you? That seems irrelevant to you." "Mr. Yan, I need to take my friend home. If you have no further matters, shall we conclude our conversation here?" Zhou Yuqin stated, turning to leave, but Guomao blocked his path. Zhou Yu, Hua Haiyang, and others sensed something was amiss and hurried over in their direction. Zhou Yuqin gestured to them to stay back, asking Yan Qingfeng, "What exactly do you want?" Yan Qingfeng replied nonchalantly, "Your denial is inconsequential. I merely wish to inform you that Luo Haifeng's men are monitoring me from a nearby location, seeing me standing with you. What do you think they might infer? You are clever enough to deduce that. Zhou Yuqin retorted, what Luo Haifeng thinks is of no concern to me. In truth, Zhou Yuqin had already sensed that they were being watched. Initially, he believed it was Yin Qingfeng's subordinates, but it turned out to be Luo Haifeng. This indicated that Luo Haifeng was aware that Yin Qingfeng had taken action against him, and Yin Qingfeng had deliberately sought him out. Regardless of his demeanor, as long as Luo Haifeng observed him, he would surely retaliate. Yin Qingfeng wielded immense power and had many underlings, making it exceedingly difficult for Luo Haifeng to eliminate him in a short period. Conversely, Zhou Yuqin was isolated and lacked roots in Yanhai, making it only natural for Luo Haifeng to prioritize his elimination. However, none of this exceeded Zhou Yuqin's expectations. He was well aware that, given Luo Haifeng's character, regardless of whether this incident was related to him or not, if he harbored any doubt, he would inevitably take action against him. What Zhou Yuqin had been most concerned about was whether Luo Haifeng could uncover Yin Qingfeng's existence. Now, it seemed everyone was aware of the stakes. Mr. Zhou, do not presume that having Director Shun as your backing grants you free rein. Luo Haifeng has audacity enough to kill even police officers. He has no retreat. You would do well to abandon any notions of luck. Moreover, I wish to remind you, should that video leak, regardless of whether you were responsible, I will hold you accountable. At that point, I will spare no effort to eliminate you and your family, including that adorable child. Upon hearing Yin Qingfeng's words, Zhou Yuqin's countenance darkened instantly, a glint of murderous intent flashed in his eyes, and his voice turned icy. Mr. Yin, you overestimate yourself. I have heard about the matters concerning the Luo family. If I am not mistaken, it was you who orchestrated the assassination of Luo Haifeng and subsequently imprisoned Luo Hao. As long as I can leave Yunhai and conceal myself in a place where no one can find me, I will return once the outcome of your conflict is determined. What do you think of this plan? Yin Qingfeng gazed at Zhou Yuqin and suddenly laughed, saying, Mr. Zhou, you are indeed no ordinary person. I can now be certain that you are the mysterious individual who sent me the video. Zhou Yuqin replied, if there are no further matters, Mr. Yin, I shall take my leave. Guomao looked towards Yin Qingfeng, who waved his hand dismissively. Guomao stepped aside, granting Zhou Yuqin passage. Zhou Yuqin cast a glance at him and remarked, but Jiqun, you've mastered the hidden strength. Impressive. Guomao's expression changed dramatically, instantly positioning himself in front of Yin Qingfeng, stating, transforming strength. Zhou Yuqin replied indifferently, your perception is commendable, but somewhat presumptuous. If I intended to kill him, I would have done so long ago, rather than waiting until now. Watching Zhou Yuqin's retreating figure, Guomao exhaled a long breath. Although the two had exchanged only a few words, Zhou Yuqin had already released the aura of a master of transforming strength, causing Guomao's hairs to stand on end, as if facing an ancient mountain, leaving him breathless. Chapter 61. Sniper in the Realm of Martial Arts. There is a saying that when one's skills are slightly superior, they become boundless. The disparity between Zhou Yuqin and Guomao was not merely slight, but an entire realm apart. Had Zhou Yuqin not intentionally revealed his aura, Guomao would have felt no sense of threat whatsoever. In other words, if Zhou Yuqin were to strike suddenly, even with 10 lives, Guomao would be finished. With this thought, cold sweat broke out on Guomao's back. Who would have thought that a young man in his 20s could be a martial arts master? It was simply inconceivable. Yin Qingfeng patted Guomao's shoulder, asking with confusion, Gua, what is the matter? Guomao replied, brother, if there is nothing else, it would be best not to provoke Zhou Yuqin. He is a genuinely dangerous individual, far more formidable than 10 Luo Haifengs. Yin Qingfeng's pupils constricted, saying, are you certain you are referring to Zhou Yuqin? Guomao nodded affirmatively, absolutely. Zhou Yuqin is a prodigy of martial arts, having reached the realm of transforming strength. Yin Qingfeng inquired, how does he compare to you? A hint of bitterness appeared on Guomao's face as he replied, I would not dare to compare myself to a master of transforming strength. Yin Qingfeng, well aware of his brother's character, recognized that he was not prone to exaggeration. His assertion that Zhou Yuqin was an exceptionally formidable figure could not be mistaken. Initially displaying shock and trepidation, Yin Qingfeng then seemed to have a thought, revealing a slight smile. Since Zhou Yuqin is so powerful, he might as well engage Luo Haifeng in battle. Perhaps it would save us a great deal of trouble. Guomao suggested, brother, how about we spread the word that Luo Hao's arrest was reported by Zhou Yuqin? Yin Qingfeng laughed, saying, excellent. Gua, you have the makings of a strategist. Brother, please do not mock me. No sooner had he spoken than a sudden wave of intense unease surged within Guomao. Quickly, he shouted and pushed Yin Qingfeng out of harm's way. Bang! A bullet pierced Guomao's shoulder, eliciting a muffled groan from him. Damn it, there's a sniper. We must hurry back to the hotel. Zhou Yuchen reacted with remarkable swiftness, immediately directing everyone to return to the hotel lobby while he took cover to observe discreetly. He and Yin Shifeng had both underestimated Luo Haifeng. Little did they know that this man was so formidable. Not only did he possess a sniper rifle, but he also dared to brazenly target Yin Shifeng. However, as a drug lord, it seemed plausible that acquiring a few sniper rifles would not pose much of a challenge. Guomao was indeed a tough man, exhibiting unwavering loyalty to Yin Shifeng. Even after sustaining a serious injury, his first instinct was to tackle Yin Shifeng to the ground, and the two rolled beneath the car. This swift action allowed them to evade two sniper shots. Yin Shifeng's bodyguards finally reacted, and 4 black SUVs surged forward, encircling them. Soon, all the guests in the hotel were aware of the sniper's presence outside, causing a commotion. The hotel owner, filled with fear and anger, promptly dialed the police. Hiding beneath the car, Yin Shifeng felt something wet on his face. Wiping it with his finger revealed bright red blood. "Gua, are you all right?" Yin Shifeng inquired with concern, knowing that had it not been for Guomao's timely reaction, he might have met his end. Guomao, breathing heavily, replied, "I've been shot in the shoulder. It's nothing serious." Yin Shifeng sighed in relief. "As long as you're all right. I was too careless this time." Knowing full well that someone was tracking us yet attempting to use them against Zhou Yuchen, Guomao said, "This is my responsibility. I didn't anticipate they would have a sniper rifle." Yin Shifeng smiled wryly. "I didn't foresee it either. For safety's sake." The two remained under the car for a full 20 minutes until several police cars arrived, at which point they finally emerged. The leading officer was Zhang Wei, an old friend of Zhou Yuchen. Ensuring the scene was secured, Zhang Wei approached Yin Shifeng and asked, "Mr. Yin, I am Zhang Wei from the Criminal Police Brigade. May I inquire what transpired here?" Recognizing the prominent owner of Qingfeng Real Estate, Zhang Wei immediately recognized him. Yin Shifeng responded helplessly, "It seems I have offended someone in the business world, and they sent a sniper to eliminate me. Fortunately, my brother was here, otherwise I would have been killed." Zhang Wei turned to Guomao. "You've been injured?" Guomao's face was pale as he replied, "It's nothing serious." Yin Shifeng said, "Gua, the police have arrived." Yin Ti put on a brave face. "Officer Zhang, please take Gua to the hospital." "No problem." Zhang Wei immediately arranged for a police car to take Guomao to the hospital. While Yin Shifeng gave his statement, he only mentioned the circumstances of the incident, refraining from revealing that the assailants might be linked to Luo Haifeng. He was concerned that once the police learned of his enmity with Luo Haifeng, they might follow the leads and uncover the issue with Shui Yibing. Although Yin Shifeng was confident that the police would not find evidence linking him to Shui Yibing's murder, he was still reluctant to draw their attention. Zhang Wei asked, "Mr. Yin, what brought you to this hotel?" Yin Shifeng replied, "I came to speak with a friend briefly." Zhang Wei raised an eyebrow, chuckling. "A friend who warrants Mr. Yan's personal visit must be quite impressive. May I ask his name? We need to question him about certain matters." Yin Shifeng realized that he could not conceal his meeting with Zhou Yuchen and reluctantly disclosed Zhou Yuchen's name. Zhang Wei immediately grasped the potential issues involved, asking, "What business do you have with Zhou Yuchen?" "As far as I know, he seems to be unemployed and has no commercial dealings with you." Yin Shifeng explained, "I had some personal matters to discuss with him. The specifics are not convenient for me to disclose." Zhang Wei acknowledged this and immediately sent someone to summon Zhou Yuchen. However, after searching extensively, they could not locate him, leading the police to bring forth Zhou Yu, Hua Haiyang, He Zhan, and others who reeked of alcohol before Zhang Wei. "Have you seen Zhou Yuchen?" Zhang Wei inquired. Everyone shook their heads. "Isn't he with you?" Zhou Yu remarked. "When the gunshot rang out, Shun Ge called us back to the hotel lobby. However, he did not return himself. It seemed he hid behind a pillar at the entrance. After that, I lost track of things." Beside him, Yin Shifeng's heart stirred. Could it be that Zhou Yuchen had gone after the sniper? This fellow's audacity seemed excessive. Chapter 62. Yin Shifeng's grave issue after taking statements from everyone. Zhang Wei pondered for a moment before directly calling Shen Qinggang, bypassing the usual protocol to report the entire sequence of events. Shen Qinggang remained silent for a brief period before asking, "What is your perspective on this situation?" Without hesitation, Zhang Wei replied, "Yin Shifeng poses a significant problem. If this assassin was sent by Luo Haifeng, it indicates an irreconcilable enmity between the two. Yet, one is the head of a real estate company and the other the head of a transportation company. Their businesses do not intersect significantly, so such a severe conflict should not arise." Shen Qinggang spoke in a grave tone. "Have you not encountered numerous illogical situations in your years of investigation? As police officers, we must boldly hypothesize while cautiously verifying. Zhang Wei, do not hold back. Express your suspicions openly." Zhang Wei stated, "I suspect that Yin Shifeng is behind the reports of Luo Hao's drug use and the assassination attempt on Luo Haifeng. Director, just last night, someone brutally assaulted Luo Hao in prison. That individual was once an employee of Qingfeng Real Estate. Shun Chenggang remarked, for an unknown reason. Yan Qingfeng and Luo Haifeng have become mortal enemies. Yan Qingfeng aimed to eliminate Luo Haifeng, but failed in his assassination attempt. After Luo Haifeng was discharged from the hospital, he immediately dispatched a sniper to retaliate against Yan Qingfeng. Zhang Wei concurred, I believe so too. Shen Qinggang then inquired, what about Zhou Yuqing? What role did he play in this matter? Why did Yan Qingfeng personally seek out Zhou Yuqing at such a critical moment? Zhang Wei admitted, I cannot fathom that. Director, Zhou Yuqing was missing when the sniper incident occurred. Shen Qinggang stated, this lad must have some connection with Yan Qingfeng. You must locate him promptly. Zhang Wei affirmed, understood. Yinhai City Government Compound. After concluding the call, Shen Qinggang emerged from his study, his expression serious. The relationships between Luo Haifeng, Yan Qingfeng, and Zhou Yuqing left him in a state of perplexity. In the living room, Xiaoya was performing a song she had learned at kindergarten before her grandmother and mother. Her clear voice, adorable expressions, and amusing gestures brought a smile to Shun Qinggang's face. When the performance concluded, Shen Qinggang, Daiwan, and Shun Jingyun all applauded. Xiaoya, appearing somewhat shy, buried her face in Shun Jingyun's embrace. Shun Qinggang chuckled. Xiaoya, is this the performance you will present on Children's Day? Xiaoya looked up. Yes, Grandpa. Shen Qinggang gave a thumbs up. You performed wonderfully. I heard from your grandmother that your father will also perform. Is that true? Xiaoya brightened. Yes. Dad said he will perform a particularly impressive martial arts routine. Shen Qinggang asked. Every set has a name. Do you know what your father will call his? Xiaoya paused. Shaking her head, Dad didn't say. Oh no, Mom, quickly call Dad. I need to tell my teacher the name of his performance tomorrow. Shen Jingyun laughed. All right. Let's call your father. Meanwhile, Daiwan adjusted her glasses, gazing at Shen Qinggang's face, seemingly seeking some insight. Having spent a lifetime as his wife, no one understood Shen Qinggang better than she did. Something must have happened to Zhou Yuqing. Otherwise, he would not have indirectly instructed the child to call him. Soon, the call connected, and Zhou Yuqing's voice came through. Jingyun, is there something going on? Shun Jingyun replied cheerfully, your precious daughter is looking for you. Xiaoya leaned in. Daddy, what is the name of your performance? Zhou Yuqing exclaimed, oh dear, I forgot to name it. How about you help me come up with a good one? After thinking for a long time, Xiaoya helplessly said, Daddy, you should think of one. I can't come up with anything. Zhou Yuqing suggested, let's just call it 100 Families Fist then. Curiously, Xiaoya queried, why is it called 100 Families Fist? Zhou Yuqing explained, because this set includes many different martial arts movements. Xiaoya asked, are there 100 styles? If not, it shouldn't be called 100 Families Fist. Zhou Yuqing was momentarily at a loss by Xiaoya's reasoning. Shun Jingyun chuckled, Xiaoya, your father's 100 Families Fist refers to many styles. In this context, 100 signifies many rather than the number 100. Zhou Yuqing quickly agreed, your mother is absolutely right, sweetheart. 100 Families Fist means a variety of martial art styles. Xiaoya responded, all right. I will tell the teacher the name tomorrow. Daddy, don't forget. Zhou Yuqing laughed. Rest assured, Daddy will be there on time. Shen Qinggang approached. Xiaoya, may I have a word with your father? Xiaoya nodded. Okay. Shen Qinggang took Shen Jingyun's phone and returned to the study. Shen Jingyun's expression shifted, and she realized that Zhou Yuqing might be in trouble. She turned to Daiwan, who softly remarked, it shouldn't be anything serious. Otherwise, he wouldn't have called. Shen Jingyun nodded. Indeed. As the head of the police department, if Zhou Yuqing had committed a serious offense, Shen Qinggang would never contact him privately. Even if contact was necessary, it would be done via a recorded line, adhering to police protocol. Shen Qinggang had always led by example in matters of discipline. Xiao Zhou, where are you? Outside of Jiahua community. What are you doing there? 10 minutes ago, the sniper targeting Yan Qingfeng drove into the community. Are you certain? Absolutely. I have been following that white van from a distance. Along the way, he changed his license plate twice. I am sure of it. I'm preparing to enter the community to investigate. Perhaps I can locate Luo Haifeng. That won't do. Shen Qinggang said sternly, Xiao Zhou, do not take any action. I will immediately have someone retrieve the surveillance footage from near Jiahua community. If Luo Haifeng is there, we will undoubtedly find him. Zhou Yuqing contemplated. All right. I will wait in the car for you. Shen Qinggang added, one more thing. What is your relationship with Yan Qingfeng? Zhou Yuqing, of course, would not divulge the truth to Shen Qinggang, replying, I have never met Yan Qingfeng. This is the first time I have even heard his name. Shen Qinggang probed. What did you discuss? Zhou Yuqing was candid, recounting his conversation with Yan Qingfeng, including the matter of the video. Shen Qinggang immediately seized upon this detail, asking, what video? Zhou Yuqing sighed. As for the video, I have no knowledge. However, I suspect there is a video of immense significance to Yan Qingfeng that has fallen into the wrong hands. He believes I have it. The issue is, I have only been in Yinhai for a few days. I don't even know which way the Qingfeng real estate building faces. So how could I possibly possess such an important video? Chapter 63. Internal conflict. In the entirety of this incident, the only connection to Zhou Yuqing was that video. Apart from himself, there was no other person aware that he had transmitted the video to Yin Qingfeng. As long as Zhou Yuqing remains unyielding, no one can challenge him. Shen Qinggang, filled with suspicion, inquired, "Do you truly lack the video?" Despite the veracity that Zhou Yuqing's words seemed to convey, Shen Qinggang, a seasoned detective, instinctively harbored doubts. He had an intuition that this video, crucial to Yin Qingfeng, likely held a direct link to the entire incident. It was even conceivable that this very video prompted Yin Qingfeng to act against the Luo father and son. Had Zhou Yuqing been privy to Shen Qinggang's thoughts, he would undoubtedly have given him a thumbs up. Indeed, veteran detectives possess an extraordinary acumen. Director Shun, "I genuinely do not possess this infernal video," Zhou Yuqing stated. "Very well. Remain where you are and do not raise any alarms. Grant me some time, and I shall relay information to you." After concluding the call, Shen Qinggang promptly donned his police uniform and emerged from his bedroom. He returned the phone to his daughter, informing her, "I may not return tonight. You all should retire early." Shen Jingyun's expression shifted, and she asked, "Dad, has something happened?" Shen Qinggang smiled reassuringly, "Rest assured. He is quite clever, nothing will befall him." Upon reaching the ground floor, Shen Qinggang entered his vehicle and made 5 consecutive calls, clearly delineating his tasks before driving to the Yunhai police headquarters. Half an hour later, he stepped into the surveillance department. Gazing at the images on the large screen, he queried, "What have you found?" Zhang Chao, the head of the surveillance department, pointed to the second monitor, revealing a woman driving a black SUV with a tall man seated beside her. "Director, this woman is Wang Yingying. At 6 o'clock on the morning of the incident at the hospital, she drove into the Jiehua community. Judging by their stature and build, they resemble the 2 individuals who abducted Luo Haifeng. Several colleagues are currently conducting a technical analysis." Shen Qinggang inquired about the vehicle's location. Zhang Chao gestured towards the 4th screen, stating, "It is situated beneath building number 6. The Jiehua community was constructed over 30 years ago, and due to lax property management, we have yet to ascertain their specific floor." Shen Qinggang spoke in a grave tone, "Implement 24-hour surveillance on the Jiehua community. Remember, Luo Haifeng is an exceedingly dangerous individual. We must avoid alarming him." Zhang Chao replied, "Understood." At a shop less than 100 meters from the Jiehua community, Zhang Wei, dressed in plain clothes, opened Zhou Yuqing's car door and climbed inside. "This luxury vehicle is indeed comfortable, far superior to our patrol cars," he remarked, shifting in his seat. Zhou Yuqing quipped, "If you find this car to your liking, why not resign and become my driver? I assure you, the monthly salary will far exceed that of a police captain." Zhang Wei chuckled, "Let us not entertain such thoughts. With my temperament, I'd likely be dismissed within 2 days." After exchanging pleasantries, Zhang Wei's demeanor turned serious. "So, what is the situation?" Zhou Yuqing replied. Once inside, they did not emerge. Zhang Wei continued, "My colleagues have secured access to the surrounding camera footage. The sniper you observed is likely one of the suspects responsible for the deaths of my 2 brothers." Zhou Yuqing inquired, "What are your plans?" Zhang Wei replied, "Surveillance. We currently know they are on the 6th floor of one unit, but the exact floor remains uncertain. Luo Haifeng is a lunatic. Without absolute certainty, we cannot act recklessly, lest we endanger innocent civilians." Zhou Yuqing calmly stated, 5 floors, 10 households. It should not be too challenging, correct?" Zhang Wei agreed, "Indeed. Once the tech department confirms they are the same individuals from the hospital, my colleagues will enter the 1st floor of building number 6. An elderly lady resides there, who is well acquainted with the community's affairs. Once we ascertain their floor, everything will fall into place." "Mr. Zhou, it's getting late. We can handle things here. You may return home," Zhang Wei suggested. Zhou Yuqing frowned. "Are you abandoning me?" Zhang Wei chuckled. "Let us not exaggerate. I cannot bear such a grave accusation." After some contemplation, Zhou Yuqing conceded, "Very well, I shall return home. Should anything arise, do not hesitate to call. I will remain reachable around the clock." An hour later, Zhou Yuqing returned home. After taking a warm shower, he sat cross-legged on his bed, practicing the Tai Chi visualization method. In room 501 of Unit 1, Building No. 6 of the Jiehua community, Luo Haifeng sat on the sofa, a cigarette dangling from his lips, his expression grim. Across from him sat 3 men and 1 woman, each exuding a chilling aura, their gazes as venomous as snakes. Negotiations were underway. "I have $3 billion overseas. If you can rescue my son and eliminate Yin Qingfeng and Zhou Yuqing, 20 billion of that will be yours." Luo Haifeng exhaled a plume of smoke. Casting a glance at the 4, his frustration palpable. He had finally grasped the true meaning of nurturing a tiger to invite calamity. Over the years, Luo Haifeng had indeed cultivated a team of assassins, albeit a small one, consisting solely of these 4. After Wang Yingying risked her life to rescue him, Luo Haifeng had felt a surge of gratitude, believing his investments had not been in vain. To his dismay, they were not motivated by gratitude, but rather by greed for the money in his possession. Having been deeply entrenched in the drug trade for over a decade, Luo Haifeng was indeed wealthy beyond measure. They evidently intended to acquire the money and then flee abroad to live in luxury. However, Luo Haifeng was not easily dealt with. He directly proposed two conditions. Wang Yingying raised an eyebrow. Boss, while you were in the hospital, we expended considerable effort to uncover the full details. Shouldn't you provide us with some benefits in advance? Luo Haifeng retorted, I have already stated numerous times that my domestic accounts are frozen. Only by going to Australia can I access the funds. Among the assassins, the eldest, Fong Nong, drew a dagger from his waist, saying, Boss, we do not wish to resort to torture. It was Wang Yingying who had initially gone to the hospital, while Fong Nong had concluded the operation. Luo Haifeng scoffed. After all these years, do you truly believe I would fear such things? Fong Nong, feel free to test your torturous methods on me. If you manage to extract a penny from me, I shall call you grandfather. Fong Nong, infuriated, rose to his feet, declaring, Let us see if you can withstand it. Luo Haifeng took a drag from his cigarette, his gaze fixed intensely on Fong Nong, remaining silent. Wang Yingying interjected, Old Fong, do not act impulsively. The boss has emerged from the depths of peril, and given his injuries, a misstep could mean we walk away with nothing. Chapter 64. Luo Haifeng's counterattack. Fong Nong appeared to regard Wang Yingying with apprehension, settling back into his seat. Earlier, Chu Fei attempted to eliminate Yen Qingfeng. However, the security measures surrounding him are exceedingly tight. Assassinating him is not a simple task. Dressed in a baseball cap and clad entirely in black, Chu Fei spoke coldly. It is a choice between saving someone and killing someone. Wang Yingying concurred, indeed. It is challenging to accomplish both. Luo Haifeng fell silent for a moment, then asserted, Rescue Luo Hao and eliminate Zhou Yuchen. That should be feasible, correct? Fong Nong replied, We merely suspect Zhou Yuchen sent the video to Yen Qingfeng. It has not been confirmed. Without hesitation, Luo Haifeng declared, As long as there is a hint of suspicion surrounding Zhou Yuchen, I will not spare him. Moreover, this brat has a vendetta against Luo Hao. Wang Yingying suggested, Here is the plan. Fong Nong, stay here with the boss. Chu Fei, in the next few days, you will take a trip to eliminate Zhou Yuchen. I, along with Rong Xian, shall arrive at Yunhai Elite Kindergarten early tomorrow morning to plant explosives. Rong Xian, are you certain that the chief of police's child attends school there? Yu Rong Xian, a man in his 30s, wears glasses and possesses a demeanor that is both refined and gentle. He serves as the English teacher at Yunhai Elite Kindergarten and is well liked by the children. No one would suspect that this gentleman could be a hired assassin. I am certain, Yu Rong Xian replied with a smile. Wang Yingying inquired, We only have 2 bombs. How will you manage them? Yu Rong Xian stated, One will be placed in the storage room, and the other within the gas pipeline of the teaching building. The bomb in the storage room can be detonated directly, serving as a warning to the police and compelling them to release Luo Hao. Wang Yingying nodded and asked, Boss, what do you think? Luo Haifeng inquired, How do we get out of the country? Yu Rong Xian chuckled, I will remain at the kindergarten. As long as the explosives are in place, they will respectfully facilitate your and Luo Hao's departure. At that point, the other 3 can board the plane together. Once we reach Australia, everything will be settled. Luo Haifeng displayed a look of astonishment and remarked, Do you truly have such faith in those 3? Yu Rong Xian gestured towards Wang Yingying, saying, Boss, allow me to formally introduce my wife. Luo Haifeng smirked and replied, You certainly kept that well hidden. However, I cannot allow Yen Qingfeng to escape so easily. Did you not find the video of him and Shui Yibing on my son's phone? Release it online. I want Yen Qingfeng to become a laughingstock, while simultaneously casting suspicion on him for the murder of his own wife. Wang Yingying declared, My internet skills are quite proficient. I will take care of it immediately. Soon, an extremely explicit video appeared on various forums, rapidly gaining traction across numerous websites, igniting fervor among countless night owls. They were acutely aware that such a video would soon be taken down, so they hastily downloaded and saved it. Indeed, within half an hour, the video was seized by the internet regulatory authorities, yet this did not hinder its spread across major forums. The police naturally took notice. In the brightly lit conference room of the police department, after a comparative analysis by the technical team, it was confirmed that Wang Yingying was the female assassin seen at the hospital. Luo Haifeng was highly likely to be hiding in Wang Yingying's residence. Shen Qinggang immediately convened a meeting with the police department personnel. Deputy Chief Zhu Jiang pointed to the pixelated footage on the screen and stated, This video has circulated across the internet. The male protagonist is Luo Haifeng's son, Luo Hao, and the female protagonist is Yen Qingfeng's wife, Shui Yibing. We can now make a reasonable inference. Yen Qingfeng must have seen this video, realized he was being cuckolded, and in a fit of rage, had Luo Hao reported. Yan Qingfeng is fully aware that Luo Haifeng is not an ordinary individual. Once he discovers that it was his actions that led to Luo Hao's predicament, he will undoubtedly seek revenge. Thus, Yan Qingfeng took the initiative to order an assassination of Luo Haifeng, though unfortunately, it was unsuccessful. After Luo Haifeng escaped the hospital, he immediately retaliated against Yan Qingfeng. We have reason to believe that this video was leaked by Luo Haifeng. The technical department is currently investigating the video's source. Shen Qinggang asked, "How long will it take to determine this?" Zhu Jiang replied, "Within 24 hours. Shen Qinggang scoffed, 24 hours? By then, it will be too late. The investigation into the video's origin primarily aims to ascertain whether it originated from Building 6 of Jiahua Community, though it is not an essential element. Our current objective is to swiftly identify the assassins under Luo Haifeng's command and apprehend them all," Zhu Jiang added. "Our personnel have quietly installed pinhole cameras on the 5th floor. As soon as they exit the premises, we will immediately ascertain their identities." Shen Qinggang nodded, stating, "Excellent. My recommendation is to limit operations until 10 o'clock in the morning. We should attempt to apprehend the suspects while they are still outside. After 10, we will directly proceed to arrest them in the building. Deputy Chief Zhu, you will lead this operation. I await your good news." Zhu Jiang rose and saluted, affirming, "Yes. I will ensure the mission is accomplished." Scoundrel! Yan Qingfeng, like an enraged lion, smashed everything in the villa's living room to pieces. The scandalous video of Luo Hao and Shui Yibing being released online brought him immense shame. The comments from onlookers in the online discussion sections felt like a flurry of sharp blades, mercilessly tearing him apart. After all these years, Yan Qingfeng had never endured such humiliation. 6 burly bodyguards stood in the living room, rendered silent and motionless, afraid to make a sound. After wreaking havoc, Yan Qingfeng slumped onto the sofa, his expression darkened to the extreme. Just then, his phone rang. Upon checking, he saw it was an unfamiliar number. "Hello. This is Yan Qingfeng. This is Luo Haifeng." Yan Qingfeng straightened up, coldly responding, "What business do you have, Mr. Luo?" Luo Haifeng chuckled. "I wanted to inquire how you are feeling at this moment." Yan Qingfeng's fury reached a boiling point as he retorted, "Do you think you've won?" Luo Haifeng replied, "I have lost, and quite catastrophically, all thanks to you. To further your embarrassment, I released that splendid video. Yan, it has been on my son's phone all along. I am quite curious as to how you obtained it." Without a second thought, Yan Qingfeng answered, "Zhou Yuqin gave it to me." Luo Haifeng sneered. "Zhou Yuqin has been in Yunhai for less than half a month. Do you expect me to believe that?" Yan Qingfeng replied, "Believe it or not, it's your choice." Chapter 65. The sound of gunfire. Luo Haifeng took a deep breath, saying, "I never imagined that the transportation company I painstakingly built would meet such an end." Yan Qingfeng shot back, "Your lamentations as a drug dealer hold no value." Luo Haifeng countered, "Am I a drug dealer? What about you? You are a murderer. Not only did you attempt to assassinate me, but you also tortured my son in prison and even arranged for your wife to be killed." Yan Qingfeng, "You are truly ruthless." Yan Qingfeng coldly stated, "That wretched woman was entangled with your son, placing such a monumental burden upon me. How could I allow her to live?" Luo Haifeng, "Rest assured, I will make sure to toy with your son. He weighs over 200 pounds, and I guarantee that within 6 months, he will lose at least half of that." Luo Haifeng erupted in fury, exclaiming, "Scoundrel! I tell you, the police are already watching you. They will undoubtedly investigate the cause of Shui Yibing's death. You will eventually face your demise." Yan Qingfeng laughed. "Without evidence, no one can do anything to me." Luo Haifeng, "You should be contemplating how to escape the police's web." With that, Yan Qingfeng hung up, having heard the sound of police sirens outside. Shortly thereafter, several officers took Yan Qingfeng away for questioning. The next morning at 9 o'clock, Wang Yingying and Yu Rongxian were the first to depart, followed closely by Chu Fei, who exited the building carrying a black suitcase. The police immediately began investigating the identities of the 3 individuals, discovering that Yu Rongxian was indeed an English teacher at Yunhai Elite Kindergarten. Realizing that Wang Yingying and Yu Rongxian were less than 5 kilometers from the kindergarten, the operation commander Zhu Zhang's expression changed, and he promptly picked up the radio, stating, "All units, take note. Initiate the arrest immediately. The suspects are armed. If necessary, use lethal force." Upon receiving the order, the police swiftly sprang into action. The first to be apprehended were Luo Haifeng and Fong Nong on the 5th floor. After several armed police officers rushed in, Luo Haifeng was found lying on the bed in his bedroom, gravely injured. His recovery would take at least 3 more months to return to his former self. Fong Nong reacted swiftly. Upon noticing the armed police approaching, he leaped from the 5th floor window. Utilizing the air conditioning units of the 4 households below, he landed safely in under a minute. However, He was immediately confronted by the barrels of at least 5 automatic rifles. Resigned, Fong Nong raised his hands in surrender. The second individual apprehended was Chu Fei, whose target was Zhou Yuqing. He had arrived at Lijiang Garden by car, entering the residential complex primarily to scout for Zhou Yuqing's home address, intending to act later that evening. Upon returning from his reconnaissance, he was met by a dozen fully armed police officers, and the sniper rifle in his vehicle had already fallen into their hands. Displaying remarkable courage, Chu Fei drew his handgun under such dire circumstances. Gunfire erupted, and he collapsed in a pool of blood. Nevertheless, he survived, as the police had aimed for non-fatal areas. The captures of the first 3 individuals proceeded smoothly, but complications arose with Wang Yingying and Yu Rongshuan. Wang Yingying, an exceedingly sensitive woman, detected someone trailing them while on their way to the kindergarten. "We may have been compromised," she warned Yu Rongshuan, pulling out her handgun. Yu Rongshuan, a seasoned veteran, remained unfazed. "We are only 5 kilometers from the kindergarten. We must take a risk. Once we reach the kindergarten, we will have ample hostages. By the way, the granddaughter of Police Commissioner Shin Xingyang is named Shin Xinyue and is a student in Class 6. Then let us go to Class 6 and capture her." Wang Yingying replied. "With that little one in our possession, we can ensure our safety." Yu Rongshuan pressed the accelerator, propelling their vehicle to a speed of 100 kilometers per hour. Behind them, Zhang Wei noticed the situation was amiss and immediately reported, "Director Zhu, they have discovered us." Zhu Jiang replied sternly, "Our team will reach the kindergarten in 15 minutes. You must find a way to stall them." "Understood," Zhang Wei responded, placing an alarm on the vehicle's exterior and speeding ahead. The other 3 black SUVs mirrored this action. The traffic in Yunhai was scarcely better than in Yindu, especially on the main roads. A day without congestion was considered fortunate, and today was not one of those days. Just 2 kilometers from Yunhai Inkai Kindergarten, a traffic accident caused dozens of vehicles to come to a halt. Wang Rongrong and Yu Rongshuan exchanged glances and promptly exited their vehicle. They each commandeered an electric scooter and sped toward the kindergarten. Zhang Wei and his team requisitioned nearby pedestrian scooters to continue their pursuit. Upon arriving at the kindergarten, they witnessed Wang Yingying and Yu Rongshuan rushing into the teaching building. "This is it." Zhang Wei's expression changed dramatically as he led his team into the building. Yu Rongshuan reached Class 6, only to find that Xiaoya was absent. He inquired of Teacher Wu, who was conducting a lesson, "Where have the children gone?" Teacher Wu, puzzled, replied, "They are rehearsing on the 4th floor. Is there a problem?" "No, nothing," Yu Rongshuan said, quickly taking Wang Yingying and heading toward the rehearsal room on the 4th floor. Inside the rehearsal room, Zhou Yuqing and over 20 parents sat idly, waiting for their turn to perform. Due to Luo Haifeng's predicament, Zhou Yuqing had initially hesitated to attend, but his class teacher, Miao Yulan, had personally called him, insisting he must come to school for the rehearsal. Convinced that being at school posed no risks, he drove to the kindergarten. Xiaoya beamed with joy upon seeing Zhou Yuqing, her smile radiant. At that moment, the children involved in the rehearsal were changing costumes backstage. Parents were required to wait until the children's performances concluded before they could ascend the stage. Suddenly, gunfire erupted outside. A parent murmured, "Who is setting off firecrackers at school?" Zhou Yuqing's expression changed instantly as he sprang to his feet. "That is not the sound of firecrackers." He quickly pressed his ear to the ground, confirming the sound of hurried footsteps outside. "Everyone hide. That is gunfire." Zhou Yuqing shouted. "Gunfire? Are you filming a police drama?" Scoffed Zheng Qian, who had a history of conflict with Zhou Yuqing. Laughter erupted among the parents. "Stop joking around. Hide quickly," Zhou Yuqing yelled, racing toward the backstage area. To Zhou Yuqing, Xiaoya's safety was paramount. He would not hinder anyone else's fate. He had fulfilled his obligations. If they chose disbelief, that was beyond his control. Chapter 66. Confronting the assassins. Zheng Qian, seizing this rare opportunity for revenge against Zhou Yuqing, stood up and pointed at him as he dashed into the backstage area, mocking. "See that? This man is more cowardly than a mouse. Just a few firecrackers have him trembling." A parent, recalling Zhou Yuqing's earlier demeanor, suggested, "Could it actually be gunfire?" Zheng Qian laughed derisively. "If it is gunfire, I'd eat dirt." Just then, the rehearsal room door was kicked open, and a man and a woman burst in, both armed. "Oh my God, it's real," gasped the parents, as they hunched down and rushed toward the backstage area. Yu Rongshuan moved swiftly, seizing the trembling Zheng Qian as a hostage and commanding, "Don't move." Wang Yingying shot a male parent who was at the front, declaring, "Move, and you die?" Upon witnessing Liao Xiaofan's father being shot, several parents screamed in horror. Everyone crouched down, clutching their heads, too terrified to move. The most unfortunate was Zheng Qian, who soiled himself in fear. His earlier arrogance had turned into abject misery. "Teacher Yu, are you putting on a show?" Yu Rongshuan, renowned as the most famous English teacher at Inkai Kindergarten, was recognized by the parents, Zheng Qian included. I'm not here to entertain you. Yu Rongxuan aimed his gun at the back of Zheng Qian's head. Now, tell me, where is Shen Xinyue? Zheng Qian, paralyzed by fear, momentarily forgot Shen Xinyue's name. Just then, Zhang Wei stormed in with over 10 police officers. Put down your weapons. Zhang Wei bellowed. Without hesitation, Yu Rongxuan fired a shot at Zheng Qian's ear. Zheng Qian screamed in agony, a significant portion of his ear gone, blood gushing down. It is you who should put down your weapons, Yu Rongxuan retorted coldly. Yu Rongxuan. Wang Yingying, your boss and 2 companions have already been captured. Further resistance is futile, Zhang Wei stated gravely. Yu Rongxuan replied with a smile. The outcome is not yet determined. Zheng Qian, speak up. Is Shen Xinyue backstage? Enduring excruciating pain, Zheng Qian managed to respond, yes. A victorious smile spread across Yu Rongxuan's face. Yingying, take care of the hostages. I will secure our protection. Wang Yingying pressed the gun barrel against the back of a female parent and said, no problem. Yu Rongxuan dragged Zheng Qian and slowly retreated. Inside the police station, Zhu Jiang's face was ashen. With the situation having escalated to this point, the police were now entirely on the defensive. Who can tell me, who is Shen Xinyue? A loud bang sounded as the door swung open. The one answering Zhu Jiang was Shen Xinyue. Shen Xinyue is my granddaughter. The statement left everyone in the office stunned. Zhu Jiang exclaimed, Director, the name of little Yaya is indeed Shen Xinyue? Everyone only knew that Shen Xinyue had a daughter who had given birth to a granddaughter named Yaya, but her full name remained unclear. Shen Xinyue coldly remarked, their objective must be to use my granddaughter to threaten the police. Upon hearing this, Zhu Jiang picked up the radio, intending to relay this information to Zhang Wei. Shen Xinyue stopped him, saying, do not interfere with Zhang Wei's investigation. I trust in his abilities. Zhu Jiang anxiously replied, but, Shen Xinyue interjected. There are no buts. Give Zhang Wei the order to adapt and handle it on his own. Zhu Jiang nodded and conveyed Shen Xinyue's command to Zhang Wei. At the standoff scene, Yu Rongxuan gradually retreated to the backstage corner, ordering Zheng Qian to lie on the ground. Yu Rongxuan swiftly dashed into the backstage dressing room. Just as he reached the door, a strong gust of wind blew in from the right. Yu Rongxuan, a skilled martial artist with substantial internal strength, sensed the danger immediately. Unfortunately, the opponent's speed was too swift. Before he could react, a hand had already seized his wrist. With a crack, Yu Rongxuan's entire arm was shattered by a powerful hidden force, hanging limply like a noodle. The gun in his hand fell to the ground. Yu Rongxuan opened his mouth, attempting to alert Wang Yingying outside, but his assailant did not grant him the opportunity and swiftly knocked him unconscious with a precise strike. The assailant was none other than Zhou Yuchen. He rushed to the backstage and instructed Miao Yulan to hide more than a dozen children in the restroom while he concealed himself behind the door. He listened intently to the commotion outside. Once he confirmed there were only 2 assailants, Zhou Yuchen felt slightly relieved. When Yu Rongxuan arrived, he swiftly intervened and easily subdued the opponent. Picking up the handgun, Zhou Yuchen cautiously stepped outside, peering from behind the stage. He noticed a woman pointing a gun at a female parent, confronting Zhang Wei. Zhou Yuchen shook the gun in his hand, signaling Zhang Wei. Zhang Wei immediately understood, shouting, Wang Yingying, the SWAT team is on its way. You have no chance left. Put down the gun and accept the law's judgment. It is your only correct choice. Wang Yingying scoffed. You are Zhang Wei from the criminal police team, aren't you? Zhang Wei replied, you know me? Wang Yingying responded, of course. In our line of work, we pay close attention to you criminal police. Captain Zhang, do you know who Shen Xinyue is? Zhang Wei was taken aback and asked, who? Wang Yingying raised an eyebrow and said, she is the granddaughter of your police commissioner, Shen Xinyue. Once we capture this little one, we can turn the tide. Zhang Wei feigned anger, sternly saying, you are quite bold. Wang Yingying proudly declared, if one isn't bold, how can one be an assassin? Rongxuan, have you caught Shen Xinyue? Zhou Yuchen, just 5 meters away from Wang Yingying, answered, yes, I have. Sensing something amiss, Wang Yingying instinctively turned her head. A white figure lunged towards her, and pain shot through her right arm as the gun fell to the ground. Soon after, her left arm was broken, and finally, someone seized her neck and lifted her off the ground. With a thud, Zhou Yuchen, his face darkened, slammed Wang Yingying into the ground, cursing, dare to harm my daughter? You really don't know when to quit. He then kicked Wang Yingying twice. He felt a wave of fear wash over him. Had it not been for Miao Rulan's call urging him to come for the rehearsal, little Yia might have been captured. Even if they had been fortunate enough to rescue her in the end, the little girl would undoubtedly be traumatized. Zhang Wei approached and handcuffed Wang Yingying, saying, why take this risk? Why not just shoot? Chapter 67. First encounter with Luo Haifeng. Zhou Yuchen handed the handgun to Zhang Wei, irritated. If I knew how to shoot, I would have done it long ago. No need for such effort. There's another assassin knocked out by me. Hurry and take them away. The children are hiding in the restroom. Don't scare them. Upon hearing this, Zhang Wei immediately ordered for Yu Rongshuan to be carried out. Mr. Zhou, you need to come back with me to file a report. Zhou Yuchen nodded, saying, you all go first. I'll calm the children down and join you shortly. Zhang Wei agreed, okay. In his earpiece, Zhu Zhang's voice came through. Zhang Wei, what happened? Zhang Wei replied, 2 assassins have been dealt with. Aside from 2 parents sustaining minor injuries, the others are unharmed. Zhu Jiang expressed his relief. That's wonderful. Zhang Wei, well done. I want to commend you. Standing beside Zhu Jiang, Shun Chenggang let out a long sigh of relief. Had little Ye truly been taken hostage by those 2 assassins, resulting in any harm, his wife and daughter would surely lose their minds, and he would blame himself for a lifetime. Zhang Wei remarked, I cannot take credit for the success. These 2 assassins were taken down by Zhou Yuchen. Shin Chenggang was taken aback and asked through the radio, what was Zhou Yuchen doing at the school? Zhang Wei explained. He seemed to be rehearsing for a celebration for Children's Day. Fortunately, upon hearing the gunfire, he immediately concealed the teachers and children in the backstage restroom, risking his life to confront the assassins single-handedly and ultimately subdued them. A glimmer of admiration flashed in Shun Chenggang's eyes as he remarked, he is indeed a man. Zhang Wei affirmed, absolutely a true man. Shin Chenggang continued, bring him over to file a report. There are some things he needs to clarify. Zhang Wei replied. He went to check on the children. We will return shortly. Shin Chenggang agreed, good. After the report, Zhang Wei instructed 2 officers to take Zheng Qian and another parent to the hospital, while he and the others escorted the 2 criminals back to the police station. Zhou Yuchen emerged from the restroom with Miao Rulin and more than a dozen children. The parents, still shaken, gazed at Zhou Yuchen with admiration and gratitude. The female parent who had been taken hostage clutched his hand, repeatedly thanking him, which made Zhou Yuchen feel quite awkward. Fortunately, the children were not frightened. They were even unaware of what had transpired, as the parents wisely chose not to alarm them. Zhou Yuchen said to Miao Shulan, Teacher Miao, I need to go to the police station. I may not have time to continue the rehearsal. Miao Shulan nodded, saying, all right. Mr. Zhou, thank you so much. If it weren't for you, the consequences would have been unimaginable. Zhou Yuchen smiled. I should be the one thanking you. If you hadn't called me to come for the rehearsal, the outcome would have been equally dire. After comforting little Ye for a moment, Zhou Yuchen left the kindergarten and drove towards the police department. Upon arriving at the police department, an officer escorted him to the conference room. As the door swung open, a rousing applause greeted Zhou Yuchen, led by Shun Chenggang, the vice mayor of Yunhai City and director of public security. Shun extended his hand to Zhou, stating, Mr. Zhou, thank you for your remarkable contributions during this apprehension. We have decided to award you the Bravery Medal and appoint you as a consultant for our cyber technology department. What do you think? Zhou Yuchen grasped Shun's hand and replied, thank you, Director Shun, for this honor and recognition. May I inquire if this consultancy requires daily attendance? Shun chuckled, you will only be called upon when the department faces technical challenges. There is no need for daily presence. Zhou Yuchen responded, that works for me. Becoming a consultant for the Yunhai Public Security Bureau's technology department was undoubtedly a boon for Zhou. Henceforth, should anyone bring up the matter of his imprisonment, he would need no explanation. Merely presenting his consultant credentials would silence any dissent. However, the necessary documentation still needed to be completed, as this incident was too grave, requiring meticulous record-keeping. Zhou recounted the entire sequence of events in detail. Upon leaving the inquiry room, Zhang Wei approached him, saying, Luo Haifeng wishes to see you. Zhou replied, I have no acquaintance with Luo Haifeng. Why would I meet him? No, Zhang insisted. Luo Haifeng possesses a recording in which Yan Qingfeng explicitly confesses to murdering his wife, Shui Yibing, and to commissioning an assassination against him. He claims he will hand over the recording upon meeting you. Additionally, he has billions in overseas banks, which he is willing to transfer. Zhou Yuchen laughed. Is a mere meeting with me truly worth that much? Zhang nodded. Indeed, it is quite valuable. Zhou said, very well. Then I shall meet him. After a brief interval, Zhou entered the interrogation room, encountering the pale and frail Luo Haifeng. This was Zhou's first encounter with Luo, and he could hardly discern any trace of the notorious crime lord's aura. In the monitoring room, Shen Chenggang, Zhu Jiang, Zhang Wei, and others were attentively observing the conversation. Luo scrutinized Zhou Yuchen and asked, Do you know why I wish to meet you? Zhou shook his head, I do not. Luo replied, I sought to witness the individual capable of manipulating both me and Yan Qingfeng. Today, I am not disappointed. Zhou smiled. Mr. Luo, I genuinely do not comprehend your words. Luo continued, You skillfully utilized your exceptional technological prowess to extract videos from Luo Hao's phone and discreetly sent them to Yan Qingfeng. Enraged, Yan ordered the death of his own wife and reported Luo Hao. To resolve the matter once and for all, he even dispatched a hitman known as Demon Blade to assassinate me. Your strategy of employing another's weapon is truly commendable. Zhou remarked, Mr. Luo, You should not have ventured into the transportation business, nor the drug trade. Your true calling lies in screenwriting or novel writing. If your sole purpose for meeting me is to convey this, I believe our encounter is unnecessary. Luo sighed. Luo Hao should not have provoked you. Zhou replied, he has wronged many. I am merely one among many. To speak candidly, witnessing his current plight fills me with satisfaction. At this juncture, Zhou's emotions surged as he continued, Mr. Luo, do you realize how difficult it is for someone from a small county like me to gain admission to a prestigious institution like Yunhai University? From the 3rd grade onward, I arose at 5 and slept at midnight, diligently studying for 10 years to achieve first place in the province and secure a spot at Yunhai University. Who among you can fathom the hardships and efforts I endured? Even in university, I continued to study earnestly, rising before dawn and retiring well past dusk. In less than 2 years, I completed a 4-year curriculum and earned the exceptional privilege to sit for the graduate entrance examination. My original life plan was to strive for 4 more years, complete my doctorate, and ultimately become a professor at Yunhai University, nurturing future generations. Yet, due to your son's machinations, my life has been irrevocably shattered. After my imprisonment, your son continued to harass me, sending troublemakers to the prison. Were it not for the assistance of fellow inmates, I might have perished behind bars. Upon my release, I was compelled to flee Yunhai to escape your son's persecution, subsisting in Sioux City for 4 years. During this time, I could not return home or see my parents for fear that your group would harm them. Mr. Luo, please tell me, if you were in my position, would you not harbor resentment towards Luo Hao? This lengthy discourse was not solely directed at Luo Haifeng, but was intentionally crafted for the police officers present, aiming to elicit their sympathy and garner their support. It was evident that Zhou Yuqin's strategy succeeded. The female officers monitoring the feed were already in tears, and even the male officers, including Shen Qinggang, felt a pang of empathy. A diligent and promising young man had been ruined by a scoundrel. Anyone in their position would likely find it unbearable, especially considering the police's own responsibilities in this matter. Zhu Jiang sighed and remarked, it is truly remarkable that this young man has persevered until now. Anyone else might have crumbled. The others nodded in agreement. Luo Haifeng, however, remained unmoved by Zhou's words, responding coolly, the law of the jungle prevails in this society. If you are weak and suffer, it is your own fault. This statement provoked Zhang Wei to curse vehemently, while Zhu Jiang seethed, what a wretched scoundrel. The other officers expressed their indignation as well. Yet, Zhou Yuqin, seated opposite Luo Haifeng, remained unperturbed, even smiling. You believe in the survival of the fittest, while I believe in justice and equity. Thus, your fate is execution, while I shall continue to thrive, living even better than before. Regrettably, you will never witness it. Well said. Bravo. Zhou Yuqin's words resonated with the officers, earning their unanimous approval. Shen Chenggang joined in the applause. Luo Haifeng remarked blandly, history is written by the victors. You have triumphed, so your words are deemed correct. Yet, you lack the courage to admit that you transmitted that video to Yan Qingfeng. Your hatred remains unfulfilled. Zhou grinned. Is this the reason you summoned me? Yan Qingfeng posed the same question earlier, leaving me perplexed. Mr. Luo, do not waste your efforts. This is not a criminal act. Even I, the police would not hold me accountable for merely sending a video that did not incite murder. Luo Haifeng scrutinized Zhou Yuqin intently and said, you may leave. Without hesitation, Zhou stood and exited. As he passed out of the camera's view, he turned back, gesturing to his mouth and silently uttering, I. With that, Zhou smiled, opened the door, and departed the interrogation room. Luo Haifeng muttered, today's youth truly are formidable. The efficiency of the Yunhai Public Security Bureau was commendable. In just half an hour, Zhou Yuqin, the technical consultant, had his credentials processed. During this time, Luo Haifeng completely divulged all his issues. Yan Qingfeng, on the other hand, found himself in dire straits. Last night, while conversing with Luo Haifeng, he discreetly recorded their dialogue. Although it could not be used as evidence in court, it had certainly pointed the investigation in the right direction. The police immediately conducted a thorough investigation into the death of Shui Yibing and Qingfeng Real Estate Company, uncovering numerous issues, even uncovering several bribery cases. 3 months later, Yan Qingfeng was sentenced to 20 years, and several corrupt officials were imprisoned. Of course, that is a story for another time. After becoming a special consultant for the police department, Zhou Yuqin accompanied Zhu Jiang to the Network Technology Division, where he met the team. The head of the technical department, Wang Deguang, a man in his 30s, was extremely passionate about network technology. He had already heard that Zhou Yuqin had cracked Luo Haifeng's laptop password in just an hour, and upon seeing him in person, he eagerly seized Zhou Yuqin's attention to inquire about his decryption methods. Zhou Yuqin had no choice but to elaborate on his password cracking techniques. Many of his ingenious ideas left Wang Deguang and his colleagues in awe, prompting them to take notes eagerly. Observing this scene, Zhu Jiang smiled and quietly slipped away, coincidentally encountering Shun Chenggang in the hallway. Lao Zhu, it's lunchtime. Shall we go eat together? Where's Xiao Zhou? Did he leave? Zhu Jiang pointed towards the technical department and replied, he's giving a lecture. A lecture? Shun Chenggang peered through the window into the office of the technical department. There, Zhou Yuqing was animatedly explaining something while Wang Daguang and several technical staff members attentively took notes like eager students. Shun Chenggang chuckled. It seems he's mentoring them. Zhu Jiang remarked, having encountered a network technology genius, it's only natural that Wang Daguang and the others wish to learn from him. Sometimes, one cannot deny the existence of true talent in this world, and Zhou Yuqing is undoubtedly among them. Without the mess caused by Luo Hao, his future would be limitless. And now? Shun Chenggang questioned. Does he have no future? Zhu Jiang shook his head. Certainly not. Lao Shen, let me ask you something personal. Is he really the biological father of Xiao Yeye? Shun Chenggang paused for a moment before nodding. Zhu Jiang inquired, what are your plans? Will you accept him as a son-in-law? Shun Chenggang replied, I was firmly opposed before, but now I need to assess the situation. Zhu Jiang said, if you don't want him, then let me have him. My daughter is about the same age as Jing Yun and could pair well with him. Shun Chenggang widened his eyes. Dream on. Zhu Jiang laughed. See, you're being disingenuous. The issues surrounding Xiao Zhou have been thoroughly investigated. You need not harbor any reservations. Chapter 69. A billion in 6 months? Shun Chenggang remarked, at most, I will not oppose it. Whether they end up together depends on their feelings. Speaking of which, let me tell you a joke. This kid made a bet with me that he would earn $1 billion within 6 months. If he succeeds, Xiao Yeye will take his surname. If he fails, he will never mention changing his surname again. $1 billion in 6 months? Zhu Jiang exclaimed in astonishment. That kid really dares to say such things. Shun Chenggang chuckled. Do you think he's boasting? I thought so too at first. However, I heard from Jing Yun that he recently made over $100 million through crude oil futures, and now he is undoubtedly a billionaire. Zhu Jiang gaped, unable to believe it. That's simply incredible. Shun Chenggang sighed. As you said, there are indeed geniuses in this world. Zhu Jiang remarked, it seems I should cultivate a good relationship with him. If an opportunity for wealth arises, perhaps he could assist me in buying futures, allowing me to earn a considerable sum. Shun Chenggang couldn't help but smile at this. The two decided not to let Zhou Yuqing continue his lecture for the technical staff, but instead took him to the police department's cafeteria as a gesture of gratitude. Today's events were largely thanks to Zhou Yuqing's intervention. Otherwise, their department would have found itself in a thoroughly passive position, and the situation could have become widely known. After their meal, Zhou Yuqing returned to the technical department to finish explaining his decryption methods before departing the police department for his game company. By this time, the name of Yueqin Game Company had been successfully registered and relevant agreements with the team members had been finalized, thus establishing the framework of the company. The leaders of 3 groups each brought 7 or 8 technicians to the company. Zhou Yuqing fulfilled his promise and promptly signed agreements with these individuals, subjecting them to a 1-month probation period to assess their performance before confirming their positions. At 4 in the afternoon, Zhou Yuqing arrived at the school to pick up Xiao Yeye. Many parents proactively greeted him, some even expressing their gratitude. Soon, he fetched Xiao Yeye. Daddy, didn't you say you wouldn't have time to pick me up these days? Xiao Yeye exclaimed, wrapping her arms around Zhou Yuqing's neck, her face beaming with joy. Zhou Yuqing replied, that's because Daddy finished his work. What? You don't want me to pick you up? Xiao Yeye quickly responded, I do. Daddy, let me tell you a secret. Grandma's cooking isn't as good as yours. Zhou Yuqing laughed heartily. You truly are a little glutton. As usual, Zhou Yuqing took Xiao Yeye back home. Xiao Yeye played with her flower fairy dolls in her bedroom, while Zhou Yuqing prepared dinner in the kitchen. After a while, Shun Jingyun returned from work just as Zhou Yuqing was setting the dishes on the table. Shun Jingyun approached Zhou Yuqing and quietly asked, did something happen at kindergarten today? Zhou Yuqing nodded. There was a minor incident, but it has all been resolved. Was it aimed at Xiao Yeye? This afternoon, Shun Jingyun had seen messages in the parents' chat group indicating that 2 armed assailants had stormed the school with the intent of abducting Shin Xinyue to threaten the police department, which had frightened her considerably. However, knowing that the situation had been resolved, Shun Jingyun managed to remain calm and did not contact Zhou Yuqing or Shun Chenggang. Originally, the assailants had intended to plant explosives in the school to coerce the police into releasing Luo Hao. Upon realizing the police were tracking them, they abandoned this plan and opted to capture Xiao Yeye instead. Thankfully, I was there for the rehearsal today and dealt with those 2 assailants. Shun Jingyun let out a sigh of relief. That was too dangerous. Was Xiao Yeye scared? Zhou Yuqing replied, I hid the children in the restroom. And by the time they came out, the police had already taken the assailants away, so Xiao Yeye and the other children were unaware of what had transpired. Shun Jingyun nodded. That's good. Yuqing, thank you. Zhou Yuqing rolled his eyes. Here we go again. Let me share some good news. I am now part of the police department as well. Shen Jingyun paused in surprise, asking, what do you mean? Zhou Yuqing smiled. Your father issued me credentials. And I am now a special consultant for the technical department of Yunhai Police Department. Really? That's wonderful. Shen Jingyun's face lit up with excitement. Her natural beauty shone even brighter with her smile, resembling a blooming rose, breathtakingly beautiful. Even Zhou Yuqing, who had been close with many beautiful women in his past life, was momentarily captivated by her stunning visage, staring at her in a daze for a moment. Shen Jingyun's cheeks flushed as she playfully scolded, have you stared enough? Zhou Yuqing regained his composure, feeling not a trace of embarrassment as he remarked, I apologize. If blame must be assigned, it can only be directed at your extraordinary beauty. Until I encountered you, I had no comprehension of what it truly meant for a woman to be breathtakingly beautiful. Shen Jingyun felt a surge of joy within, yet maintained an impassive facade as she replied, do not flatter yourself. I recall our first meeting vividly, when your words were sharp, and you challenged me on several occasions. Zhou Yuqing retorted, wasn't that merely to etch a deeper impression of this stunning beauty into your memory? Shen Jingyun shot him a playful glare, saying, you might as well save your breath. At that moment, Xiao Yeye emerged, clutching a floral fairy. Upon seeing Shen Jingyun, she exclaimed in surprise, Mom, when did you come back? Shen Jingyun smiled and responded, I just arrived. Are you hungry? I feel like I'm starving, Xiao Yeye said, lifting her shirt to reveal her little belly. Shen Jingyun quickly tugged it down, admonishing, do not lift your shirt like that, understood? Xiao Yeye nodded, got it. Zhou Yuqing transferred the shrimp to a plate, saying, dinner is ready, hurry and wash your hands. Xiao Yeye joyfully exclaimed, that's wonderful. While Shen Jingyun and Xiao Yeye washed their hands, Zhou Yuqing donned a pair of gossamer gloves to peel the shrimp. His speed was remarkable. By the time the mother and daughter sat down, he had already peeled over 30 shrimp. Dad, you're amazing, the little one praised. Zhou Yuqing smiled. Thank you for the compliment. I shall strive to peel them even faster and better. Both Shen Jingyun and Xiao Yeye couldn't help but chuckle. After dining, the trio went downstairs for a stroll. Xiao Yeye immediately returned to her beloved slide. Shen Jingyun remarked, Yuqing, I may not be able to return to Luojiang with you. Zhou Yuqing raised an eyebrow. Do you have other commitments? Shen Jingyun nodded. Starting Friday afternoon, I must attend a week-long study session at the party school in Xinjiang province. You can take Xiao Yeye to Luojiang and, upon your return, drop her off at my mother's. Zhou Yuqing waved his hand dismissively. Professor Dai has classes every day. Are you not concerned about tiring her out with childcare? Leave it to me. I rarely have anything to do. Shen Jingyun replied. Did you not just establish a gaming company? Surely, you have numerous responsibilities. Let my mother come over instead, so as not to disrupt your work. Zhou Yuqing chuckled. The company is currently developing 3 simple mobile games. I merely check on the progress once a day. I want to be busy until the games are completed. Shen Jingyun expressed her astonishment. Developing 3 mobile games simultaneously? That seems quite ambitious. Zhou Yuqing explained, in the gaming industry, ambition is primarily dictated by your development capabilities and financial strength. Thankfully, I possess both. Shen Jingyun remarked. Your tone now resembles that of a nouveau riche. Zhou Yuqing shook his head. No, it is not just a resemblance. I am indeed a nouveau riche. Shen Jingyun smiled. Yuqing, do you know what impression you left me with when we first met? Zhou Yuqing inquired. What was it? Shen Jingyun replied. You appeared composed, fearless, and responsible. My father is the chief of police. Even ordinary young people, let alone officials, regard him with utmost reverence. Yet you dared to confront him directly, without an ounce of fear. That alone earned my admiration. Zhou Yuqing asked, and now? Shen Jingyun said, now I see you as a humorous, charming individual with remarkably thick skin. Zhou Yuqing laughed. So do you appreciate individuals with notably thick skin? Shen Jingyun was momentarily taken aback by his bold question. As she pondered her response, Zhou Yuqing interjected, you need not respond. I already know your answer. Shen Jingyun hesitated. You best not misconstrue my intentions. Zhou Yuqing asserted. I harbor no misconceptions. Shen Jingyun, you are intelligent and composed, possessing exceptionally high emotional and intellectual intelligence. Though you may appear delicate, you are stronger than many men. Once you make a decision, nothing can sway you. If you held no feelings for me, given your nature, you would have swiftly dispelled my notions. Yet you hesitated. And that glimmer of hesitation brings me joy. Shen Jingyun retorted, that is merely your interpretation. Zhou Yuqing smiled. Then let me indulge in my own happiness. Momentarily speechless, Shen Jingyun decided to take the little girl home after some outdoor play. At 4 o'clock in the morning, after 2 hours, Zhou Yuqing successfully breached a company's firewall. After sending the system vulnerabilities and remedial measures, his account swelled by 200,000. Upon reviewing his attributes, Zhou Yuqing beamed with a radiant smile. Player, Zhou Yuqing Constitution, 14, Average Person 10, Mentality, 108. Average person 10. Attribute points, 0 skills. Xingyi Quan, Master Level 3. Hacking skills, Proficient Level 99. Culinary skills, Proficient Level 99. Taiji visualization, Mental discipline. Items, Understanding scroll, duration 19 days. Clone scroll, validity 30 days, through diligent efforts. Zhou Yuqin had finally elevated his hacking skills to 99. Just one step remained before he could ascend to a master hacker, standing atop the realm of hackers. However, achieving that final 1% would not be easy. The previous mastery of Xingyi Quan took 4 full months, and he expected no less for hacking skills. Zhou Yuqin contemplated whether to learn another skill while the understanding scroll was still effective for 19 days, but soon dismissed the idea. With 3 remaining books on hacking, he believed that digesting them would yield 100% proficiency. Without the understanding scroll, he was uncertain how long it would take to achieve mastery. With that in mind, Zhou Yuqin picked up a hefty tome titled How Hackers Are Made and began reading. The matters concerning Luo Haifeng had consumed much of his study time, compelling Zhou Yuqin to reclaim as much time as possible while the understanding scroll was still active. His goal was to perfect his hacking skills within 5 days, then switch tracks to immerse himself in intensive study for half a month. Once the understanding scroll expired, he would allow himself a well-deserved rest. Thus, for the next 2 days, after dropping the child off at school, Zhou Yuqin would go to the company. He would spend an hour assisting 3 groups with various challenges before immersing himself in study. Witnessing Zhou Yuqin's fervent dedication, the staff at Yueqin Game Company expressed admiration. On Friday morning at 8, Zhou Yuqin and Shun Jingyun accompanied Xiao Yeye to preschool. It was Xiao Yeye's first time attending school with both parents, and she was thrilled, her adorable face beaming with smiles. Shun Jingyun inquired, "How is your rehearsal going? Today is the Children's Day celebration, and you will be performing the 100 Family Fist." Zhou Yuqin shrugged. "It's just a set of punches, it will be fine." Xiao Ye urged, "Dad, you must perform well. Otherwise, I'll have nowhere to show my face." With a chuckle, Shun Jingyun couldn't help but laugh and inquired, "My dear, from whom did you hear such a thing?" Xiao Ye replied, "All the boys in our class say that." Zhou Yuqin, with a hint of exasperation, remarked, "Today's children are truly remarkable. They are so young, yet already concerned about their image." The trio arrived at the performance venue and found a place to sit. By this time, many parents had already gathered. Upon seeing Zhou Yuqin and Shun Jingyun, they greeted them warmly, leaving the couple feeling somewhat overwhelmed by the attention. Shun Jingyun softly asked, "What is happening?" Zhou Yuqin explained, "Your father being the commissioner of police is now known, while it was previously a secret. The commissioner, a deputy ministerial official, held significant power, and establishing a good rapport with Shun Jingyun could prove advantageous in the future should any difficulties arise." This was true not only for Shun Jingyun, but also for Xiao Ye. Recently, Xiao Ye had informed Zhou Yuqin that many children enjoyed playing with her. Even the boys who used to tease others behaved quite respectfully in her presence. Zhou Yuqin speculated that perhaps their parents had advised them to befriend Xiao Ye, making her the focal point of protection in her class. Such is the reality of life. At that moment, Shi Kailang, who had previously clashed with Zhou Yuqin, approached. Shun Jingyun's expression shifted, and she nudged Zhou Yuqin. Rising to his feet, Zhou Yuqin looked at Shi Kailang and asked, "Mr. Shi, what brings you here?" Shi Kailang presented a sycophantic smile and said, "Mr. Zhou, I am here to apologize to Ms. Shun. My previous reckless behavior caused her discomfort and annoyance, and I am truly sorry. I assure you, I will never trouble Ms. Shun again." It was evident that the identity of Shun Jingyun as the commissioner's daughter had intimidated Shi Kailang, a man of some stature in the fashion industry. One could only chuckle at the absurdity of a modest clothing company owner attempting to use wealth to pursue the daughter of the commissioner of police. Zhou Yuqin patted his shoulder and leaned closer, whispering, "Mr. Shi, you are overthinking it. If Jingyun truly harbored any grievances, do you think your company would still be in operation?" Shi Kailang trembled slightly and quickly agreed, "What you say is true." Zhou Yuqin smiled. "Just refrain from such behavior in the future." Shi Kailang forced a smile, one that looked more pained than joyful, and replied, "Of course, I promise." Having received Zhou Yuqin's assurance, Shi Kailang felt somewhat relieved and found a spot to sit. Shun Jingyun inquired, "What did you say to him? He seems quite frightened." Zhou Yuqin replied, "I merely performed a little act of intimidation to ensure he won't bother you again." Shun Jingyun nodded, "That's good." After a while, Xiao Ye was called by her teacher for makeup. Shun Jingyun carried Xiao Ye's costume and followed her. At 9 o'clock sharp, the Children's Day performance for Class 6 officially commenced. The children had prepared 6 acts, primarily consisting of singing and dancing. The singing was relatively better, although the little ones often strayed far from the melody. Their clear voices and charming smiles still garnered a commendable performance. However, the dancing was another matter entirely. Due to their young age, they struggled to remember the choreography. and even with a teacher leading them, their movements were rather chaotic. Naturally, the parents in the audience refrained from dampening the spirit of the occasion, enthusiastically applauding and cheering, creating a lively atmosphere. The children were thrilled and danced with even more vigor, albeit with increasingly varied errors. During the performance, the class also organized some parent-child games to ensure each family participated. Zhou Yuqin, Shun Jingyun, and Xiaoya engaged in the horse riding game. The rules were simple. The child would ride on the father's shoulders while the mother ensured the child's safety from behind. The father would perform squats, and within 2 minutes, the goal was to see who could complete the most. The champion would receive a plush toy, the runner-up a set of art books, and the third place a set of stationery, with the remainder receiving participation awards. Xiaoya was excited as she perched on Zhou Yuqin's shoulders, exclaiming, "Daddy, let South win first place." Zhou Yuqin laughed. "We must." 10 families participated in the game. Once everyone was ready, Miao Yulan shouted, "Begin." The 10 fathers sprang into action. "Go, go," cheered the parents and children from the audience, creating an energetic atmosphere. Soon, the disparity in performance became evident. Some fathers, due to lack of exercise, could only manage 7 or 8 squats before collapsing onto the ground, unable to continue. Others, who were more physically active, managed over 10 but soon slowed down. Only Zhou Yuqin, a master of Xingyi Yiquan, demonstrated extraordinary stamina and strength, completing 40 squats in one go. Sensing his victory was assured, he began to slow down, waiting for the game to conclude. "Stop." With Miao Yulan's command, the other 9 fathers collapsed onto the ground, panting heavily and drenched in sweat, while Zhou Yuqin, as if unaffected, gently set Xiaoya down, his face devoid of perspiration. Realizing she had won first place, Xiaoya leaped with joy. Shun Jingyun softly asked, "Are you all right?" Zhou Yuqin chuckled. "This little bit of exertion is merely a warm-up for me." Shun Jingyun shot him a playful glare, saying, "Oh, you and your boasting." Miao Yulan announced the results. Shun Xinyue's family won with 52 squats, a clear 20 ahead of the second place. The applause was thunderous. Xiaoya, clutching the plush toy, wore an expression of triumph. After descending from the stage, a female parent sitting next to Shun Jingyun remarked, "Your husband is truly impressive. You are indeed fortunate, Yeya's mother." Hearing such flattering words, Shun Jingyun's cheeks flushed crimson. With the children's performances concluded, it was time for the parents to take the stage. A total of 10 acts were scheduled, and apart from Zhou Yuqin's martial arts display and a young parent street dance, the remaining 8 were all singing performances. It was evident that these parents possessed considerable talent, each rendering impressive performances. Finally, the last act was announced. "Now, we invite Mr. Zhou Yuqin, Xiaoya's father, to present a martial arts demonstration of Bajiaquan. Let us give him a warm round of applause." Dressed in sports attire, Zhou Yuqin strode onto the stage with measured steps. He exuded vitality and confidence. His eyes were sharp and commanding, and his presence was formidable. Even before the performance commenced, Zhou Yuqin captivated the audience. The applause erupted like thunder. Xiaoya's little face flushed with excitement as she clapped enthusiastically. As the music began, Zhou Yuqin assumed his stance and began his routine. The contrast between choreographed performance and authentic martial arts was stark. The former aimed for aesthetics, while the latter was designed for combat effectiveness. Zhou Yuqin had learned numerous movements online, displaying elegant and expansive postures imbued with a sense of grace, particularly in his airborne kicks, which were nothing short of breathtaking. The entire stage was completely dominated by Zhou Yuqin's swift and graceful figure, eliciting continuous applause from the parents and children in attendance. Some mischievous little boys watched with wide, gleaming eyes. Xiaoya, the most excited of them all, clapped her tiny hands until they turned red, exclaiming, "Mom, Dad is amazing. Dad is amazing." Shun Jingyun smiled and replied, "Yes, Dad is indeed the best." As the music reached its crescendo, Zhou Yuqin's movements transformed from ethereal elegance to powerful precision, each gesture accompanied by a fierce wind. As if he were shattering the very air around him, he resembled a ferocious tiger descending a mountain, exuding an overwhelming presence, akin to a dragon emerging from the sea, both domineering and ferocious. It seemed that Zhou Yuqin's martial prowess ignited the passion and fervor within the hearts of the parents and children present, causing them all to rise to their feet,